I just don't like her anymore.
Yeah.
She's
Oh,
crazy.
hey, welcome to Open Comms. It's Friday.
Ooh.
Did that come in?
Oh shit! Did that go out over the air? Shit.
Yeah, that's okay.
Friday night.
Anyways.
We were not talking about you, Mrs. Elby.
Oh, no.
We were not
At least
talking
most of
about
us
you.
weren't, right?
Now she's like, I don't fucking like that manic guy. What an asshole.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
She's not coming to Iceland, is she?
No.
She's staying home. Oh, thank God.
Yeah.
I'm
Don't worry about
joking,
the
Miss
names.
LB. I'm sorry. It's a joke, okay?
Because I can hear her stomping around upstairs. She's pissed.
She's pissed. Yeah. Are you sleeping on the couch now, hubby?
No, I didn't do anything.
Well, she's gonna blame you.
It's
'cause
not
you're
his
her friend.
fault.
Yeah.
I don't know that guy.
know
LB
that
should
guy.
not be blamed for my behavior,
And vice versa.
and vice versa.
Welcome to the show.
I blame Manic all the time for the stupid shit I do.
Welcome to the show, everybody.
There we go. Holy shit, I got all the names. I don't think I had one typing error.
It's
fucking
Open Comms.
Fucking it.
We did it. Another week.
Hell yeah.
Oh,
Hell yeah.
And
Another
next
week down. Let's
like
go.
half of you bitches will be not here.
Yo.
You
Next
know what I heard?
week.
You know what I heard? The Open Com show next Friday is gonna be the best show they've ever had.
So apparently the GoPro thing, you can vlog from it if you're like hooked up to your data or Wi-Fi or something. So maybe I can. I don't know how to do it. So we'll see.
Ooh. I mean, like,
Mm.
depending on. So what's the time? Okay, so what time is it in Reykjavik right now? It
It's
is
about +5, I think.
It's 1 a.m.
Yeah, there's like they're plus
So,
7 for
Next
me.
Friday at 1 a.m. I'm pretty sure most of us are going to be awake.
Yeah,
so
we'll
we
be
can
It's a good chance.
we can call into the show.
Yeah, possibly. I mean, also it depends because I know that. I mean, it almost might be a little easier later because
There's
I
a
know
pub
that
crawl
in
next
Vegas,
Friday night. You wanna do
Redline
that?
was trying to have us call in, but and I was like, okay, it's 6 o'clock, but it's like it's 6 o'clock and we're all at the bar partying and I can't hear anything you're saying.
That's
and-
true.
and
And
so
it's going to be the pub crawl. That's Friday
yeah,
night.
so it's like
Shit.
I feel like most of the time when you're out at an Eve meet, you're busy doing shit, and the last thing you want to do is like, hold on, let me
we're
let
not
me
No
call
one's
thinking-
welcome to call in.
the
But
let me
you
call
last
back to the
thing.
lamos that didn't come out.
The last thing we're going to be thinking about is Open Comms.
I didn't get tickets to that, so unless they allow me to just
Darwin's
tag
saying the pub
along,
crawl will be
Oh
over
yeah,
by
dude,
1,
you'll
so you can
just
call in.
follow the
This is
groups
way over.
around.
Yeah,
The-
yeah.
The only thing you get, like if you buy the pub crawl ticket, that just
It's like
gets
free
you
drinks.
some
When I
free
did the pub
drinks.
crawl,
Yeah.
Darwin,
Gotcha.
I didn't
Well,
get back to the
so
hotel
paid
till
for
4:30
drinks,
in the
but-
morning, so.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
via
paid
the
for
ticket.
drinks, but generally paid for at a cheaper
you can
price.
still-
than-
yeah, I'm sure.
You can still follow the groups
I
around.
just pay for
and-
drinks.
know
Yeah, that's
yeah,
cool,
you
though.
just got to buy your own drinks.
Yeah, I was like,
Okay.
man, if anything, Ackroth, you can call in and you'll just be like, he'll be sitting down there in a corner and be like,
He'll be
"Hello,
sitting on the
Dr.
curb.
Chain
Lyle,
smoking on a
friend."
curb.
I didn't get my pub crawl ticket, so I'm all alone.
Akaroth here, checking in.
You
You just
did
follow him. You
something
can follow him
with
for like you have to stay back
again.
500 feet, but you can follow him.
Yeah, everybody's like, you stay back, Akaroth.
Yeah.
You don't get
500
to-
feet.
You're not
I'm gonna
included.
go chill by the monument. You guys are lame.
I'll be there with you because I didn't get pub crawl
Yeah.
tickets either.
Just hit a liquor store,
we'll
just
be
drink
nobody.
like a hobo by the
Nobody is
monument.
going to be
Yeah,
left out.
everyone looks and like, ew, a non-pubby crawl guy.
Shun them.
Well, I was
They-
just hoping
the-
it wasn't
the
going to be
groups-
like they were like renting out some spots or like rooms or something to where like everybody be hanging out, but I couldn't get in because I
Well,
didn't.
there's
No,
bouncers,
no,
and they'll
no.
beat you with clubs. if you try to
It's
get
funny
in.
though. The groups says everybody like they split everybody up into different groups, and the groups for some reason, well, because it's Eve, the groups get competitive. So as they are crossing paths in the street, they're like, fuck you, Team 8, fuck you, Team 7,
Yeah.
you know.
God, what was that one Vegas? I think it was the one where we actually did the pub crawl out at Fremont, where we like took the bus out there and then we like
Oh,
and then I remember we were in a group where we were just like, God, group 10. I remember it's group 10 because it was like
Group
me
10.
and Dirk, and we were just like, group
It was,
10, just start yelling group 10
I'm
everywhere
pretty
we
sure
went.
that was 2016.
Yeah,
hyping
we
everybody
were
up.
just,
They do that more than once.
2016 was he did the party buses.
yeah, I'm
They must have
sure
done it more than once, 'cause I
everyone
wasn't there
that
for
was around
2016.
us was it was just obnoxious, but we just go by and we're like, group 10, everyone just screaming as loud as we could. We're going by the little pedal like trolley thing. Just
Oh, the pedal buses were
yeah, the
fun,
pedal
too.
bus thing, and we're just yelling group 10 down
Our-
the street. And everyone's
so-
like, what the fuck is group 10? Is it something
Our
cool?
our pub crawl guide, I think this was 2015. Our pub crawl guide for 2015, whatever team I was on, I was with CCP Quant. For anybody who remembers CCP Quant, he was the data analyst at the time.
Yeah.
Um,
He was doing the MER for a little while now.
Yeah, yeah. Our tour bus guide was this beautiful goth like she was a local dancer or a bartender or something, but she was oh man, I got a crush on her. She was really she was good looking and she was
Why-
like so cool.
Want her to step on you?
Yeah, I wouldn't have minded if she like stepped on me, but I got a picture with her. She was awesome.
Yeah. So they released. I haven't even read it yet. They released a big old. Was it the Mega Blog?
Yes.
Is that
Mega
all
Blog.
about the
Mega Blog.
all about
Hold
the
on.
Fan Fest shenanigans coming up?
Let's do our drink
Oh yeah, let's run through
thing,
those.
and then we'll do the mega blog because
Oh, okay.
I want to talk about it.
Here we go. Oh no, wait, not that one. Nope.
I mean, that could be cool too.
Entertainment Tonight.
Going around the horn.
What are you drinking?
Akaroth, what do you got?
Reds,
My
wick it
full
out.
reliable red.
Dominant.
I'm gonna get you with the coffee stout tonight from the Horn.
What? Why are you so
Oh.
quiet?
Recognition of the fan.
Yeah, Dom, you're super quiet.
Yeah, you're super quiet. What's
Well,
up?
Stick
maybe I
that
wasn't
mic in
talking to
your
the
mouth.
microphone. Is that better?
I don't know.
Is that better or no?
It seems better. I also turned you up like
I
10%.
can't hear him.
So, Skull.
Oh, you got the horn.
Yeah, like a
Drinking
Oh,
badass.
hell yeah, bro.
That's a
Viking
horny
shit.
man.
Does it come
As
with a
close as I get
holder or
to Iceland
something?
is the Horn, right?
Or do you just not set down your drink in that?
I've got it. No, it's got a rack.
It does. Okay.
I'm just going with the good old vodka and Sprite with some grenadine, so it makes it look cool. Doesn't really change
It's
the
like a
flavor
vodka
at
cranberry,
all.
but it's not.
But it's not.
It looks
yeah.
like a big cup of whiskey.
It's funny. I put the grenadine in drinks. I'm like, I can't ever taste it. It just makes it look red.
I don't think
So-
you're supposed to.
Oh, it's supposed to be a cherry syrup, so I don't know. Elby, what do you got?
Pretty boring. Coors Original.
The Banquet.
Classic.
Nice.
Delicious.
Manning.
Boring as well, because I have to pick up a friend from the airport in a few hours, so I'm having a full throttle.
Nice.
Okay.
Redline. Redline, hurry, the music just ended. What are you drinking?
Well, Manic Velocity, I'm glad you asked because this evening I am enjoying a fantastic wild cherry Pepsi.
This episode of Open Comms brought to you by Wild Cherry Pepsi.
Is it
It's
pomegranate?
delicious.
Fuck, we're good at this.
Is it
Where
pomegranate?
are we?
It just says grenadine syrup. Is it actually?
I think all grenadines like maraschino cherry.
I thought it was.
No, it's
Mm.
made. It's not. It
Some-
tastes like
Actually,
cherries,
that.
but it's pomegranate.
Yeah, someone's saying it's pomegranate.
Really?
Nerdy Neanderthal says it's pomegranate.
I
That
had
is
no
correct.
idea.
Okay. I mean, I like both
Most
of
cherry
those things.
flavor you get in
TIL.
things is made from
I
pomegranate.
like pomegranate flavored stuff. Actually, eating pomegranate seeds is weird. I don't really.
Oh, I like them.
I don't like the flavor's good. It's just weird eating the little.
You ever had the
pizzas.
juice in like the little curvy lady bottle?
Not the curvy
Mm,
lady
Like
Yeah.
bottle.
it's like
I've
hourglass shape.
I've
or
had
whatever.
pomegranate juice, but I haven't had
I
it.
believe the
I-
brand name is Palm.
I think you're right. So I
yeah,
didn't know what it was, and I was like visiting my mom and just taking a swig out of something out of her fridge, and I'd never had that stuff before, and it is a kick in the mouth. I was like, "This is juice? Like what the fuck?"
It's like kick in the
Good.
mouth. It's like this is what it's like to chew 5 gum pomegranate. Promenade.
It was tough. Like it was obviously hugely concentrated, so like I don't know, it was just a real tough swig.
Super. Like, I love like concentrated, not even concentrate, but natural cranberry juice, where it's like super tart and they don't add
Yep.
any sugar. I drink that straight out of the bottle. It's
Especially
so
when
good.
you got your period, right?
Especially
Sure.
when I'm on my period. Yes.
Yeah.
Helps against UTIs too.
Yes, it does.
Yep.
I had a bunch of
drink a lot
fresh
of that.
juices in South America,
Well,
and that was
be-
amazing. Like they didn't
before we get
sugar
to
them or
the,
anything; they just
oh,
squeezed.
sorry.
Fruit.
Good.
That was it. I was just saying, fresh juice is amazing. Like if they don't like sugared or whatever, you just squeeze
Yeah,
some fucking
all
fruit.
like pure.
Like, I
Some
had
fruits
the
are
good
good
fortune
that
of
way,
doing
some
that
you
in-
just don't. You can't do that. You can't really
It's a
squeeze a
tropical
banana and get the
country.
juice out of it.
Fresh
Doesn't work.
apple
I tried.
juice is
Not with
really
that
good
attitude.
too. Like
Well, you
freshly
can-
squozen
anyway.
apple juice.
Squozen.
Freshly
squozen?
It's
squozen.
squeezed, I
Squozed.
think, but squozen. You know what?
Squo-
Past
Squozen.
tense, yeah, the past tense.
Fresh
If,
squozen.
if
You
what's this-
squeeze it,
If
and after you
Shakespeare can make
squeeze
up
it,
words, so
it's
can we.
it's squozen.
That's right.
All
Squozen,
words
yeah.
are made
It's
up.
one of our
It's fine.
freedoms.
Yeah, right. Someone made
So-
them up. Someone
so-
said something at one point, and everyone's like, "The fuck's that mean?" And then they told
We
them,
we
like, "Oh."
literally just make sounds with our mouths, and we interpret meaning from them.
Some
And
people
then
can
we all
understand them. some
we all
can't.
agree that that's
And
the
we just
meaning
all
of it.
agree that those sounds mean certain things.
Squoze.
except when it comes to gifts.
GIFs?
Exactly.
It's GIF. It's fucking GIF.
I love grips.
I like grapes.
Have you guys ever scammed anyone in EVE Online?
Nope.
No.
I have.
I think I told
I've
somebody I
stolen,
would
but I've never
not.
scammed. Yeah.
I wouldn't like blow up their freighter or something and like convince them to jump out one time.
I
They could,
can't
like,
scam
ransom
people. I
scams.
feel too guilty.
On-
I could not scam someone in good
I
conscience.
can't even call it a scam because I followed
felt
through on what I said I would do. I just happened to also make an immense profit from it.
Tell me the story, if it's okay.
Yeah. So I would hang out in Jita on an alt, obviously. And in my bio, I said, you know, for every million ISK you send me, I will send back 10 point instead of commas, I used periods. 10.000.000, but I would put it in super small font, so you couldn't really tell the difference between a comma and a period. So it looked like I was saying, if you send me 1 million, I will send you 10 million.
It could also.
But
I mean,
really, what I was doing was just sending them 10,000 for every million that I got.
I was
it
thinking
could have been
10.
someone from Europe, because in Europe, a lot of countries they'll actually use periods as
Right.
what we do with commas, and they'll use commas where we would a period. Like 10.9, they'll be like 10,9, which is
Yep.
really confusing when you
It's super
intermix
And
them.
so how did you get people to send you money?
I would just
They would read his bio and say,
I would say, yeah, I'm doing an ISK giveaway. Check my bio for the details. And I got a couple of people to send me a few million, and I sent them a few, you know, tens of thousands of ISK back. So I can't even call it a scam because
that's
I
a
did
scam.
I
That's
did
an ISK,
exactly
that's a
what I
scam.
said I was gonna do,
they didn't read the rules.
but they didn't read the rules too
Oh
closely.
no.
No, you were scamming them. You were. And when somebody
Oh,
asks you, Manic,
no.
if you've scammed somebody before,
I
you
mean,
can
if
say
you
yes.
lay out your if you lay out your shenanigans and people do it, well, then
I was
would
not
call it
untrue
scam.
at no point.
Cataclysmic.
At no point
Manic
was I
Velocity is a
untruthful.
Jita scammer.
Yeah.
Jita scammer.
I was a
Jeez.
Jita scammer for a few months. It
I
was
feel
so
dirty
boring
hearing
though.
that story.
I don't
So
I
do
don't
I.
I
Are you
don't
proud of yourself?
No, it was so boring. It was the most
You
boring
know what?
way
4
to
people
make
quit the game
ISK
because of you.
because
At least.
you
At
sit
least
you
4.
sit in Jita and typing the same thing over and over. You're just fishing, really. That's all it is. So it's
you
like
do, Darwin.
it's
you
not
can't
the
handle it.
the amount of ISK that you get is not worth the time. It is probably the least efficient way to make ISK.
That's why you gotta have bots do it.
That's
You gotta automate it.
Hello?
I do not advocate
Hey,
using
wait a
bots.
second.
The Open
What
Comms
kind
show
of-
does not advocate using bots in EVE
What
Online.
kind of fucking stream is this?
For legal reasons, these
I
are
mean, I'm just
that
saying
was a
it-
joke.
I mean,
You
of course,
did,
it
you
was
not
a
only
joke,
did
but-
you scam people, you did scam bots? Oh my god.
God, Darwin's like, fuck, another name to add.
He's-
Drayden Trophier,
Darwin's in
banned
here
as fuck.
plugging his whole ears.
You can't
Darwin's
even you
ears are
can't you
plugged.
can't use
Thank you,
even
Darwin.
macro keyboards. Aren't macro keyboards against the EULA?
I
I
hope
think-
not.
Yes.
I
I
thought
think the macro
using your
keyboards
G15.
and like
Oh,
macro
no.
mices and stuff. Mices? Macro mice?
Mies.
Mice?
because you're
What?
automating
Mice.
something to a certain point. You're automating your gameplay, and that's
I-
against the
But
No,
rules.
yeah.
I thought the rules
But I
said
think-
you can
No.
mechanically automate, but you can't electronically automate. Because somebody had made a
Right.
keyboard like if you press the key, another little stick pushed the key in somewhere
Yeah,
else.
yeah. He's
And that was
saying
okay, right?
yes, you're not allowed to do that. He's saying I didn't say you wouldn't be banned. I'm just saying that you can macro keyboard.
But yeah, no, those exist. You're correct.
So
Yikes.
it's like you
Bait.
can,
He's baiting
but you
us.
shouldn't.
So I think the thing here is
Hey,
how
so
many
what-
actions per macro are you doing? So I have a mouse.
There was actually a test that you can do online, and I got 180
Actions on one
180
click.
actions on a
Is that
single
good?
click.
actions per minute.
That's 2 a second.
Well,
I
you're a
don't think
So
quick
that's
wait,
motherfucker.
hold
like,
on.
That's a lot, but that's not.
Now I'm thinking. I'm trying to
I
game
know
the
I've
system.
gotten more than
right?
that on like Cookie
3
Clicker
actions
before.
a second.
I was gonna say that's 3 a
Because
second.
with these macro
It's 2 a
programs and these
second.
macro keyboards, you can
Oh,
set a
180.
delay between each
Yeah,
action.
3.
You
Right.
could do that, yeah.
I was
So
thinking
what if
120.
you set a delay to make it appear as a natural
Why are we-
set of keystrokes?
No, don't talk
I
about
think
that.
it's
Should
still
we
Should we
technically
not
against
be
the
talking
rules.
about this?
Let's not
What if
try
you're
to
doing
find
it?
the workarounds.
So no, I want
Make
to
a
get find
video
a
of
We're
it,
workaround.
just listen. We're just talking.
We're
just talking.
exposing the methods
asking
that those
questions.
scammers use.
I'm
Let's
just
say-
asking questions, bro.
let's say in theory you had a
Darwin said it
mouse
won't work,
like
don't do
this. Oh, look,
Let's just say
Look,
in
bro,
theory.
some
you
of
had
That's a lot of
Theory,
buttons
right?
on there, LB.
Some of us have dark paths.
in theory you have a
okay?
mouse like that, and like each button is mapped to a button on my keyboard, right? But they all only do one thing, right? I push the number 1, it pushes
Commander.
F1. I push
Okay.
the number 2, it pushes F2. But if I push the number 4, it pushes Shift F1. But still only one action in EVE Online. Something happens, right? The mid slot activates, right? So as long as I'm doing only
Oh.
one action per click, shouldn't be an issue. Now, if I had set up a macro on here that was
Hold-
like, you're going to activate all 3 of your high slots, and you're going to launch drones, and you're going to activate your micro warp drive with click of one button. Now I think we're getting into like danger zone.
Okay,
Yeah,
and
sure.
now I want to call this out. CCP Darwin just redeemed. Take a shot. Please don't macro or bot, folks.
Do not, yeah, don't.
He said, "Please, guys, come on,
Did,
Please.
did.
have a
Don't
fucking
macro
heart."
or bot. Just don't.
Fine.
Just fucking don't.
But RMT is a-okay. Just ask Cable Uda.
Ooh,
We don't know.
Is that
Done.
somebody who's in the game still?
We don't know. We've never heard of him.
never heard of him.
I'm sorry,
Well-
I said the quiet part out loud.
Except on Sundays. You could do it on Sundays because that's the Lord's Day and rules go out the window.
Oh, that's right.
Oh wait,
Is that how that
wasn't-
works? Fuck, I've been doing
pretty
that wrong.
sure.
God damn it.
Yeah, I've really been messing that up.
You guys
need
haven't
to-
been
I want to
celebrating the
mention
Lord's
something
Day.
about Eve real quick.
Oh no.
The
For
book's
the
that
guys
real
going
open
to
to
Fan
interpretation.
Fest, I need to know if they'll do something for me.
What's up?
Besides the monument, which you said you'd do that, just get a rubbing of the
Oh
monument
yeah,
thing.
I need a rubbing of mine.
But did you guys see the new the booze coming out from Eve?
Oh, the
Yes,
yes,
whiskeys.
whiskey.
The whiskeys?
Okay.
If I buy one, won't you bring it back and send it to me?
Yeah, for sure.
I'm gonna leave that up to
They're,
y'all. I'm
they're
trying to go with only a
they're
backpack.
$115 a bottle.
I know, but I think I want one.
So
should've just come to Fan
my
Fest then with all that
question
money.
is, and Darwin, if you are okay, we gotta praise Dave. Darwin, if you are in the know, I'm curious. So $115 is pricey for a bottle of whiskey. I understand these are custom made. I'm wondering, is it just the box that is custom, or do they each also have like fancy bottles? Because I will spend $115 for a fancy bottle of Eve whiskey. Knob Creek is $150 a bottle here. Wow. Okay. All right. All
We
right.
used to call that bonk.
I mean that's imported, so it's
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's,
that
that's
makes
like all
sense.
the import tax
Exotic
and
there.
whatnot. It's more like
Oh.
80. Even that. So like I think the
That's
most
not
I would pay
terrible.
the most I would pay for a bottle of whiskey is like $80 for a nice whiskey.
Yeah.
But these are like special, like limited edition
collectors.
Eve whiskey bottles, right? So like yeah, I can justify it a lot easier if the bottle is, if like each of them is like branded with the faction logo or something.
Something, yeah.
Yeah, but if it's just like the regular old whiskey bottle that they usually sell in a custom Eve box, that's a bit of a tougher sell for me.
Damn,
That's just me
90
personally.
90% tax on hard alcohol in Iceland.
God
Oh
damn.
goodness,
Ah, me.
What?
they're trying
That's
to make
why,
it
that's
real
why the
difficult
knob
for us
crease
to stay
costs
drunk all week.
$80 instead of
How-
like the 30.
How the fuck do they pay for the pub crawl?
Well, it's hard alcohol.
CCP's going
tax.
bankrupt.
Gonna be a lot of beer.
So okay, Manic.
hard
Let's
alcohol.
talk. Let's talk sometime this weekend. Cause
Yeah,
I'm gonna
for
try
sure.
to figure out
Do
how
they
we
not
can do
want
this.
anyone to drink?
Because I'll order and buy it, but I'll put your name on it, and you'll have to go pick it up. You have to for me. I don't
Well,
want to be out.
they're I think they're selling them at the venue, I believe.
Well, I can buy it online.
Yeah.
Through this out here. It's actually the Eve thing.
But listen, just so I don't have to go like pick it up at a special distillery,
No, it's the Eve. At Eve thing. At the Eve thing.
you pick them up at the event center.
That's what it looks like. Yeah.
Okay.
That's the site for.
Here's what I'm
for-
saying.
for
Like,
Eve thing.
just Venmo me the money, and I'll buy it for you.
I still think you have to order it ahead of time. You have to pre-order it.
Let's read.
Let's do some reading, shall we?
I
They
just
can
linked the
still
thing.
be
I
ordered
linked it.
online here, and Imverk will have a spot in the trade hub. So the trade hub is a market spot in the
In the
venue.
event center.
where you can
gro-
buy
gro-
Eve merch and stuff. So you can buy them at the venue.
Cool. Okay, so yeah, Dom, just Venmo me
Okay,
$115 and I'll get you one.
I'll do that.
Just tell me which faction you want.
I don't know
Caldari, the
yet. I haven't
best
decided
one.
yet. Well, that's probably what I'm gonna get because that's the booze I want. I would rather have the
Oh,
Amar one,
yeah. What-
but I
okay.
don't want that fucking.
Like looking
Brandon
at the
crap.
booze on there, it's got to be a joke because one of them was like sheep dung,
That's the one I want.
like
Yeah.
a
Dung.
fresh malt sheep dung. I'm
No,
like,
that's not.
single
That's
malt
not.
sheep
That's
dung.
what they make.
yeah,
I
single
looked
malt
it up.
sheep dung.
Yeah, they cook them well, fucking the
Wait,
the
so they're
malt in
actually
sheep dung.
flavoring it with
They
poop.
use sheep dung to cook it. Yeah,
Oh
they
wait,
smoke it.
okay.
Oh yeah.
They smoke the barley in sheep dung. That's a thing that Iceland's done forever apparently.
Ew.
Oh, that makes it exciting for me. I like eating some sheep dung.
It's exciting. I'd go without the dung. Was that Minmatar?
The sheep dung one I
That's
think is
Caldari.
Caldari.
Oh,
Mimitar
then
is
no,
the
I don't
the
want
Brennivin
Caldari.
stuff. That's gross. I got that when I was over there. I won't ever drink that again. And
But
then
you'll buy the
Amar's
sheep dung.
Oh yeah, sheep dung for sure. The Amar one is the gin, and then Galante.
Galante
That's
is the-
left. They're the other whiskey. The young
Yeah.
the young.
I'd probably go with the man.
Not
as, much
aged
as,
one, yeah.
as much as I hate to say it, I'd probably go with Galente. To be
Yeah,
honest.
me too.
Okay, so it sounds like even if you do pick them up at the event center, you have to fill out this form to pre-order.
That's what I was trying to
like,
say, but
say-
you said I was wrong.
I'm sorry.
I actually can read sometimes.
I know. I
Not
should
most
have
of the
read,
time, but
I
sometimes.
should have read this. So yeah,
I'll
fill
order
out-
it. I'll put your name on it.
Put my name on it.
Yep.
But so like, see now, if I have to pre-order, Darwin, can you tell me? Did you say anything in the chat to answer my question? If you know. It doesn't look like it. So yeah, Darwin, if you can answer me in the chat, are they custom bottles or is it just custom boxes for this whiskey? This will sway
You know,
my
the-
decision on whether
On
or
the
not I buy them.
FanFest Mega Block, it says custom Space Collectors bottles are extremely limited.
They're
says bottles, it
signed.
didn't say- it
They're
said
signed
box,
and
yeah.
numbered. I wish they had pictures of the bottles rather than just the boxes.
It does say bottles in the description.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. We can get to that a little bit.
Okay. We can move on.
We can move on. But that's cool that they're doing that. I think it's exciting that they're doing all
That
this
is really
craft
cool.
stuff.
I was
Yeah.
not expecting that, and I don't think anybody was expecting this. This is a really cool thing to do.
I copied and pasted that. So okay, yeah, I did.
Darwin's just learning about it now. So okay, fair.
Is
So
there-
before we get on to talking about nice things, and before I get too drunk, I just want to. Can we do a shot to two members of MPX who yesterday, weirdly enough, both of them had open heart surgery.
Oh,
At the
Urziel,
same time.
well, one in Oklahoma, one in Iowa.
Where's you?
Urziel had open heart surgery yesterday. I know some of you guys know him. And Cagden had open heart surgery yesterday, both for bypasses.
Cagden,
talked
like
to-
from the show here?
Yeah, Cagden. I talked to his wife. He did really well. He's in ICU now after the surgery. But we don't know anybody else but Urziel down there, so we don't know how he's doing. So I'd like to do shots to him.
Awesome. Yeah. Best
Nice.
a good, healthy recovery to both of them.
Whew.
Yeah,
Man.
thank you. I appreciate that.
Oh, what are these? Oh, look at that hot tub. Or
What?
I don't know if it's a hot tub.
What?
It might be like hot springs
What
or
tub?
something. Oh, I'm looking at the.
You talking
I'm,
about
I'm,
the
I'm
lagoon
looking way
thing?
ahead. I'm looking at the extra events thing.
Sigil.
Did we link the mega blog in the
I
chat?
can.
Did
I
not
can do
yet.
Control C.
Boom. First.
Control V.
You
Fuck,
bitch.
get fucked. Get fucked.
God damn it. And yours is better than mine. Mine's terrible.
Oh, you got the UTM code in there.
Yes, I did. I liked it though. Turns me on a little bit. Hey, what? Yeah, we're talking about the upcoming Fan Fest. What do you mean?
Nothing interesting is going on.
Nothing at all.
Yeah, I was like, Millet's been here the whole time though. So
What's FanFest?
What is
Well,
FanFest?
it's a thing.
What is?
Is it?
What is?
FanFest is an annual gathering for EVE Online, celebrated in Reykjavik, Iceland, home of CCP Games.
Whoa.
And people come out from all around to do it. They show up and they come out, they fly out all the way out to a volcanic rock in the middle of the Atlantic to talk about a video game. And they do it
And
every
the people
year.
who make it.
And the people who make it.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah,
Gee
quite,
golly.
quite a lot of events scheduled, so it looks like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It's,
What's happening there during
Well-
FanFest?
Well, according to the Mega Blog, if you'd like, registration for the event can start as early as Wednesday. Wednesday between the hours of 12 and 1800 local at CCP headquarters. That's when registration starts. Just go in. You go to the head over to the 2 elevators behind the big staircase in the atrium and come up to the 3rd floor where you'll find CCP's reception for registration on Wednesday. I assume that's where you'll get your pilot's license.
Yeah, that all your
Your-
all
your-
the stuff,
yeah.
all your things
Your
for all
swag?
the events. Yeah, that's where you get your swag, your lanyard, your tickets for anything that you've ordered, and all that stuff.
I think it's where they give out the cards for the Titans, free Titans for everybody.
Yeah, you
Mhm.
get a free, every FanFest attendee
Oh,
gets a
shit.
free Titan.
Yeah.
But only if you have the skill books for it. If you don't have the skill, you better buy them now and inject
Well,
them
they
before
give you the
go.
skill books. They
Fucking
give
right.
you a full skill set to actually fly it.
Oh, I thought you
Of
had to have it to
course.
qualify.
No.
No, yeah, I, think
mean-
you should go out and buy the skill books.
Listen,
right
if
now.
you're coming all the way out to Iceland, they're going to give you the Titan and the skills to fly it. Why
I'm
wouldn't they?
curious.
What
I'm
about
curious
skins?
as
Do I
to.
get a skin too?
I feel like this is misleading because none of this is true.
I'm actually not even
Whoa.
kidding. I think the cost of
wow,
like,
just calling us out.
the cost of the whole vacation would probably be about the cost of buying a Titan if you just bought Plex and sold it. It'd be right
Probably.
around that.
Yeah.
So-
No, it'd be
And
like
it costs
free
them
Titans, probably.
nothing.
yeah, right.
Yeah, they can generate them for free.
It costs
Like,
them like a little card printout.
What an incentive.
They
Man.
just add a +1 in the database.
Think how
for
popular
each-
and
for each new
populated
Titan.
FanFest would be.
If everybody actually did get a free Titan.
If alliances were like sponsoring people to get there and
There's, like,
stuff.
Thousands of people coming to Reykjavik.
Well, I would just buy a FanFest ticket and not go.
If that was true, yeah.
Save a
Yeah,
bunch of
yeah,
money.
Can you
Yeah,
email
yeah.
me my Titan code, please? I didn't
That'd be a
get
huge
mine.
scandal.
Yeah,
Well,
I'm
speaking
sure
of
that
free
would-
codes for things, if you buy stuff off the merch store now, you get a free Astero Gold SOE skin.
What?
Is that true?
Yeah, that's
Excuse me?
It's on the launcher. If you buy like if you buy a T-shirt or something from their store, you get a code for a free skin.
I mean, I just got a cool skin, a Stero skin with the drops last weekend. The drop campaign, there was a Stero, and
Nice.
I got them all because I got the booster last
For the
week.
AT?
Yeah, or no, just the drops. They just do drop campaigns now. There was one that went on last week from like Thursday to Monday.
Oh, okay.
And so they had a booster, like a drug booster for the first one, and then there was like a
Stratios
Stero
and
and a Stratios skin.
Yeah, cool skins
And
too.
After our stream, I just went and found an Eve streamer, and I just like clicked
went to
on it and
bed?
went to bed. I came back, I'm like,
Oh,
I
so you
got both
cheated.
of them.
So you cheated.
I did.
I watched Mr. Unlucky all day long.
I watched
Listen.
Mr. Unlucky when I could, but the thing is like it was Friday, and I
working.
didn't
you-
have
do you-
time to do anything that
You
week, so-
actually think that they expect you to sit there and watch for 4 hours?
I mean, I
they-
normally would.
they
Yeah, that's how you
know.
earn the skin.
I normally
Come
would,
on.
but
Yes.
I was not going to be home
they
most
Eight hours,
days.
actually.
They know
yeah.
damn well that 99% of the people are opening up the Twitch stream and
No, I
Going-
think a lot
Why
of
do you
people
doing
think
their
we had
grocery
200
shopping
people
and
until we stopped
you-
last week?
you
Because
know
that's
it.
what people were doing.
Yeah,
They
last
just
week.
didn't. They
but,
didn't stay. They didn't
yeah.
read that we weren't doing the drops. They just did. They stayed.
But I mean, there
anyway.
was a lot more though. What's up,
Hey,
Skio? Psycho. I was like Skio. I read it backwards.
skill.
Skio. GTA. No, I would just normally watch, but I was running out of time, and I had places to be last weekend. So I
Yeah,
was like,
you-
okay, I'm
you'll
gonna
watch,
do it because I
but
want those skins. But normally I would just.
I
watch.
highly doubt anyone is actively sitting and watching for the entire time to get those drops.
Maybe
I
people
did.
sit here and
Really?
watch us,
First
and there's
the-
not even an
The
incentive.
first campaign I did, but that's because it's during the AT. But I mean, if you're watching a
People
stream,
watch this show.
I mean, like people watch this show start to finish. And that's like
People
2 or
watch
3 hours
this
right there.
show for no.
It's like 8 hours.
and
Ours
they
is
get,
like 12
they
hours.
get
yeah.
nothing out of
No.
it.
Yeah, I mean, eventually maybe we'll be part.
They
of it.
might get
one of these
dumber.
days.
No, that's not a might, buddy. We get dumber.
Yeah,
That's
one
a
of-
It's
might.
of
so
these-
funny.
Oh, one of these days, no, that's fine. You can wrong channel. One of these days maybe we'll get part of it.
That's fine.
But
Yes, you are.
the Mega
We
Blog,
know.
The Mega
Mega
Blog.
the
Blog.
Mega Blog.
Hold on.
So you got registration. You got registration over 4 days. On Thursday, it's at the Groska. On Friday, it's at the arena where the venue is. Same with Saturday. So Wednesday, it's at CCP headquarters, and then they got a live stream program. Maybe Twitch drops. That's exciting. So tune into CCP TV All Fan Fest weekend for live streams. And then we got a big on-site program. Did you guys look at the schedule last week for the on-site stuff?
I did not.
Yes,
You
we
get
did.
For the on-site program in
No, last
Groska.
week we went over the.
Oh, this is the
stream. Yeah.
yeah. So this is the thing. Like, if you go to they have a website. You can pull this
Yep.
up on your phone. Sked.com.
Ooh, some good stuff here.
There's some good stuff here. I was a little worried when the stream list came out. I was like, well, they're not doing anything on Thursday. They're just not streaming anything on Thursday.
Yeah, the stream is a
Yeah.
little sparse, probably just because time zone stuff and
Well, it's hard.
there's other things. And I
Maybe
think they
they'll
want
have
to
like,
incentivize.
if they had our expertise over there, they could stream the whole
But I
thing.
mean, they
but
always-
I think
they
they
always
want to
stream, like,
incentivize
the-
people to be there and make it part of the thing. So
Yeah, they always stream the keynote and the opening ceremony and stuff like that.
How can y'all tell which ones they're streaming?
It's on the stream list.
I think they
the
stream
stream- there's a-
everything
yeah.
that's
See,
shown.
Oh, the
in
live stream is the collection.
Yeah,
of
live
the things
stream is
from
the-
the
That's
other
what they're
ones.
going to stream.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yep.
Heard.
Which is kind of unfortunate because on Thursday, there's a couple things I wouldn't mind watching the Oz's market spreadsheet thing because he's
Yeah.
smart and I'm not.
I would
Thanks,
like
Rex.
Max
to.
Singularity is always fun to watch because he's
I'll bet.
awesome.
Wait,
a
where's
lot of
Max's? Is Max on Thursday?
He's on 5 o'clock on Thursday. Beyond Pixels: How EVE Online Transforms Real Lives.
Oh, okay. I would be
Doesn't that
super
stuff get-
excited for the James Webb one on Friday. Is that
Sure.
one being
But-
streamed
But we're
live?
talking about Thursday first, right?
Yeah. Oh, it is streamed live. Ooh.
Don't
I think there still might be tickets for that documentary thing too. I don't know if that's somewhere else or.
That's what I
I
would
know
love
that's
to
a
see.
ticket
yeah.
thing. I was thinking like I think they're still available. I'll probably buy some tonight. Because it was like a movie ticket cost. Like it wasn't crazy expensive or anything. I don't know what the.
I think
if
all,
you go to a
all the
theater
stuff on
or not.
Thursday looks good, doesn't it? Because Odin's Call
Yeah.
thing would be interesting to see.
Yeah, that'd be
Right.
cool.
I don't know what the
Interesting.
Eve
Eden
Inclusive
Trade.
Gamers Circle is, but it's probably a big circle and you stand in it and hug each other. That sounds like
Oh,
fun.
good point. Friendship, dude.
Yeah.
I'm Drayden. I'm a capsuleer. Hi, Drayden.
Is it okay if I hug you? Is it okay if I hug you?
It's very brave of you, Trade.
Yeah.
Now we move on to Friday. No, we got a whole other page of Saturday or Thursday. Never mind. Fuck, I missed that.
Well, there's an auditorium, then there's
Becoming a
the
tycoon?
Psyker
Oh, they're happening at the same time. That's fun.
Yeah, it's like multi-staged.
Damn.
It's like
I don't like
two-stage
it.
event. I mean, they kind of did this at all the events. Like they would
I know,
have
I know.
presentations on the stage, and then they would have like round tables and open to Q&A sessions in other rooms and stuff. So it's not like this is kind of
So are you guys going to come up with a chart? So
the
at
stuff
least one of
that's
you go to
not
everything
being
so you can report
streamed
back
usually gets recorded and put on the
Yeah,
YouTube
usually.
channel.
later. Okay.
Yeah. What's up, Brandflakes?
That could happen. Brand flakes. I thought you said bad face. I'm like, what the drugs are bad, okay?
Yeah, also, I'm not used to like there being Thursday stuff. Eve afternoon
It
pub
was Thursday
quiz.
when I went.
Pub quiz.
Yeah.
What's that?
Is that like a quiz in a pub?
Oh, and I wonder if
That-
that's where
that
they're going to
sounds-
feature the beer that CCP is
That sounds really fun, actually.
partnering with the local brewery. Maybe that's where they're going to do that. Unveil.
Where are
that
you
beer,
guys
maybe.
seeing this? What are you looking at?
That was on
This
the
is the last
Thursday.
thing that I'll-
schedule. Yeah.
The right side of Thursday.
Sked.com.
I'm just looking at the Mega Blog.
I
There's
don't
a
believe
picture.
you.
If you just go to the Mega Blog link,
Like we linked it. You linked it. actually.
Yeah,
But
it's
where are
right-
you
if-
seeing this pub quiz shit?
Look at
Thursday?
Thursday. Look at Thursday.
The slide for
the thir-
Thursday, the
yeah,
last item in
there's
the
an
yellow
image
column.
for just saying Thursday, and it's got a list on the right side. in
Oh,
this
Eve afternoon pub quiz. Okay, I
right.
see it now. I
And
can
then the
read.
special event at 1:00 is the Monument Walking Tour.
Ooh, yeah.
So
Yeah, that'll be fun.
Someone's
It
got
But that
is. I'm
means you
glad
gotta
that they-
miss
that- oh, yeah.
Jokes and the Odin's Call thing.
Dagson does jokes.
Who's doing jokes?
I would go to Odin Call thing. I'm sorry.
Lessons from an
Hoogleiker
Alliance.
I don't like
Dagson.
to laugh.
That would be
Oh
cool.
man, you get stand up. I don't think we've ever had stand up comedy.
No, that's is Blue a player or is Blue does that mean employee? Because some are in
Yeah,
gray and some
those
are in
sound
blue.
like employee names. Those are definitely like
Yeah.
Slavic or
CCP
not
Darwin.
Slavic.
Oh
he's
yeah,
in
yeah,
charge of all
I believe so.
What's the word I'm thinking of?
Employees.
Scandinavian. Those are like Scandinavian
Yeah.
names.
Yeah. So this guy is a cartoonist and comedian.
Does he
He's gonna
work for
share his-
CCP though?
No, he
Oh,
does
no,
not.
okay. All right.
Okay, so the yellow names are players, and the blue names are just non-players.
Or paid.
If you
Well, it could
if
be
you look
devs or
at
just. Yeah.
if you look at sked.com
skid.
instead of these slides you have on the mega blog, if you look at sked.com,
Did you
blue
look
is a player presentation. Probably.
The fuck is this?
Oh. Players
Wow.
versus-
Some sort of
LB, you're
software
fucking
they're trying to
awesome.
sell me?
Oh, but okay. I was looking at the slide. The names are blue and yellow, which is different than this. This is.
I
Like,
think the slide you're looking at is the stages, right? So that's the
Yeah.
blue one is the auditorium, that's the big stage, and the yellow one's going to be the smaller room.
right, but then the names, like it's
The
saying, like
names
Odin's
are-
Call.
Under
Yeah.
the
Lessons
yellow
from
stage,
Lessons,
short.
and then
blue and
Aethel
yellow.
Inerka is a yellow name, and then
I
Oz is a
think-
yellow name, and then you got
I-
Saver.
Players are yellow. Blue is maybe CCP employees or
It's too bad we don't have a
special
CCP
guests.
person here. No,
Because
I think it's
Mark
special guests.
Makarian from the European Space Agency, he's doing the James Webb Space Telescope thing.
is he blue or what?
He's blue.
Yeah.
So he's probably not
He's
a
a neutral
player.
to me.
Yeah, he's a neutral.
And the guys
Oh,
with
okay.
Project
Let me
Discovery
see.
aren't players. Yeah.
I think yellow
I think
is
on the
player,
picture
blue
slides,
is-
it's just showing yellow is player, blue
Yeah, the
is
sked.com
non-player.
thing lays it out way better. You're right.
That'll be
God,
so
I'm
cool.
glad we're getting this all figured out
Yes. What a breakdown.
That'll be no.
This sucks though, because I want to do multiple of these fucking
now.
things.
You're gonna miss something. There's
What
always
you do
something.
is you
that
take a
miss.
video
Can't be
camera, set it
everywhere.
up in one room, and then you go watch the other one.
Oh,
Take
then
it-
you
I
lose
had-
it.
Buy a drone, fly it
Buy a
over to the
drone.
other room.
Oh, that's a good point.
Dude, you know what?
Put it
Do
in
the
your
double
bud.
training thing. Pay for
Listen
double
to
Set
Like,
up
training.
set up your
everyone
GoPro
had
in
the-
one of the rooms.
Yeah, like everyone had a drone, so you got like an audience full of people, and then there's like 1,000 drones just in the air, like "Hooray," just making a bunch of fucking noise.
Just FPVs trying to like move around each other when they like inevitably get in each other's way.
You'd have people fighting with their drones too, you know that.
Absolutely.
And then you'd have drones raining on people in the seats.
Whoever was the last man standing gets to put the full video on YouTube. Come on. Think of the click.
Think of the clicks.
Did someone say
Man,
clicks?
There's a lot of shit here.
That's right.
I heard some jackass the other day say, well,
This
there's
makes-
not hardly anything going on FanFest. Well, they're full of shit. There's a lot of stuff going
Yeah,
on.
there's
This
the
makes me
hell?
wonder, is the making of the EVE Online and Escapist documentary, is that going for 2 hours or is that happening once and then happening again?
I think it's two
So,
parts. It
it's
looks like.
well, it's on the Eve YouTube channel or the CCP YouTube channel. It's only like half an hour long, so I think they're just doing 2 showings back to back. What I'm interested in, are we going to see anything about Frederick Knudson's Down the Rabbit Hole? You guys remember this?
Yep.
This dude is making like a 6-hour long expose on the history of Eve. He's super famous for making these long form content videos.
Oh, wow.
And he announced, I think later last year, that he was making this, and he ended up taking a lot longer than he anticipated. I think he was expecting it to be about 4 hours long, and it's ending up being 6 hours. But I haven't heard anything about this since like for a few months now. So
Yeah, the last I heard was he was editing it and he had it down to like 5 hours and 45 minutes.
damn.
Well, hopefully
Bran
they'll
Flakes,
mention it
thank you
there.
for
but
the
it's
Bran
sub.
gonna
Flakes
be-
with the sub. Nice. Welcome. I'm back. What did I miss?
I don't know,
We're-
spaced out.
I was just asking about the Down the Rabbit Hole documentary. we've heard little about for a few months.
But
All
man,
right.
you've watched some of his other videos. They are very good.
I love
He
them.
does a good job of covering everything very
Yes.
well and without judgment. He's good.
Yeah, he just has a way of speaking that just really draws you in. The most interesting video of his is he did a thing on IBM's development of the Deep Blue learning computer that would play chess against Gary Kasparov. So he did a whole expose on that. It's fascinating stuff.
I'd never heard of the guy until you brought him up
What did he
and
expose?
showed us. I think it was that video you showed us. You linked it.
Yeah.
I've never.
I mean, he doesn't
amazing.
really like expose things. He takes these kind of
Information.
obscure topics that he's really interested in and makes these long form videos. And he decided to do one about the history of Eve and the Eve community. And yeah, apparently
interesting.
it's going to be like 6 hours long.
I did see on, I think maybe Sunday, there's an Andrew Groen thing. So
Timber.
Yeah.
What did he
As far as
post
the
it a
deep
month
stuff.
ago? What did he post?
Every time I think of people mention like AI chess stuff, like it's not the same as the AI computers that are playing the chess game, but there was like I think it was in Russia. There was this tournament of like people playing against the robots that would, move the
the
pieces.
kid
and
that
stuff.
got his
Oh,
hand.
yeah.
The kid went
They
and
were-
reached too early and didn't wait for the robot to finish, and the robot malfunctioned and like grabbed his finger and then broke it. Like it's like, oh fuck.
Sometimes
Chess is a full contact sport.
No chess boxing in 2023. I wish I would have been
Yes,
at
Brandon.
the
It
Fan
is an
Fest
Eve
where they
talk show.
did chess boxing.
Are they gonna do games?
Ooh, I haven't heard about that.
I think that
This is
I always
CCD
enjoyed
games.
watching those. I know that the last couple times they've done it, you get the mega fucking Twitch trolls that just go in and like they don't like it, and instead of them just like not watching it, they have to come in and just start
They have to be mean
vocally
about it.
shitting on it, and then it just kind of makes it like not as fun of an experience for everyone else that's like actually wanting to watch it and have fun. So, there's always those people. So I'm not sure if they'll do it again this year, because the trolls were there one year, and then last year they got even worse. And I think it's because there was some grief with CCP at the time because of some change that came out, and so a lot of the people were just going in and just trolling it because they were mad at CCP, regardless of,
Oh,
You
was
mean,
it because
you mean Eve players threw a fit over something that's
Yeah.
ridiculous?
or some
No
bullshit?
way.
Was
shocked.
it because that was the Fan Fest where like Rattati people were asking like what was coming with the next big update, and Rattati said wait for Fan Fest,
Oh yeah, yeah,
and then
Oh,
it was
that was
kind of a
happening.
big flop.
yeah.
I
Not
don't think it was
necessarily
Rattati
flop,
even.
but it was Rattati. He went on stream because I think they were doing like a dev Q&A for the upcoming whatever expansion it was.
Yeah,
And
might have
people
been.
wanted more details, and he said wait for FanFest, and people waited for FanFest, and it was kind of underwhelming.
I thought it was whichever one of the devs that was like on vacation and like kind of like did a live stream thing from like while he was on vacation and said that like a bunch of times because
I think that was Rattati.
Are you sure? I don't think it was,
I'm
but I
pretty sure
could
it
be
was
mistaken.
Rattati.
I don't
I'm
think
like
it was.
90% sure it was Rattati.
I think you should look at it into it.
Oh, you
Someone-
got to get your capsuleer's license.
we need
Don't
a
forget to
fact
do that.
check.
The silent option.
Yeah.
We need like a fact check AI.
Do we need to integrate Chat GPT?
Yeah, we need to get
to
like
open
a AI. Yeah.
comms? Oh my god.
Could you imagine
Oh.
what the Chat GPT would learn if it had
snap.
open comms?
We should
Access.
have. I'm gonna see if Chat GPT will write
Let him know, Timber.
an open comms script.
Oh no.
Dude, I
I'm
love using
afraid
Chat
of what it would
GPT
come
I'm
up
gonna
with.
when I
see
scratch
what
my
happens.
Tuesday.
Like because it would depend on the parameters of like how far back of open comms is it gonna look at, because it could
Yeah,
get wild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
There you go. It was CCP Paragon.
Paragon. Okay, my
Hmm.
apologies, Rattati. I have no idea what I'm
Don't
talking about.
apologize to him. He doesn't deserve it.
No, I'm
That's-
apologizing. I'm
Yeah, if you're rude to
apologizing
him, you should apologize.
for
What?
falsely attributing something to him that I should not have attributed to him. I am apologizing for that. I was
you
wrong.
should. Thank you.
That being said, credit where credit's due. If the story was true, Paragon was like on vacation time and just saw something like erupting, was like, oh, I gotta step in, and got friggin' crucified for it. So like, props to that guy for having thick skin or whatever.
the I like how they give the floor plan for the venue.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. I just
I feel
asked
like I got attacked.
ChatGPT.
Damage
It-
control's hard.
I asked ChatGPT what it knows about open comms. And this is its answer. As of my last knowledge update in September 2021, I don't have specific information about an EVE Online stream called Open Comms.
We don't even exist. This,
We don't
this
even
all,
exist.
was an
Even
EVE Online
This is all
exist.
just a figment of our imagination.
How did it know it was an EVE Online stream?
Because I
Right?
said, are you familiar with the EVE stream Open
Um,
Comms?
Oh, so
That
you
makes
fucked
sense.
it up.
Oh, but
Tried
how
to
did it
lead
know?
it- well, he had to
Eve
lead it
how did
into
know
it.
I mean, you meant Eve Online when you said Eve.
Probably because I capitalized EVE
Mm,
in all caps because that's the proper branding for EVE.
little
Sure.
sus.
Alt 0153.
Pardon?
That's the character map code for putting the trademark symbol.
Oh, yeah. See, like, I wish there was an easier way to put things like that without having to know the ASCII thing for it.
Anywho,
Anyway,
Anyway,
This game is
I
why
just-
I know how to do that hotkey.
Anytime I need it, I just Google it, copy and paste it.
copy and
Yeah,
paste
you can
it.
look
I
up
do
the
it all
character
the
map.
time.
at any
that's
time.
what I do.
All the
but-
Or you could pull it up in Windows.
Eh,
yo, the pulse bar. Let's go there.
What's
Ooh.
that?
Pulse, but
Bar?
we're
But you're muted,
Real
man.
one. It's a real one.
I dropped out.
I dropped out.
You said we're in, and then you just went silent.
Oh, we are in the Pulse Bar because
Right.
Open Comms broadcasts from the Pulse
yeah.
Bar.
Oh, that's right. We do, don't we?
As
of
evidence from
you.
our intro, every week we take over the Pulse Bar.
As evidenced by all of our backgrounds, we are definitely
Yeah.
in there.
Yeah.
I'm in a bathroom in the pulse bar.
Honestly, what if but that's something we should do? We should get a this background, Manny. That's the in station. We need
Uh-huh.
we need a pulse bar.
A Pulse
Yeah.
Bar.
We need a
Okay.
pulse
like
bar
we're
with some like chairs that I can set
chilling in the
people's
bar. I
cameras on, so it
wonder-
looks like we're sitting at tables.
Yeah, I wonder if I can mock something up from clips of the Pulse videos.
Right.
'Cause I gotta
CCTV
get something-
Mirage.
Yeah,
I
where
gotta get-
Mirage is in there. You got the
Yeah, but I have to.
we gotta have the
Photoshop
exotic
Mirage
dancer in the
out.
background too.
Well, especially now
Because
that there's
that's
that
a-
like stripper one.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The exotic dancer.
What if I was gonna say? What if I take the clip from the latest Eve trailer, where it's in the is it the Garistas Club?
That's in the blade.
It's a
yeah, that
Garistas Club.
well, it's
Or not
Garistas and
Garistas.
Angel. I
No,
think
no,
it's
no.
Angels
It's
Cartel.
Angel.
I
It's
think
got the
Garistas
Angel
are
Cartel
there.
logo is on the door.
Yeah, but it did have a Garistas section on the side, so it might just be like a place where they both
Yeah.
congregate. So
Yeah, it's a pirate bar.
it's a pirate bar.
It's built in the middle of an asteroid farming colony.
That was a cool club. That gave
Were there any
me
vampires
club.
there?
that gave me like John Wick vibes.
There's probably some vampires in there.
Gave me Blade nightclub scene.
Vampires aren't real,
Yes.
are they?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Huh?
Oh,
Yes, you
Didn't you
didn't
see
know
that
this?
movie?
Oh fuck yeah, bud.
Which one? Twilight?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Oh, that's a
never
scary
saw
movie.
it.
That's got vampires in it. I don't like
or
that.
like Interview with a Vampire or
Scary.
Blade.
Lost
A
No,
handful
I
of
would
other
never-
documentaries.
I would never invite
Underworld
a vampire
was
into
a
my
cool
home
one.
by watching a film
That's a-
featuring
Wait.
a vampire.
I did like
That's
Underworld a lot.
Tamber says he
I
has a
certainly-
tool for displaying the same scene from different screens. Tamber, do you have a tool for displaying the pulse bar? Is that like a model within the game client that you can pull
Hell
out?
yeah. 360-degree
Oh, that's sick.
view of the
Dude,
board.
let's do it. I mean, Tamber, you should do it.
The thing I loved that video. The one thing I think I noticed, unless I have to go back and look at it, but you know when they're in the club and like the people dancing are all in like slow motion because it's given like the slow motion shot, but then the lady walking
Yeah.
through is going at full speed. I'm like, wait, are they in slow motion or are they just
Wait,
are they just intentionally
she is
dancing
fast.
lighter
is
in slow
that
motion?
is that true? She's
I think
walking
she-
at normal speed?
I think she's walking at normal speed and everyone's like, So I'm
No,
like,
she's
wait,
walking in slow motion.
Is she? Oh, then maybe she's.
Yeah.
I guess she's doing a very brisk, like focused walk. So it
because
just
I
looks
made
like-
that meme. I made that meme, and I had to watch this clip over and over again to make that meme. So
Okay,
hold on,
I
let
mean,
me-
it's probably just because she was at a very focused walk, so she was probably just power walking, which in slow motion makes it look a little almost.
I've got it
normalish
pulled
speed,
up
but-
right now. I have to be sure because if I
like,
missed
'cause
that,
I
that's
thought I
hilarious.
remember like it just looks like she's walking through at a normal speed, and everyone else is like slow mo dancing, and I'm like, that's maybe it's the drugs. Like They're just on slow motion pulls.
Okay, so you're kind of right.
It's like halfway,
She's-
right?
She is definitely walking faster than the people are dancing, but it's not like she's at
Okay.
she's not at 1.0 speed and everybody else is at like 0.5. It's very slight. She is walking pretty fast.
She's got snake implants.
You got the quave.
maybe, yeah.
Okay,
What?
I remember seeing that. I'm like, wait a second.
I don't think you talk about her.
Timber's
you
got all of
guys-
the captain's quarters. Ooh.
Are you guys familiar with the hostile crab way of life in EVE Online?
No.
That's
Probably.
the best.
Have you guys ever eaten crab? It's so good.
Yeah.
Have you ever eaten
Yeah,
so
I
much
like
crab
crab.
it made you give you so much gas you thought you were gonna die?
No.
Not.
Once it was awful. Don't do that.
Goodness.
I thought I was gonna have to go to the
Basically-
hospital. I was gonna die. Then I farted and I felt better.
Like you
That'll
do.
happen.
Like you did.
Sometimes you just gotta fart it out.
Sometimes you just gotta fart it out.
That's what happens.
Are we done
Middle-aged
talking
men
about
with too much
FanFest?
crab and then little babies.
Is there anything better than farting away a stomach ache?
Not having a stomach ache in the first place.
Not having a
Probably,
stomach
Probably.
something
That
like
was
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's
that's
fair.
fair.
This
Yeah.
brewery shot.
Why are you so
what?
smart?
This is gonna be the brewery that's gonna be opening, right? Or no, this is a previous FanFest shot, I think.
It's talking about making the special brew for FanFest.
Okay.
And they're talking
it's
about
like
their
everyone's
partners
holding the
at the
can
lake.
up, and then
Yeah,
you
they're
got
making
convict in the
custom
back
beers
just making sweet romance
Sweet,
with
sweet
his.
love to a
Yeah.
can.
How come
Yeah.
you guys haven't created a profile yet for your FanFest? Malketh has. He did his job.
For the sked.com
For
or
the
whatever.
Sked.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I saw
I see
that he had a
Malketh's
picture on there.
Grey Gal's in there.
I didn't even know that was a thing until
I
Elby
didn't,
kept
until he
talking about
linked
it.
it,
And
yeah,
then I went to
exactly.
just sked.com thinking maybe they had that like
Like it's-
domain for
It's
some
somehow
reason.
linked
And
to
it was
your
like, buy this
Eve
product.
character.
It's a whatever. It's just a homepage.
No, it's a-
But I found how I
Harrelson
could
is
search
a-
for
is an ice
events that were
slave.
on sked.com. and
yeah,
then
it's an event scheduling platform.
Oh, and what has?
yeah,
Project
I know that
Discovery
now, and it's pretty
discovered?
cool.
It's really cool.
Dude,
So
I
as
think
in previous years,
So why haven't you done it yet then?
What's up, Mace?
they got 2
I don't know,
space
I didn't
presentations this year.
pursue it.
Fuck yeah!
Fuck yeah,
They got the
bud.
so
James
as in
Webb one
previous
and
years,
the
we have partnered with.
and the what has Project Discovery discovered. That's pretty cool.
Are you going back up into the schedule?
Oh, I just saw that.
I don't know.
Uh,
We're-
I
right,
don't
we're
know.
You're fine.
No, we can press on
Just
the
want to know
schedule.
where to
I'm all over the place. Don't worry about me.
put my eyes. Dom, one thing I was going to say earlier is, so if you're interested in the Oz, whatever speech thing, then I think you should probably watch the Eden Trade one as well.
Yeah.
I assume there's gonna be some overlapping themes there. They're both bigwig traders, and Oz and Eden Trade collaborate on this thing that they're doing that's kind of Shark Tank esque. I don't know if you
Yeah.
caught
And I
any
heard,
of
did you
that.
hear that kind of the first project failed already?
Oh, did it? I haven't heard any updates yet.
Redline knows all the information.
Did they run out of money?
Reverse pyramid scam.
Well, basically, yeah. They gave him the money to do this thing, and one party of it just fucked off. Fuck it, I'm not doing it.
Well, and I
Just
mean, he
took
made
the
that
money
pretty
and
clear in
ran.
the very beginning. He was like, I know that some people will take that opportunity, and he was like, and honestly, it's like, it's fine, it's not a big deal.
It's not like the
Which-
I mean, like the real
I will
Shark Tank.
credit
There's
them.
like legal contracts
Sure.
and obligations, so you can't just do that because you'll be held legally liable for some stuff. but
Right, Eve has no such.
Yeah.
He's made it clear that like he knows that's a possibility and he's fine with it. And that's one thing that I have to remind myself, because a lot of these things people are coming on and they're like, yeah, I think if I had like 10 billion, I could do this project. I'm like, you can't fucking make 10 billion for like your idea of a project. Like, okay, well,
If you
I
can't,
whatever,
if you can't make the money to do your project, how are you going to do the project?
mean, 10 billion
Well,
is a lot of risk.
I don't know, but I mean, they're getting very modest amounts. And even when there was like some pretty impressive ideas. One was like an Eve media contest where they were like, they wanted to try to get Eve back to making like player made songs and this, that, and the other. And I was like, well, that's usually talented people with like sound equipment and shit. But then they were like talking about
Yeah.
the budget for like prizes for such a contest. And I think the guy was like, maybe like up to like 50, maybe 100 bill, which I don't think is crazy when you think splitting across multiple people based on, how they do. And Oz was like, whoa, like, you know, are you like really like that much? Like
When
talking
are-
like 25, and I was like, people aren't. I don't think a lot of
Yeah,
people are gonna
I
put in
feel
a
like
huge
there's-
amount of effort if they weren't already gonna. Just for, like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
split
that's the
of
I
kind
don't
of
think
thing. Like,
the way I read this guy that failed. I don't think they went into it planning to fail and rip him off. It just happened. Like half the people that were.
you don't think they plan to fail?
it was
Well, I don't plan
like
to fail. I
they
fail a
saw
lot.
how it
businesses
was
fail.
going.
Ideas fail.
You mean, are you saying like they saw that it wasn't performing as well as they
No,
wanted
Redline knows
to,
better than
and
I
so
do.
they
Let him
just
answer.
took the money and ran?
Redline? No, they didn't.
He's
take
trying
the
to
money.
summon
talking
Redline.
about?
Who's the guy that was going to do the Pochfin thing? Got money from the Oz.
That's the one that failed already. The
yeah. Then
Pochman
the
buyback.
guy whose idea it was just basically fucked off 40 hours
No,
later. Is
we're
what they
we're
said.
doing that.
So
He-
Pochman
wait, but
buyback
not
guy
the
died or
person
no?
who did the Oz show, right? You and the
Yeah.
other guy are taking over for it.
No, him. Me and
Nah.
him.
Would you
Well,
not
It's
Yeah,
yours.
like,
to say.
swallow your
guy.
while you're
fucking
doing
food? Swallow your food before you turn on your mic, please.
Me and the guy.
Were you born in a barn?
The one that has the ISK or the
Yeah.
other guy?
The one that has the ISK.
Yeah, but he's not the one who went to the Oz show and asked for it. He was given the money by that guy.
So
to
he
hold it.
inherited a project.
Yeah, because inherited the project, and the guy who
Kind of.
put basically,
Why don't you
Pimp
just
the
fucking
project
elaborate
went
on
off.
this like
Yeah.
he's trying to get you to?
yeah, he knows
He-
better
he
than I do.
alleges
I don't-
you
Just
know
I read
more.
it
explain it,
once. He
Redline.
fucking
Just
talked to me.
I
explain
can't
it.
elaborate on it because
Oh.
it's literally in the opening stages of my involvement. So
Yeah, so
I'm-
the guy
I'm
fucked
barely
off.
even on board.
Another
He's
guy ended up with
NDA'd.
the ISK. So the first one.
So
failed.
do you not know anything about it or no?
He's
He
NDA'd.
does.
no, I know everything about
Like
it.
everybody
know he
saw the
does.
show and knows the idea. So like I'm not asking you for like your insider trade secrets or something. I'm just saying give us some details on what the fuck he's
Well,
talking
it was
about.
like what 4 billion ISK. It wasn't a lot of ISK, but it was maybe some. Or was it more than that?
I
don't
mean, it
remember
doesn't
now.
even matter.
I
Just-
don't know
just
how much it
elaborate
was,
some.
but
He said, I
somebody
just remember.
had some ISK. Oh shit! Hold up, I gotta kill somebody.
Kill him hard.
In game.
So to
Suspense.
give context here,
Yeah,
this guy named Oz, who is a
Redline's
big
just
market
rolling down the
trader.
street.
Hold on, I gotta go kill somebody.
I told you, you're gonna give
He's-
me my money. He's laying down the fucking law down in Poshfed. He's breaking the kneecaps.
So this guy Oz is arranging with a few other bigwig market traders, like mostly like trillionaire level people, to do like a Shark Tank thing, or Dragon's Den, or whatever multiple other countries call it. And then people come to them with some ideas. They let them come on their stream they pitch these ideas, and they decide whether they're going to fund it, at what level they're going to fund it. If there's any expectation of anything out of it. Most of these, they're like, we don't know if there's going to be any ROI. There may be not even any intention of ROI, and they're like, okay, that's fine, like whatever, like it's content for them. So this particular one that we're referring to, somebody pitched the idea of, hey, there's a lot of movers and shakers, a lot of stuff happens in Pochvin, but there's not really a lot of, nearly as much market focus as there could be. I want to do like an organized buyback of Pochvin, things, and
I don't know
turn
any
it into
details.
something.
I only heard part of it, and then I don't pay
Mhm.
attention. So
And then allegedly, I guess this idea maybe has either been failed or punted to someone else. Who knows?
Allegedly.
I thought that would have been one of the easier ones to just iterate on, even if you didn't do it
People
as
are in
like
Poshfin.
no,
fast
we don't
as
want
you
to know
wanted
now.
to.
Redline. Ackroth explained it.
I'm over it,
I
dude.
was
Yeah,
told.
like the
I
people
was told
know.
to chew my food.
The
you're
people
right.
So
know.
I
You're right,
chewed
you're
my
right.
food, and now
Sorry.
I'm ready to
Redline,
talk.
thank you for chewing your
Yeah,
food before
yes.
speaking.
That's
Is-
fair.
I do
Is it
appreciate
It's
okay?
the longest
Yeah.
chew
So-
ever.
Yes,
Was that
this
like
sounds
gristle?
great.
So
Thank
everything
you.
was planned and ready to go. There's a rule set and everything that's involved, and very nice, and it seems to work well. And I have a show that I'm doing called Fit Kitchen, which essentially is a show where people come on and they fit ships, and then there's a tournament with the ships that are fit to see who fits the best ship, and the winner gets the prize.
I like
Oh,
And
this.
I like that.
conveniently enough, the first ship that is being featured in Fit Kitchen is the Kikimora, which happens to be a Triglavian ship who are from the region of Poshvin. So, the Poshvin person who has the Casholas and myself may be doing something with those two things, combining them together. I don't know what happened to the original person. He flaked like
we
2
don't know,
days
but-
before
Yeah.
the
okay.
thing was gonna go off.
You sound like I'm crazy. I
I-
Kiki stuff comes from Pochvin?
Huh?
Well,
You're saying Kiki
Kikimoras are
stuff-
they're a Triglavian ship, which are Poshfin.
Yeah, Kikimoras are
people.
are
Just
Triglavian
Pochvin.
ships.
They're
adjacent.
Triglavian ships, yeah.
Yeah,
No,
that-
I was gonna say because I thought all that
Poch is
stuff came out of
Trig's
Abyssal.
Well,
I understand what you're saying.
The Triglavians
Like
came
affiliated
in,
with Poshvin.
but yeah, the systems in game that are affiliated with Triglavians. But
You could get that
I
kind
like
of
that though
shit in
because like
Poshvin.
I mean I'm terrible at fitting ships, so I would like to watch this. Now the thing is like I have questions because there are certain. How do you determine what the best fit is? Because sometimes a fit might be
That's
really
not the
terrible,
idea.
except for this specific situation where that fit is like focused for that.
That's the best fit then. Like
Okay,
it's
so do you guys give
literally-
like a situation? Like
it's
here's a
so-
situation, fit a ship.
So like the tournament part of it is gonna be so brain dead simple that it doesn't even matter. The whole point of it is that the people on the show are timed to make these fits. And while they're making these fits, they're streaming their screens into a Discord channel, and me and whoever else is gonna host this with me are popping in and out of channels, talking to the people as they're fitting their ships.
Oh, it's kind of like a
Getting,
iron.
It's like, it's like a
the
cooking
inside
show.
scoop.
Yeah.
Yes, it's like a cooking show. Exactly.
what's
Fit
the-
Kitchen.
what's the-
I love
Kitchen.
this. I
What's
love this
the
idea.
Master
I really
Chef
love
where he
this.
comes over, he's like, "Tell us what we got going on."
Right?
here.
Yeah, exactly.
How
It
are you
is an
gonna
love
bring
amazing
this.
show.
How are you
and
gonna
it's
bring this to the
coming
next
soon,
level? Like,
Coming soon to New Eden Post. I'm
This
serious.
is such a good idea.
Can
I
you,
love
can you
this.
talk about bringing this ship fit to the next level? Like, say it so many times every episode, so then you're like the Gordon Ramsay of Evo Online.
Where,
I
where's
don't think
the,
that guy could talk about food without saying the
Where's
most
the lamb
amazing.
sauce?
Yeah, like he says, he calls everything like the most amazing ingredient. Where he's like, and you just take the
Hold
most
on, Greg.
amazing
1 sec.
ground
Time out.
pepper. It's like,
Time
how,
out.
what kind of different ground
Time
peppers
out.
do you got?
Ackroth
Dude?
is talking
Okay.
shit in chat.
Oh shit! What?
And I agreed with him.
What? How did I not answer your question?
We
Go
were talking
back to
about
the
something
very beginning of
completely
it.
separate.
What happened? Yeah,
And
you know
when
better
we
than
were
I
like,
do.
"Hey," Dominark said, "Hey, I think Redline knows
The,
more about this."
Yeah.
I assume
the-
from y'all's like TTT or something where you guys had
no,
spoken
just
already about it.
from
And then when we were
literally
asking you to
just-
elaborate, when you
Yeah.
finally did come to speak, you talked about something completely different than what we were talking
Yeah.
about.
You gave an
No, I
elevator
didn't.
That was
pitch for
absolutely
Master
No,
Chef.
different than what we were
it
talking
morphed.
about.
It is the same
No,
thing, but it
You
morphed
didn't
into it.
elaborate on
No,
what we were
it-
talking about at all.
that their thing may morph into my thing and
Mm.
become our
That has
thing.
nothing to do with talking about their thing. He was saying their thing already fizzled out.
Their
You
thing
kind
is
of alluded
done.
to their thing might have
The
been, you know,
guy.
maybe it's just we're working together on their thing, but like you didn't say anything. Now you're just like, oh, let me pitch this other idea.
Well, he's
No,
saying
I
that
was-
their thing fizzled out and isn't gonna be a thing, so now they're
I
gonna
was
probably
telling
merge
you
in
what-
with him.
was happening.
It sounded like its own little Oztink pitch. And it's like, that's fine. That sounds cool. Like, I'm not fighting that. I'm just like, you didn't say anything about the other thing, which is all we were asking about.
It is
Like, hey, elaborate on this thing that apparently you know about, alleged, you know, whatever.
That's what.
But you didn't. You didn't at all. You talked
Here's a
about
question, Redline. Shut up.
Huh?
Sorry, that was funny.
That was really funny.
Poor Redline.
Here's a
I'm
question.
so
Shut
I'm
up.
so confused. I don't
We
get
know.
it. The original
fine.
So the original thing is gone. It's
But what
cooked.
was the
So
original
you
thing?
didn't
That's
say that.
what I
That's
don't
kinda
the
know.
what we were
original
looking for is some
thing
detail.
was going to be a tournament in
Tournament.
Poshvin.
There you go.
You're talking about something different then.
No, this is
No,
what
I'm
this is
not.
the thing.
He's talking about the buyback.
It was gonna
program.
be a
Thing
tournament.
from the
That's-
Oz tank
yeah.
that fizzled out.
That
Yes.
Dom and I are talking about two different things.
No, this is what we're talking about. It was going to be a tournament with this guy. He got some ISK to like buy security, like somebody's going to guard it so they could do it. And then he asked another
That's
guy.
not what Ackroth is. Ackroth is. There was
Yeah,
a
we're on
buyback-
two different-
No,
we're
Ackroth is
just on
talking
two
about
different pages, it
buyback
sounds like, is
program in Poshvin. People
Well,
basically
I thought we were talking
buy-
about the Oz thing. This is the Oz thing.
It was on Oz. It was one of the
It was
people
an
that got
Oz
funded
thing. It
was
was a
going to
thing
do
in
a
So there was
Poshvin
two
where they were
Poshvin
basically
things then, okay.
buying
I don't know anything
product,
about the
buying
buyback.
materials that you get from farming in Poshvin. They're going to buy
Now-
it from you and then
Right.
go sell it.
So there must be
So
two.
it sounds like
different
we
things
were
that
just
were
on
the
two
Oz
different
show.
pages.
How
That's
did
all.
how do we do that? No wonder you were so salty, dude.
No, I was
Jeez.
like, this has nothing to do
Imagine
with it.
asking
Like,
about
I was like, what are you
something
talking
and someone
about?
just elevator pitches the
I
shit
didn't,
out of you.
I
So we
didn't
were-
know
we
there
were
was
the
a
whole time
second
talking
Poshvin
about
thing
that-
that happened.
Yeah, that's why because Ackroth was asking about the buyback program, and you guys were talking about everything but the buyback
were-
program. So that's
I,
why
was-
were just
Ackroth
on
I
was-
different
brought up the
wavelength.
I brought up the fucking
Thanks,
subject, so you should have been talking about what I was talking about.
I do
Ackroth
appreciate you
didn't
giving
bother.
me
You were
the
vague.
opportunity to have the
That's vague.
elevator pitch, though. So now that
Yeah.
it's on
I
record,
mean, it sounds
that it was
cool.
my
I'm
Now, I
into
want
it
you both
first.
to kiss
It makes so
kiss
much
on the
more sense
mouth and
now.
make up.
Yeah, it
do
sounds
I have
cool.
to
I want to
kiss?
watch the kitchen
You have
thing.
you and Akaroth have to kiss and make up.
Skyhawk and I are going to go to Dave and Buster's after FanFest.
Are you gonna
There-
kiss?
you're gonna
What
kiss.
is
Yeah,
it,
you're
Dave
gonna
and
do that.
Buster's?
I don't
It's like an
fucking know.
adult
A
arcade.
weekend day.
Oh,
So
it's
it's
an
a-
adult
yeah,
I was like,
Chuck E.
I've
Cheese.
heard the
Weekend day.
name, but I
I'll
didn't know
come
what
over
it
for
was.
it.
You will?
I'll drive over. That's not that far.
For real? That'd be dope.
Oh, it's like a Saturday. I can't do it on a Friday.
Redline, are you coming
Yeah.
to FanFest?
No, I can't.
Oh, okay.
I was going to, but I don't think I can do 16 hours on a plane, like mentally. I really
16?
Yeah.
Your flight would be 16 hours?
That
Yeah.
can't be.
How?
Mine's
don't
only
know.
11. How is
From,
yours?
like,
I was
where
gonna
you're
say-
I
at-
thought it was like
Well,
12 or 11.
from your
yeah.
to from
I
Detroit
also-
Skyhawks
to,
is like
I
6.
also,
yeah, Detroit to
also
Reykjavik is
couldn't
like
do-
6 or 7. I think it's like 7-hour
I also
flight.
couldn't do 11 hours on a plane.
Okay, I
You
was like,
don't
you're-
need to.
I was like, it would be like a trip.
Skyhawk's flight is
That's-
6
that's what I'm
hours from
saying.
your
Let me-
You'd
city.
fly from
Let me
wherever you're
Google
at
it.
to Detroit, and then lay over in Detroit, and then you'd get on. a
The
plane.
only
It'd be like 6 or
reason
7
mine is
hours.
11 is because for some reason I'm going from Salt Lake to Seattle to
a
Reykjavik.
long time, Brand Flakes.
Yeah, 'cause
actually,
that's the only
I
place
think
you
we
go.
are the longest Eve podcast
we're
going.
not.
Oh, is there still a longer one?
Is there a longer one still
yeah,
running?
what's his
Declarations
face?
of War,
Declarations of
maybe?
War. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I
I
was
think
like, I
so,
know
yeah.
there's. I was
Yeah.
like, I know there were some other ones, but a lot of them have stopped now. So
I think theoretically this is
listen,
probably one
guys,
of the
we're the
old.
all-
longest
all we
video
have to do-
podcast. We're the
we
longest
just have-
video podcast for you.
We just have to keep doing this.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Just
We'll
outlast
We'll
them.
eventually,
We'll
we
eventually
have to
break that record.
outlive all the other ones.
EVE Online will
Which one's
close
I
that?
think
down.
Declarations of War started in 2000.
Okay, so how long? I was
But
just gonna
which
get to that.
one's
So,
the
Brand
best?
Flake, we are coming. I think like early November. We are coming up on 12 years.
12 fucking years, bud.
Jesus.
I mean, I haven't been doing. I think I'm. The
I haven't been doing
But
one
the
who's
show
doing
has
it
been
for-
going
what?
for about 12 years.
I've been on this show the longest of everyone here, and I think I've been doing it for like this will be 10. I think for me coming up, but
I've been
they
calling
were
it
doing it for a couple
That's
years
really
before I
cool.
came on.
I'm not even actually on this show, but I keep
I've
coming
been doing
around.
a,
and
I've
they
been
don't
doing a
kick me out.
streamer podcast since
Ackroth is just
2011.
pretending.
I'm a recurring guest.
I don't know, dude. You've been on enough.
I think you're part of the group. I tell people
Like-
you're part of it.
Yeah, but like at this point,
I consider
it's
myself part,
not
but I
really
wasn't
like-
gonna barge in.
That's really all
barge
it
in next time.
takes to become to become part of Open Comms. If you're just on enough, if you just refuse to leave, then
That's what I
you
did.
naturally become part of the show.
Did anyone
the
else
sh-
play with
the
this
shortest-
schedule thing?
The shortest flight is
I didn't.
9 hours, and I'd have to spend 2 hours in Boston.
You can do
I would have to
9
spend
hours.
almost
Wait, you-
$3,000, and I
But why
still
wouldn't
have
you
to
do the
spend
Detroit
2
one? 'Cause
it's a
hours in
week away now.
Boston.
Why would you-
Drayden, how much we got in the Open Comms wallet? We got
Doesn't
$3
matter. It's
grand,
all
don't
sold
we?
out. He can't get
I
in.
paid it out to LB. There's
I
not
was gonna
much.
say I don't
in
think
there.
there's
at all.
anything left.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the last payout.
This year was LB.
Yeah, like there
Bro,
was a.
this is LB's year.
Yeah,
LB's
I
coming
gave
here.
LB the wallet, and then we got one
to
more payout like
FanFest.
towards the end of August, and I gave him that too. So like,
So our
I think there was a
our
donation that came in
campaign-
a show or two ago that might actually be in there. But I like to let those donations sit in there for a month in case they retract them. Then I'm not.
Hmm.
our
then I don't
campaign
owe.
to get I want to do a shot. Our
Yeah, 'cause, like,
campaign
after
to
30
get
days, you
to
can't
get
refund.
LB to FanFest was successful.
Yeah. Cheers.
It was all those letters we wrote to Trudeau. You know it was.
I got some of those got
That's
sent
right.
back to me saying he's going to get fired any day now.
Thank
Well,
you.
I got all of the
I
ones
got a
I
few return
sent.
to senders after the first.
Yeah,
couple,
I said
Yeah.
mine said moved, no forwarding address.
Yeah. But Redley, I was just saying, like, because Skyhawk he's doing the one out of Detroit, and it's like 6 or 7 hours, and like I'm
Yeah, man.
surprised that you from Michigan
He's
are not
bullshit.
flying out of Detroit instead
Or
of
maybe
going,
it's cheaper
going
out
to
of
Boston instead.
It's
Would it
just
be
a
cheaper?
fucking
I imagine it'd be cheaper to go the shortest
It's
route.
a
Which
I'm
is,
just
layover.
guessing, I
It's
don't
not.
oh,
It's not Detroit to Reykjavik. It's Detroit to Boston and Boston to Reykjavik. or
I thought it
something
was.
like
I
that.
think that he said they have direct flights from Detroit now.
I was gonna say, yeah, there's a way, but it's fine. It's too late,
Oh.
and it's fine.
The
Maybe they
dude
didn't
is
have any more.
literally basically a travel agent. Of course he knows the secrets. I got no clue how to find those deals.
I thought he was closer to like a concierge.
So, Ackroth, you know Bram
Hell,
Flakes, and you
he's
didn't tell him
closer
about
to
the
a travel
show?
agent than
What the
I am.
hell? Don't you like your friends?
What do I do to what?
Or maybe you
Where?
like your friends. Never mind.
What you say?
If you like your friends, you don't tell them about
That's
this
a good
show.
point. Yeah,
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Oh wow.
No, Bram
It's like,
Flakes
what
is, hey, Ackroth, how did I not know about this until now?
Well, he just came back to the game like 2 weeks ago. What the hell?
Are
the
there
first thing I tell
strippers in
people. You watch the Open
Iceland?
Comm
Now
show?
that
You
I'm-
should watch the
I'm
Open
I
Comm
advertise
curious.
this on my Corp Discord and my Alliance Discord every week, and only like 3 suckers come in on it.
I mean, there's
I-
gotta be.
I put it on
That's on them, and that's a
CCP
terrible
Darwin.
judgment call.
Are there strip
TNT's
clubs
Discord,
in Iceland?
Imperium's
Oh, yeah.
Discord, and MPX's Discord.
I'm not gonna link it in any
It's,
PanFam thing. Drayden's
I
responsible
should
for that.
ping it. That's what I should do.
Pan fam?
No, I don't.
I was saying I'm not gonna ping like greater PanFam about
I
this. I'll
can't
leave that up to
ping-
you.
I can't ping.
Well, yeah, but you're in You're in NCDOT. You can do whatever you want.
I'm not in
There
NCDOT. I'm
no
in
Believe in
PL.
yourself.
strippers in
I'm in
Seattle,
PL.
That's what I mean.
Iceland? What?
You're in the other one. You can do whatever you
I'm
want.
in PL, but I don't have the roles
That's a
to
license to
ping.
do what
and,
you
and
want.
the one, if there's a
You don't have to
channel or
ping, just
two
put
that
it
I
in the
have
channel.
that I have the ability to at everyone, if I
Everyone
did that,
can
I would
ping in
get
social
fucking
pings.
buried. So I don't think I could do that.
Put
Ping
the
it-
duck
ping
in
it
social
here.
pings right now, Drayden. Put the duck in
Drayden, you're in
social
PL
pings
now,
right
and you don't have to listen
now.
to nobody.
No, you're in
That's
charge.
how that
We're
works.
I have to listen
illegal
to.
in
I have to listen
Iceland.
to the other
Drayden,
PL people.
will you
Just
do
listen
it
to
for me,
Headliner, you're
please?
fine.
Pop a headliner will get mad, and you don't want
Put
to
the
see
Tell
duck
him
him to
in
mad.
ping it.
social pings.
What are you talking about with ducks?
Drayden, you know what I'm talking about,
I'll
right? The
just
duck in
tell
social
November to
pings?
do it. He's got director roles. He can do it, and everyone
Quack.
loves November, so he'll never get in trouble. He can
There
literally
you
do
go.
whatever.
That's
He can do whatever he wants. He can
Quack,
put a
quack.
dick pic
That's
and
using
at
my
everyone
noodle.
with it, and
Quack,
people will
quack,
be like, "Oh well, that headliner," you know, or not headliner. I mean that
November.
That November doing Aussie
He's so
shit.
Aussie.
That's-
it's
sounds
like
like
that's
a-
an excuse. Like, oh,
sounds
you're
like an
Australian.
Eve-
Okay, you're fine.
An Eve themed sitcom.
That would be
Oh,
awesome.
that November. Like that's the title of an Eve sitcom.
Banana. What is that
That'd
from?
make
Oh,
for a
that's
fun
from Reading
show, though.
Rainbow. Yeah. Don't take my word for it. Try it.
The more you
Banana.
The more you know.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Where were we at on this?
G.I. Joe.
Oh yeah.
Kind of between the schedule and the beer thing.
Schedule the beer thing.
Yeah, well, I don't think we finished the
Guide
schedule.
the-
But yeah.
Guide
We're
the
not
raid.
come close
ratings
to
yet.
the
Bunny
next thing
X.
is
Amber.
So the 20 years of
I'll try and
beer,
remember.
right?
At the end of the stream, I'll try and
Where's
remember
at?
that.
Yeah.
If
So
he's
it's
still on.
Ex-Lady Brewery is making a beer for CCP. Sounds like it's an IPA based on their description. Why would you talk about the
In
hops
in the
first if
past,
it's an
they've
IPA?
done faction themed beers.
Yeah, I don't know. It's got Galactic hops and Nebula malt. I don't know. It sounds like it's. Gonna
Mm.
Don't
does
get that.
sound good.
Don't get that shit on your skin.
Mm,
Sounds
There's two things
astronomical.
LB likes. It's nebulas and
so
malts.
good.
Mm-mm.
Put them together. You make that man
Have
moan.
you guys talked about Project or Eve Redacted yet?
No, don't even
I
know.
don't
Eve
think so.
redacted.
It's been
Is-
redacted.
is
We
that-
can't talk about
is-
it. It's been
are
redacted.
Are we getting close to that on the schedule? Because I'm
I
actually
would
kind of
I
getting
would
kind of hyped
love
for it.
if it's actually called Eve redacted.
Yeah. All right.
That's
Well,
what it is.
all
I
right,
mean,
let's
that's what it's called right now.
let's hit on the Eve redacted. So
What
go
day
ahead.
is that?
Where's
Tell
the
us-
bullet point?
Tell us about the Eve redacted. Okay, actually, hold on.
You
I had that
hover
muted
over
that whole
Eve
time.
Redacted.
Okay, go ahead.
It says, join us for a deeper dive into all the exciting adventures and content coming your way in the Eve Redacted expansion coming in November. Expansion.
Boom.
The
Hmm.
next expansion.
There's
Redacted.
some panels on it later.
If it's not actually called Eve redacted, I'm gonna be
It's just
so
dust.
disappointed.
Look at it. It's right there.
It's
Eve
Dust
Redacted.
515, so
I-
it is going to be an expansion, but like in a unique way.
Wait,
Yeah.
that's just. That's not gonna
I'm
be in
saying
the
I want
keynote?
the expansion name to be literally redacted.
Wait,
Yeah.
wait.
Oh, that'd
if
be fun.
that's-
And then they actually
If
don't
that's what
add
that's
anything to
gonna
the
be,
game because
Deeper
they're like, well, where's
dive
the
in the
where's the
keynote.
expansion?
Wait, wait,
Like, yeah,
Worse than
where'd it
that,
go?
They don't add anything, but they make it out like a player event, like we're searching for something and like nobody's finding it. Like, oh well, that's not our fault. Like we put it out there and they just let us like looking for anomalous shit that's just not out there.
That doesn't exist.
So for
Oh,
months,
no.
like people are like, I haven't found any of the signs of redacted yet. They're like, it's a good one.
Looking for a bunch of UAPs.
So then after
Only the best of
after
explorers
the
will
Eve
stumble
Redacted
upon
thing, there's two
redacted
that
panels. There's
good,
three
yeah.
panels after it. Three panels. You can go and discuss it if you want with people.
Yeah.
One at 2, one, and then 2 of them at 3.
They could use it to
And if
buy
you
time
wanted-
for working on more expansions. Like what a
If you
really good
wanted, you
plan.
could go into one of those panels and hijack it and start talking about the unannounced shooter. And
Oh,
just
wow.
make it what you
Or
want.
No,
Just act a
let's- hold
fool
on,
in a
wait a
foreign
second.
country.
no, go
Wait a
into one of them and
second. Hold
hijack
up.
it and start talking
Our-
about the Eve kitchen
we
fitting
can't just
thing.
go through the schedule. We have to talk about the things on the schedule. Like who?
You want to talk about redacted, so we skipped ahead for
I-
you.
Hey, you
No,
jumped
but
ahead
I
to
was.
it.
Yeah, what?
But if that's
we
gonna
were
be
talking
that,
about them earlier.
what about the keynote?
haven't got there
What
yet.
about the
Yeah,
keynote?
the keynote's not
Well,
until
the
later.
keynote's before the redacted, so if
I
you're
know, but
going
you wanted to
ahead,
go to
then
the
you're
redacted.
never going to talk about the keynote.
Tamber's asking why Delana isn't here.
She's on her way to.
She's on a plane.
She's on a plane, but
Oh,
the
yeah.
plane has free Wi-Fi, so we could
Hold on.
technically
Oh, good
give her a
point.
call.
Shame her.
Can you give her a call?
I think I've got her number.
She can turn her devices back on
Let
by
me
now.
let me pull it up. Let me see if I can get Delana on the. Let me see if I can get Delana on the horn. Here we
We
go.
missed the praise, Dave. Why are you doing that?
Let's
Oh,
let's
did I
let
miss
her.
did I miss a praise Dave? Okay, hold on.
Let's get her to help us annoy
While
the
we're
other
calling
passengers.
Delana, we will praise Dave. Okay, we're
Can you
calling
send me
Delana.
that soundbite, the Dave clip?
Yeah, I'll send it to you.
Oh, thank you so much.
Okay, so
Gotta spread
Delana is on a plane, so she might not pick up, but we'll see.
Yeah, I doubt she picks up.
You can turn your devices back on.
She needs that Delta
She's
of
in the
GoGo app. Oh,
Hello? Delana?
Hello? Hello? Who is this?
Delana, it's Manic from Open Comms.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm on a plane right now. I'm heading to FanFest.
Yeah, we wanted to call. Hold on, can you hold on just 1 second?
Sure.
All right, we got another praise Dave. Dave. There we go.
Yeah, that's really great.
Okay, Delana, can you? So where are you right now?
So we're flying right over the Pacific. It's we're about 6 hours into the flight.
Did you say you were over the
I
Pacific?
was like, you're going the
Yeah.
wrong way.
I think.
I think you're going the wrong way.
Hold on, who's talking?
I am.
Okay, sorry.
Delana, you're going the wrong way. Can you?
Hold on a minute.
Just get her to knock on
Miss? Oh, excuse me, miss? Miss? Yeah, can I get some peanuts? Peanuts? Okay, thank you.
Delana?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're going the wrong way. You should not. You should be over the Atlantic, not the Pacific.
Hold on a minute. Miss? Peanuts, please. Peanuts! Where's my...
Delana,
Yeah? You have to tell...
you have
Fuck.
you have to tell the pilot to turn around. You're over the wrong ocean. You're going. It's going to take you much longer to get there.
Okay. Well, okay. So I guess I'll see you guys in several hours.
Then.
Several hours then.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, peanuts, please.
Bob Foxtrot leveling 1.
Okay, Delana, I'm going to let you go.
Bob Foxtrot
What?
leveling 1, 6000.
What?
Gotta
Delana,
get out of the
Manic.
cockpit.
Who's talking? I don't know. I don't know anymore.
We have to hang out. We have to cut the call. The plane, we're turning around now. Okay, I gotta go. Bye.
She hit the call button. She's like, are we going the right way? The pilot's like, oh shit. You know?
Oh fuck! I'm glad somebody told me.
When-
I've
When I
done that
tell
before.
you
Literally, I've done that because
how
when I work, I
long-
drive a lot. And there's been times where it's like I need to go to Missoula, so I need to head east. And I but 90% of the time I go into Washington, and I'm just like on the freeway, and I get past Spokane, and then I'm just like, oh fuck, I've gone an hour the wrong direction. I have to like turn
Whoa.
back around. It's just like,
Yikes.
It's rough.
yeah, it's rough.
Most
It's like,
people
well,
don't.
my
Good thing you
8 hour,
get good mileage.
yeah, it's like my 8-hour day just turned into like a 10-hour day. Fuck.
Oh, Tamber's got to get to the airport.
And he's not even a
Oh,
stoner,
Oh
folks.
my god.
Yep, see you, Now, Tamber, you make sure
Tamber's
that
got-
you are going
fun,
over
buddy.
the Pacific,
Yeah.
please.
Make sure you tell the
then the
pilot to go the
Atlantic.
right way.
That was funny. Like, we're over the Pacific. I'm like, wait a second.
Wait a
Where
minute.
are you going?
Timber, they don't mind if you tap on their door to, just check up on them, make sure they're
Yeah,
going the
you
right
can
way.
just walk right up to the
You gotta
pilot's
knock
door.
loud, otherwise they won't.
There's usually a restroom at the front, restroom at the back. Just go to the front one, tap on the door.
Do not do that.
Yeah,
Check it
I
out
was like,
there.
until
Knock
you get
real
on one of the
loud.
flights that has a
Real loud.
marshal, and then you get fucking tackled.
Oh,
He
you
said,
fine.
"Open the little slot. I had a friend who they were going the wrong way. I just want to check up." Of
How do you know they're a slut?
course, there's a slot.
What?
They gotta be able to
Tamber's
point the
got a
pistol out of
really-
it.
Tamber, you're coming from Australia, right? So Tamber's got a
New Zealand.
crazy trip ahead of him.
Well, I mean,
Well,
no, I mean, is it straight? Is there a flight straight from Auckland, or are you gonna have to like route out of Sydney? Maybe, I don't know.
Catch that Humboldt breeze and just fly on by.
Or I was like, I imagine there. it's not just Auckland. Does like Christchurch have flights out of like going to the
Ooh,
U.S.?
look at Drayden knows 3 different places. in
I only know
Australia.
2 cities in New Zealand: Christchurch and Auckland. That's it. I don't know any others. But...
Somebody paid attention in school.
Okay, he's going from Auckland to like those are the only 2 I know. I mean, they're the only 2. They're the 2
You
biggest
mentioned
ones.
Sydney. You're
Well,
3
that's
for 3.
Australia though. That's not New Zealand.
Oh right, he is in New Zealand.
Yes.
That's a good point.
Australia, I know what Sydney, Melbourne, Perth, Darwin.
There's something with the Queen, Queensland.
There's well, that's one of the territories.
Ah, fuck.
There's New South Wales.
Sydney.
There's I said Sydney,
I don't
Melbourne,
Perth.
Perth, Darwin.
we got those.
Darwin's pretty small, but it's like it's like a.
Darwin's not that small. He's a
It's
normal
like
sized
30
dude.
or
I think it's-
40,000
yeah, I think it's
people.
a-
Talk about him
Statue.
like
Pretty
that.
normal sized
Jesus.
dude.
He's probably taller than me.
Yeah. There's another one. It's like oh, there's Sydney and Melbourne, and there's another one over there that's fairly populous. I can't think of it now. God damn it! Now I have to go to Google Maps because I'm curious.
Something with hillside, hill church, hill
No,
something.
not Adelaide.
I think that is a town.
I think it is. I mean, I would trust his judgment. He's pretty close.
I'm not saying it's not a town. I'm just saying that like,
You know, in Brisbane.
Brisbane.
We-
Yeah, Brisbane.
should've gotten
That's the other one I was thinking of. That's like
Never heard of
over.
Cairn.
I haven't heard of Cairn, but yeah, Brisbane is like somewhere. It's like between Melbourne and Sydney, I think.
It's on the Gold Coast.
Let's see. There's Sydney.
Oh, they have one of those
okay.
too?
Oh no, it's no, okay. It's not between. It's the other way. It's north of Sydney a ways, but Brisbane's pretty big. Yeah, and then Darwin is like way up in the north somewhere. Yeah, up there. Darwin's not a very big town.
Darwin
Perth
is
is way
apparently a
bigger.
sizable dude, though.
Perth is way
Still
bigger
have
than
us
I
there.
always thought. Perth was like 50 to 100,000 people. It's like 2.5 million people. I did not.
Really?
I never realized that Perth was a giant city.
Yeah, I didn't
it's
expect
quite large. Yeah, and it's funny because like the western half of Australia, I think like 3/4 of the entire population of that half of the country is in Perth.
Yeah, sure.
It's like
That's where all the
no,
stuff tries
I mean
to
that's
kill
because
you,
it's all
right?
the
You're out in the
outback. It's
desert
mostly
and
the outback, and then most of the coastal towns are fairly small. So it's like not many people live on that side of the country. But
I feel like Tame Impala is out of Perth. I'm probably wrong.
Convict's out of Perth.
Well, there you go.
Well, he did live there.
It's at least one.
Aussie Man. If you ever watch the Aussie Man Reviews YouTube channel, he's out of Perth. Aussie Man is funny as fuck.
I think one night, maybe after a show, I was like drunkenly like fell asleep for a little while. And I came back and like my YouTube just kept playing. It was on some dude who like does streaming of him like camping and adventuring in Africa. He'd ride around on his jet ski and he had a friggin' like a sheepdog or a border collie or something that would ride his jet ski with him. It was awesome. It was just like nature stream. It was not quite like Steve Irwin grade, but he was like out there just like fishing and doing nature camping.
Yeah, like there's some other Australian YouTube guy that I can't remember his name or his channel, but he's like does the most insane stuff, and it's like the stereotypical that animal's lucky it encountered an Aussie and survived type of thing. Like this is the epitome of like that stereotype. This guy like. He's like out on this like reef thing, and all of a sudden you see like this big, like a great hammerhead. It's like probably like a big one, like 16 to 18 foot long, and it's like swimming, and all of a sudden it like does a hard 90-degree turn and starts swimming fast. And he's like, "Whoa, look at this! It's coming at me!" And he starts going at it. He's like, "Whoa!" And he like turns at the last second, and he starts running after it and chases it. And I'm like, "The fuck are you doing chasing a giant fucking shark that almost?"
It's like a
bit
bear,
you?"
dude.
Like,
You gotta call its bluff.
yeah, it's like holy crap, that guy. It's funny, and he's like out like just kayaking in the ocean in a clear plexiglass kayak, like with sharks going under him and stuff. And
Those seem horrifying.
yeah, dude,
Shots
nuts.
for Steve Irwin.
Shots for Steve Irwin.
Absolutely.
I don't think he's alive anymore.
Well, that doesn't mean we can't drink to him.
You're right.
That's why we're drinking to him,
Yeah,
How do you know?
because I redeemed the shot.
Very good. I like it.
no, it was New Eden Post. Get out of here.
Hey, don't kid
Get
yourself.
outta here.
I
It's
drink
like
to
you
him either
don't
way.
know.
It's true.
You don't know.
He's one of the last living saints, or whatever last remaining saints.
Yeah.
Tainted.
Yeah, I think we made a special channel for that, Space Gator. But yeah, definitely post pics while you guys are out and about.
Did we make a channel for it?
I think Manic
Is that-
did one.
It was
Okay.
FanFest
I'm
FWB.
assuming
Is that
Manic
friends
made it
with
since he made it
benefits?
and then immediately
FanFest Friends with Benefits.
Yeah,
I like it, okay.
he immediately posted first. like the second one. So
We are friends who have the benefit of being at FanFest together.
There you go.
Hmm.
Like it.
I'll drink to that.
is that Alpha? The front of this picture? I think it is.
Before we go, I need to look up their
In the
drug
bright
laws.
orange jumpsuit next to Delana, is that Alpha?
I believe so. Yeah.
Okay. Actually, like, it's funny because we talked to he used to be CCP Vesna Parishla, but then he changed his name to Alpha. I guess because he got people kind of like joked around at him for the name, because I forget what Vesna Parishla means in Russian, but it's like great flower or something like that, and people were like kind of like sniggering at him a little bit, so he eventually changed it to Alpha. But
So, real quick, I just have to share the results of my Google search. Iceland drug laws. It's just all I typed in.
and
And then,
find those
the
out.
first thing that pops up is like usually like a little summary of an article or something. If it's whatever, I don't know how Google decides to do that, but it says cannabis is illegal in Iceland, and you can be arrested and fined for carrying small amounts meant for personal use. Despite
Yes.
that, according to the UN World Drug Report, more Icelanders smoke weed than the vast majority of other countries. Just to be clear, smoking in a public place will get you in trouble.
So,
So
yeah,
keep it
I
private.
was looking this up as well because I was curious if I could bring my vape. But
I would be
there's
worried to bring the vape on a plane because that
there's
they
a
would
head
catch that.
shop. There's a head shop in Iceland.
What?
But they
I
probably don't
was
sell
I was
THC
googling
though.
around. I was on like Google Street
like
View.
You know how
medical
they can get away with that? That's something they used to do
Delta 9?
before they legalized weed in Washington. There was head shops there, but what they got away with it is they called them. They were tobacco pipes, even though no one's smoking tobacco out of a glass.
Oh well,
pipe.
headshots.
Right, right.
Or and,
no,
and
gotta
any of,
but
like
get
the
this
the
is
bong,
like
they could sell bongs and stuff too because they were water tobacco pipes. They had to
Sure.
specifically call them that. They could not call them a bong, or then they get in trouble. And
Your
so
grinder
there's
had a
like there's
pollen
loopholes you can get
box.
around with that by selling paraphernalia and it not actually being illegal.
in Utah we call them paperweights or glass
there you go.
sculptures.
Oh, in Texas we call those
Crack
brass
pipes.
knuckles.
Because I remember like that was back when I smoked weed when it was illegal everywhere. But I would go into like and you would hear stories like the people in there. They would say like you get like the people, what do they call it? Like where the cops send people in to try and buy stuff underage to try and bait stores to like
Oh yeah.
Undercover.
Narcs.
yeah they would
Fucking
they'd send like the kids in there to try and get people to sell them cigarettes or booze without carding them and
Okay.
stuff like that. And then they would go into these head shops and try to be like, can I see that bong? And then be like, we don't sell bongs here.
I just
Yeah,
like that
we
I
have a
searched
tobacco
Iceland
water
drug
pipe
laws.
because if they called
and
it
it's
a
all
bong,
cannabis.
they could get in trouble.
So I just posted a link in chat. It's literally called Reykjavik Head Shop. And
Yeah,
it
straight to the
looks
point.
like they straight up sell flour and
Oh
edibles and
wow,
whatnot.
so it's a dispensary possibly?
It's a dispensary.
It's probably like Delta 9 or something like that.
Oh, I don't read
where
this
it's not
shit.
really
No, it's got
weed.
pictures of flour, dude.
Yeah, Delta 9 comes in
It's
flour.
straight
dude.
up
It looks-
flour.
Looks like weed.
So I'm
Oh, I
I'm
don't know.
super confused by this.
I don't know, dude. This looks like
Maybe
some
it's
gadget
on.
if I ever saw
Maybe it's
something.
on the some kind of like. Wait, does the U.S. doesn't have a military base in Iceland, does it?
Surely.
Maybe we have an embassy and they have a head shop in the embassy. I don't think they could do that actually.
Nah, dude, we're still losing
it's
that
still
war. What are you talking
federally
about?
illegal technically. So
Yeah. I don't know. This kind of looks like it might be semi-dispensary. Just
I
to say,
think,
I don't know
yeah.
enough about the other deltas. I just, smoke what the Lord made, but whatever. I don't do any of the GMOs.
Stop.
I mean, there it is it's right on Google Maps. So I don't know.
Oh, we'll swing by. We'll find out what's what.
Yeah, it's like right around the corner from my hotel.
hard rock
So-
bastard
neat.
bar.
Where do you find the location? I'm on their website. Let me look.
I linked to
just
Google
Google
Maps in the
them.
chat. Yeah.
Oh shit, yeah, dude. There's a fucking bar that uses like the AE symbol. I like that.
There apparently there's a bar called Runtgen.
Oh,
You know where the
it's-
runts go? I like runts. They're like
Interesting.
Yeah,
Right, the
Rontgen.
candy.
It's not spelled the same way as like the actual like radiation Rontgen, but
Runtgen.
it's got because I think that's the RO with the umlaut, but it's got an E in there.
Mhm,
Accurate.
yeah.
I linked a thing for you.
There's
That's
actually an
what-
element
that's
named
what
after that guy. There's Rontgenium.
Runtgenium.
Yeah. It's funny. So there's that periodic elements channel. And
Yeah,
they've
yeah.
made. I loved it. I watched the whole series, but they literally have a video on every single element on the periodic table. Some of them are really short and don't really say much because there's not a whole lot about, like, especially when you start getting towards the end, where it's just like they made this element in a lab. It's like it has obviously no stable isotopes, and it lasts like 20 milliseconds and then degrades. So it's like there's no realistic chemistry you could do with it, but it exists. And then generally what they do is like, but it was named after this person, and then they go into like, let's tell you about this guy, and so they start stuff like that. But it was really cool. There's like I forget a lot of the stuff I learned on those things, but there's a lot of cool elements. Some cool, neat stuff I learned. Like some of them, it was like medical, so like technecium. What they actually there's like that's a thing in the game with one of the moon materials. That's an actual element. One of the things they do with it, it's radioactive. But the things it has a very short half-life, which can be useful. So what they'll do is when people have tumors and stuff, sometimes they can get rid of like the big tumors, but sometimes you have like smaller tumors that aren't really like, they can't really image and find them very well. So what they'll do is they'll find they'll have compounds that will bond with certain tumors, types of tissue, and then they can attach technecium to that molecule. So then they put it through your body, and all of that stuff with the technetium on it will tend to coalesce onto the tumors, and then the technetium will be putting off some gamma rays, and then when they image it, they can see the concentration of the gamma rays and be like, oh, there's some small bits of tumors right there that we wouldn't have been able to see with normal imaging, and then they can go and get them. So it's like, that's fucking neat. I never do that.
Yeah, for sure.
Anyway, little tangent, sorry.
Nah, that was cool. I wish you would have worn a coat, but it's not big.
Yeah, I don't have a coat
Did
here.
we
It
just
wasn't-
miss
yeah.
Drayden Science
I didn't
Hour?
listen to a word.
I
you
was
said.
thinking
dry-
I was
it's
using
the dry
my
cleaners.
coat. I did go to the LIGO thing. I was going to talk about that a little bit later, but I'll probably put my coat on for that because it was pretty cool. Yeah, so I mean, I'm jealous. I wish I could have gone, but it's like
Yeah,
2000
Darwin, the
What do
point
you
is always to
do?
not get caught, man. Come on.
It's illegal here, but I do it anyway.
But I
Only
appreciate
break one-
that.
Break one law at a time.
Yeah, I'm a little hesitant to do it in like foreign places because
Yeah,
you really don't,
I'm just
you really
curious.
don't want to
Like,
get in legal trouble in a foreign country.
we have
Ackroth,
a
I
nice
can tell
we have
you-
a Reykjavik local here telling us
Here's
that
the
it's
thing. Let me
illegal,
tell you
so
something
I'm not
about being
gonna do it.
American.
Yeah.
When I was there in
We're different.
2014, it was
It'll be
illegal,
fine.
but doesn't mean you can't find it. I found it when I was
Yeah,
there.
you can find
I
it.
believe
you,
you, Dom.
You can get it anywhere.
And I've spent many years in the service industry. I know how to find things if they exist. Like,
Yeah.
we'll
Yeah,
find
but
them
it's-
if they
You
exist.
just ask,
this
you
is
just ask
like-
random people on
I
the
won't
street,
do
somebody will
them.
give it to you.
Yeah, I
This
would
is an
never.
Because why would I do
unnecessary
them?
risk.
I'm on
Yeah,
video right
I would
It's
never
an
bring it or
unnecessary
try and bring
risk.
it back. It's like you could probably find it and do it there if you want to, but yeah.
But why would somebody do that? That's a
It's an unnecessary risk. I'm just
Yeah.
curious.
most
just
of the
curious.
risks that you take are unnecessary risks. And
I mean,
a
things
lot of
like
them are the
weed.
Yeah, I
money.
guess that's what makes them risks, right? Is
Yeah.
the fact that they're unnecessary.
Well,
Yeah.
maybe.
Sometimes you got to take a necessary risk, like jumping out of a plane, like going skydiving is an unnecessary risk.
Oh, it's so fun though.
I,
do it.
I don't think there's any reason to jump out of a perfectly good plane.
Dude,
There
it
is,
is
though.
so much fun.
It
I'm
is
sure it's
so
fun,
much
and
fun.
Uh,
Yeah, but
a
is that a
very
good
unique
reason to jump out
I'm
of a
all
perfectly
down
good plane?
watching other people
Yes.
to have
skydive
fun.
because it's
I think
cool.
having fun is
It's
a
a
good
rush.
reason to do anything.
Yeah.
As long as
Also,
you're
because
like,
you spent a couple $100 to do it, so yeah, that's a
Yeah,
part of
yeah.
the reason. You're like, well, I got to make good on that now.
I would.
I'm
I
not gonna
would
give
like
it back.
to fly the plane.
That's cool too. I
Flying-
want to get
flying
my
a plane
pilot's
would-
license.
yeah, that
I'm
would be
all
cool.
down for people doing stuff and having fun.
Good.
Well,
Am
that's
I
the
allowed
thing.
to
I
do
mean,
stuff and have fun?
like I
guess
like watching people that
I'm
skydive
glad.
and
Hey,
they film it.
Dom,
It's like sweet,
Drayden
but I wouldn't.
supports
I
you
would
having
never do
fun.
it.
And
It's kind
doing
of like
stuff.
it's like
And
shark
doing
stuff.
stuff.
I love watching shark videos. You couldn't get me in the water with a shark, cage or no cage.
If I knocked you out, I
could-
bet I could.
Cage or no
You could
cage,
get me
I'm
in the
not
water with a
going
shark.
into
I
the
would love
shark.
to swim with
I
sharks.
would not. You could put a gun up to my head. I'd be like, go ahead and pull the trigger. I ain't getting in that water. Like, fuck
I would
you.
punch a tiger shark in the face.
Hard.
No,
Yeah, for real. That's how you get rid of them.
I
And
would
that's-
go.
yeah.
And,
Or
and
the
they're
gills.
They're
like, oh,
super
if you're in the
sensitive
water
on
with
the
their
nose or the
nose,
gills.
So
They're like, if you're in the water with the shark, just don't panic. I'm like, yep, that's not happening. I'm absolutely full panicking. If a
Yeah,
shark
what are
is,
you talking
like,
about? How am I
I-
not gonna
and
panic?
my full panic is gonna probably attract the thing to me, which will make me panic harder. And
Dogs and bees.
yeah,
Sharks are like wasps. Who the fuck a wasp in the
Fucking
ocean?
hate wasps.
I know they're
Space-
Exactly.
bullshit, right? They're bullshit.
Manic Space Gator
So they're
says
gonna
there's no
swarm me?
strip clubs in Iceland.
Yeah, Darwin
Oh, what
said
the hell?
those are illegal too.
Oh,
Really?
illegal? Sad.
Now,
Man.
can you just pay a foreigner or not a foreigner? Or
God,
can you pay a
so
local
you
to
can't, You
strip?
can't smoke weed. You can't see
Wow.
titties. You're not allowed to own a weapon.
What
Like,
can you
can
even
you
do? Like, just go look at
Manic
Iceland
volcanoes.
sounds
Manic-
like the
What would you
most
say you
boring
do
country.
here?
Just for you, Manic, I will send you a picture of my titties while you're over there.
You can
Thank you,
enjoy
Dom.
FanFest
Thank you.
Yeah, what if we
2020.
like just
The 20-year anniversary celebration, the keynote for the
I'm gonna enjoy
20-year
all those things,
anniversary celebration. What could they
but maybe with some
possibly
debauchery
present?
too.
Titties.
If
What the plans
the
are?
redacted-
Titties.
If
titties?
Redacted is the new expansion,
Eve
What if
titties.
that's a
I-
deep
what
dive
could the
I
keynote be
dare.
about?
I dare CCP Hilmar to get up on stage for the Eve keynote and show full frontal pornography on
Come
the
on,
projector
man.
screen.
Come on,
I'm
dude.
calling him out. He doesn't
Well,
have the
He's part of the
balls
wealthy
to do
elite.
it.
He'll be
There-
fine.
It's the next crossover. We
Yeah, he
had
can
the
do what he
Doctor
wants.
Who. Now we got the Eve only fans.
Eve X Pornhub.
like Plex for tits. You know,
Flex
like
for titties.
Oh my god, that'd be brilliant.
After
Bro.
Oh
Plex
my
for
god.
kids, then
I'm
they come out with
I'm
Plex
so
for
glad
tits.
CCP doesn't listen to me.
yeah, they
Wow.
They probably
I'm
wouldn't do
full
it.
of bad ideas.
No offense to you, but I agree. I think that's a good thing too.
That they don't
You're a
listen to me.
goofball.
Yeah. Yeah.
That they-
Yes.
Why do you think it's
Yes.
a good idea for them to get naked?
No.
No,
I
it's a good
don't. I
idea
think
that
that's
they
a
don't
bad
listen
idea.
to me.
Yeah.
But last year at the keynote, they wanted to hype everything up and they didn't deliver. So I think this
Well, they
year
have
for
new
the
ships
20th
this time. That's always a
anniversary, they
plus.
have to.
There's
Wait,
there-
do
there's
they
new
have new
ships.
Wait,
ships?
red line.
What?
Yeah,
Are
they're
you
gonna
saying
have
they
new destroyers.
didn't deliver? Because
No,
the last
yes,
year of this
I
game
am.
has been quite the
Yes.
turning of the
No,
page.
I'm saying
and I think a
that
lot of
at
people would agree.
FanFest-
I think they have
at
delivered on like many of those
FanFest
things.
last year, they didn't deliver. They gave
That
us
sounds
nothing
very-
at FanFest.
That sounds
But
like a
then-
personal opinion.
But
Well,
then,
I'm saying
yes,
they have
since
new
FanFest,
ships.
things
That's
have
always a
been
plus.
great.
They got the new destroyers they're going to release, and then they got the whatever's happening with the new Stargates. They're going to probably talk about that. So
Yeah.
Potentially new space and
But
new
that's the
ships. That's pretty
expansion.
well, right. But
That's the
that's going to
expansion,
be
though.
that's going to
So
be the
that wouldn't
reveals.
I guess.
I mean,
so.
generally the keynotes they talk
feel
about
like your
what's coming
bar is
up.
real
It's
high.
like keynote for FanFest, and then
No.
like here's the upcoming new stuff for Eve, and they'll give some like just generalization like new ships, new space, and then they'll have a presentation where they go into the depths of that
So-
later. So
So,
So,
here's the thing.
real quick, red line.
and
I know for the
see, I
like
see in chat that unicronic says that it was overhyped last year. That's the thing. But this year it's not overhyped. It's
this year there's like I think they're not
I am
overhyping it.
so fucking excited to see what they reveal at FanFest for
I'm
no
too.
reason.
Well,
Give me no reason.
it's not no reason. I
There's
think
been
I
no
don't think it's no reason.
hype,
Hold
but I'm
on,
so
wait.
stoked.
can I
absolutely.
explain what I
Yes,
mean?
Sorry.
I
Sorry,
think
I'm just excited.
I know. It's okay. I think there is some built-in hype because it's the 20-year anniversary.
20.
It is, that's right.
I think there is naturally some just built-in hype. People are just expecting big things, even though nothing's really been announced, I guess.
No, there hasn't been anything announced. It's
Just
redacted.
the fact that it's 20, the fact that this game has been around for 20 years, it's a big deal, and it's such a unique and a niche product. The fact that it's survived for this long is a big deal. So there's got to be some built-in hype for that alone, right?
Sure.
Yes.
And there will be.
So
I'm not going
I
to
don't know.
expand on that, but I agree with you. Yes.
maybe
A lot of us
maybe-
are getting
maybe they've
tattoos
learned
while we're
their
there. We're just
lesson
getting
to
20
just
tattooed
not
'cause
say
that's how we're excited.
anything. Maybe they've learned their lesson. They're not going to say anything, and they'll dump all of this awesome shit in the keynote. And I say shit with the greatest of
Whoa.
respect, and just say, "Here, motherfuckers, here's everything we were never talking about," and everybody's gonna lose their fucking minds because it's gonna be the best thing ever. Am I optimistic?
Mind blown.
I'm telling you, based on the
Mind blown.
schedule alone,
LB's
it looks
crippled,
like
Brad.
they're,
Yeah,
they're pulling out all the
LB's,
stops.
LB's losing his fucking mind. He's
LB's
short
selling it,
circuiting.
dude.
Oh my god, LB.
I wasn't hyped, but now I am.
I was
Right?
excited as soon as I saw the schedule. I think there's a lot of shit going on. It's gonna be great.
Yeah,
I'm
Listen,
gonna
I think
say-
he either had a stroke or an orgasm.
I just
I'm gonna sit in the front row for the
Bottles
keynote,
of booze?
and every time there's a lull in the cheering, I'm gonna just fucking yeah.
But Akaroth, did I alleviate your concerns there? I felt like you were gonna levy some concerns against what I was saying, like I
Oh,
was being unnecessarily.
What's up? Oh shit! Hi,
I think it was a little bit unnecessary.
I still have
but
skin to
here's
give
where
you.
I'll
God
say
damn it.
that.
It's
that-
in 1DQ.
Next
Sorry.
weekend. Hi, Corey.
So
I don't think you're wrong in that you said they didn't deliver something in the sense of like here's the ready thing to show you, because that was
Oh.
one of the things is they'd already built up the whole the rough path of wait for FanFest, and then they announced
Yeah.
like basically kind of roadmap stuff. But then in the last year they've iterated on like most of that, and it's been really good and like
Yeah, but
well
that was
done.
mostly
So it was
that
like
was mostly just a
so they didn't actually like
pretext,
blow
though.
smoke or anything. They announced stuff instead of being like, and this is what we've been working on. It's ready, So I'll give you credit there that like they didn't hand us like, here's the substance, but they like told us what they were working on, and they did do pretty good at. Like I said, I think the last year most people would agree has been pretty solid as far as game changes, game balance, et cetera, et cetera.
No,
So
I hated it.
Oh
well,
shit!
LB,
And
I
I
want to
disagree.
let
I
you
lay it
know-
on us.
pointing
Darwin, I
out.
like
Hold
it.
up, this is really important.
Yeah,
LB,
we need to hear about this.
LB, you and I are in the same position right now, and
Are we?
we are moving in our chairs at the exact same time, and it's creeping me
Oh
the
my
fuck
God.
out.
Oh my god, keep doing it.
I can't.
Gun show.
So
Rub your
It's
nipples,
weird.
dude.
Darwin is pointing out that all of the roadmap stuff that they showed at FanFest last year is out now. So
That's what I'm
yeah.
saying.
It's been a
so
good year.
okay,
It
so
started
that,
off
and
It's
that's
been
a
a
good
good
thing.
year.
So
It's been a great
Credit
year.
what
where
I
fucking
think-
credits due.
where I think the disappointment from last year's FanFest came from is because we got the line "Wait for FanFest, wait
Yeah.
for
Right.
FanFest, it's coming at
And-
FanFest, guys. Oh my god, wait for FanFest."
And-
FanFest
Give
comes,
that credit.
FanFest comes, and it's wait a little bit longer for this other
Well,
stuff that's coming later. So
to
I
be
think
clear,
that's
it
was-
that's where the
It
disappointment
wasn't a
came.
delivery.
It
It
has
was
been-
a.
It
It
you know,
wasn't
tell you what's
delivered.
gonna
It
come.
Hold
was
on one
wait
second,
for
wait a second.
FanFest and then wait some more.
And then it was an
had
announcement,
been-
essentially.
It had been 2 years without major content, I believe, and
Right.
then wait for FanFest. So
I mean,
2
we could sit
years
here and
plus
rehash last year
wait
if we
for
want to.
FanFest.
We could talk about last
No,
year's
I see,
FanFest all
and
in
that's what
one.
I was trying to say. I don't.
They did
I
a
didn't
really-
wanna
that-
do. I didn't want to do
But that's
that.
why I
was
brought it
just
back,
saying
too.
about last year's FanFest as like a preface for how this year's FanFest is not overhyped, but I'm super excited anyways.
Sure.
That
I
was
was
my
just
point.
making sure
you
to
are
clarify.
allowed to
My
be
point.
excited about things.
I think you're
we-
not wrong
we
about
veered.
last year, but I think that they did a really good job at like not just being like, let's give some cool talking points and like just it'll blow over, kind of thing or whatever, like stuff we won't iterate on, or here's some ideas we've been having, because that's kind of what it came across as in the moment. They were like, here's what we're thinking about doing, here's what we're working on, blah 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 blah, and it's like, who knows if that's ever going to make it to the game. Most of that has made it to the game. They did a really good job with following up on it and actually iterating on it, which is not necessarily always par for the course, but this particular time they did do pretty well with that. But I do agree with you on the aspect of like, it was kind of weird timing / poor taste to be like you said, wait for the FanFest, which sadly was perpetuated by us and that one poor dev that jumped off,
If you're
out of
looking
his
at
vacation.
chat right now, though,
I'm
what
so
Darwin
sorry,
just said
Darwin.
is that makes me feel better about everything. They heard
Wow.
us and they reacted. That's what we.
And
that's
just
all-
so
Oh
anybody
my
in the
that's all
God.
chat
people
knows,
want.
Darwin
That's what we hope.
That's what
Darwin is
people
the
want.
guy
honestly.
that runs
Like-
this game, so like
Yeah, true.
he hears you
CCP
loud and
Darwin
clear.
runs the show.
No, yeah, he's
Yeah.
second in
they've
command,
done
right?
well.
Yeah, we're
Yeah,
actually
So-
just
right after Hilmar.
So
He's the
since we're
exo.
Last
revealing
year-
the secrets, though, are we gonna reveal that Hilmar is just 3 men in a trench coat?
Yeah, he's 3 raccoons in a trench coat and a wool
They're like
sweater.
That's right.
Like
That's right.
kids, like short people.
But
Uh-huh.
at least
Oh,
one of them
raccoons.
is a crypto bro raccoon, and that's kind of weird, right?
Right,
Like, can we,
yeah, no,
can
I
we
think-
shame
Bro,
that
raccoon.
out
I
loud?
think
Well,
I think
raccoons
that, I
are
think
all
that
about
Hilmar-
trash, so crypto
I
makes
think
sense.
that
Shiny trash.
Hilmar is-
Hey.
Shiny trash. That's
It's
right.
like the trifecta. It's like crypto, Web3, and what's the other one?
Good joke.
NFTs, baby.
NFT.
Bad
Yeah,
ideas.
that's the names of the raccoons.
I
in
hope
there.
the keynote.
You're
I hope
right.
he opens the keynote with
They
new
will have
NFTs coming out. That's my hope. I want more NFTs and give me a fucking cryptocurrency.
So
you
Darwin
get all the
is
Trump
being
ones?
Not even
modest
Todd
in the
Howard
chat,
does
saying
collectibles.
he's just a
Well, we
programmer
can
in the
do that.
back room. I need everyone to know this is just modesty from Darwin. He is in charge.
He is. We know.
He's
Well, yeah, he said
he's
they
very
heard us loud
humble.
and clear last year, so
He's
this
very
year they're
humble.
being modest. Of course, he would undersell it.
Wait, if we're trying to go for partner, we can't be making fun of Hilmar.
We're
You
not.
can,
We're,
Yeah, we
not,
can.
we're not
Nobody
talking,
was making.
Yeah, we
You can do
can.
whatever you want.
You
Drake,
fucking
blowing the
kidding me?
lid off of the raccoon trench coat conspiracy is
Is
not making
breaking
fun of
all the
Hilmar.
It's breaking
NDs.
Let's
news,
call it a
right?
spade for a
The
spade.
raccoon trench coat conspiracy.
breaking news. You
I
heard it
love
here first.
this.
I actually that
I hope
holy
you
fuck,
clip
that's
that
a
and send
great
it to
name
him
for
so
a
he can
corporation,
giggle.
or that should be
Raccoon
not a
trench coat
corporation.
conspiracy.
Not a corporation. An alliance and Eve should
The
be
RTC.
Raccoon Trench Coat Conspiracy. I would love
It's
to
my
see
new
that
band.
on
I'm
the
gonna
so-
get.
I
I'm
want
gonna
that on the
see if
soft map.
Midjourney can make a logo.
We're gonna have
for
to
it.
make a music video while
I
we're
want
there.
that on
We
the
get
soft
Rick
map. Raccoon
Jarrett to
Trench
make
Coat
one.
Conspiracy. That's
I like it.
RTC.
Yeah, we'll get Rix to make a
Fuck yeah.
logo.
That's my next alt alliance.
A raccoon
I'll-
trench
I'll
coat
join it.
conspiracy. That is such
Yeah.
a cool
You
name.
have
Such
The
a
any
cool
raccoon on
name.
top. The
Do you
raccoon on
have
top has to
any
be wearing a
idea how
fedora.
hard it hurts
Yes.
you
Of course.
to
Yeah,
think that you
totally.
would
Like
get
with like a
Rick
car,
to
like
make
where the world's
graphics
Carmen
while I'm
Sandiego,
here?
like yellow trench coat kind of thing, like
Yeah.
brown trench
With-
coat.
Two trench coat, two raccoon noses poking through the trench coat.
Hell yeah. With
You
raccoon
see these
feet.
tiny little hands come out and like tighten up the little bent, the little belt strap.
Yeah, with like raccoon feet coming out of the bottom.
I just hit Midjourney with the
Or no,
a
not
guy
raccoon-
that
a
is
raccoon
3
tail out of the
raccoons in a
bottom.
trench coat.
Yeah, I'm trying to see what Midjourney spits out.
3 raccoon
Oh, good
tails.
stuff.
3 raccoon tails
listen,
come out of the back.
Listen,
like,
if you need,
No,
if
no,
you
all
need
3. The other one's in the
graphics,
back
Just
of
the
the
bottom
if
jacket.
you
one,
need graphics, I'm your guy. I can do graphics too. You know.
Redline is
I heard
really
you
good at
couldn't.
graphic design. I think Redline is better than me at graphic design.
Wow.
Somebody says
Yeah.
somebody told me that Redline tells people who do graphics, but then never does them.
Whoa.
no,
Who
that's not
did
true.
not
He
do
made,
graphics for?
Redline
No,
made
that's
me
just
some
what I heard.
stuff. He made me some
That's-
Where'd you hear
graphics
it
for
from?
the show.
I don't remember.
Man,
It's quite the
Like,
damning
he made
allegation.
the After Dark little the neon sign After Dark
Oh.
logo we used to use.
He was supposed to make something for me, and I don't remember what it was now, though. So I can't. Tell you
But he
again.
never did it. I know he didn't.
He might have, and I forgot.
I don't
know.
remember what it
don't
was, but
remember
I
what it
know
was.
he didn't do it.
I made a lot of things for a lot of people that were really cool.
He knows I'm teasing him. He does good.
I
he does good shit.
guess.
But not everything for everyone.
No, 'cause
not
some
everything
people
for
don't deserve it,
anyone,
right?
And not anything for anyone, but
Most things for some people.
But all for one and
Any-
one for all.
anyone for everything.
That seems right.
My
That's right.
Midjourney produced 3 raccoons with 3 individual trench coats.
Yeah.
So who's gonna
Oh,
make the-
come on now.
Who's
So
gonna
I'm-
make
you-
the
I'm
Raincoat
trying,
Raccoon
Add in
uh,
Little
Conspiracy
Rascal
Alliance?
style.
Little rascal.
Yeah, we
style.
should actually
Thanks,
probably,
Darwin.
Okay.
Thanks for
we should
joining us.
probably have someone like reserve that name
An
because
image
Thanks,
of
Darwin.
That's a good
3
idea.
you know one of the
raccoons
30 people watching are gonna
stacked
steal it.
on each other's shoulders in
Yeah,
a trench
Redline,
coat.
you and I are on the same fucking.
Little rascal style.
Oh.
We're gonna get it for you guys. Chat, we're
Nice.
gonna get you 3 raccoons in a trench coat today.
Fuck yeah.
On
Oh,
this
today?
show,
You know,
you
used to-
will
Today
see
you're gonna. Oh,
3
man, you know it was
raccoons
supposed
in
to
a
come
trench
in. I
coat.
don't know if it did. Hold on, I'm gonna
There
check
was
my
a
front
time-
porch.
There was a time when you had to give a college student a $5 or offers of exposure for this kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? We're
Yeah.
truly in a new day.
Offers of exposure. Get the
Or
fuck
12
out
pack.
of
Or
me.
12 pack.
Oh my
exes and
god!
arts-
You
Arts
fucking
are
triggered me,
graduate,
man.
but-
Not much triggers me,
Yeah.
but that shit fucking
Dude.
triggers me.
Manic, how many times have you been approached with the offer
Oh
of
my
exposure?
god, let me tell you.
It's not there.
You know what? You know my
probably
I-
my
back to
mailbox.
full
my
frontal
my
nudity?
mortgage company, as it turns
Of
out,
course
my
we are.
mortgage company actually takes payment in exposure, so it's great.
Oh,
Oh goodness.
What?
I
cool.
don't
Like
have to work
pictures?
for money. I can just work for exposure, and I can pay all of my bills that way.
yeah.
Wait,
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
I've actually
How-
I've bought milk by going in and being like, "Hey, do you know who I am?" And they're like, "Yeah, actually, we do. Here's your milk. Thank you very much." And off I go.
I thought he was gonna say exposed himself, and then they just let
when
him walk out.
when I bought my car, I couldn't afford it. I couldn't afford to actually pay for it. But I told the dealership, listen, I'll tell everybody to come to your dealership if you just let me walk out with this car right now. And they were like, yeah, sure, go ahead. And it's free advertising for them.
I've been
so.
doing things
That's
wrong
right.
this whole time. I've been
he
spending
kept the
money
little
on
license
stuff.
plate thing on. The sticker.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
kept on. That's actually
So-
that's literally the first thing I took off when I got home with the car is take off the
I take
dealership
off the-
license
I
plate.
hate those
Just
license
frisbeed
plate.
it to the
like,
neighbor's yard.
It's like
Yeah,
the-
I just tossed it right in the trash.
you know why I hated mine? Because it's like right where you're supposed to put your registration sticker, and then you gotta like pull the thing up. It's like, no, you know what? fuck this.
I
Oh,
hate
that's
it because
bullshit.
I don't want
The
to be a
cops probably
free
hate it too.
billboard for the dealership.
I don't even care about
Exactly.
that. But I didn't like it because my car. It's not like I have a big sound system, but it has like. I bought a used car, so whoever owned my car got the stereo system upgrade, so it had like a little 8-inch subwoofer in the back. And it's not
I don't
like
think
I'm-
that's an upgrade you buy. That's a mod.
Yeah.
Somebody
Well,
installed that shit.
Well, no. There was audio. There's a full audio package you could have got with that car, and this is not a subwoofer that any shop would have installed. This is like it just sits on the roof of the trunk, like it's not like in a
Oh,
box or
Like
anything.
the dude installed
Okay, I
it.
see what
Well,
you're
it's like part of the
Just the-
car's sound
The
system.
performance
Yeah,
pack,
yeah.
but
Yeah.
whatever with the sound.
Because like I bought it. Like,
Anyway,
Anyway, so it's not like it's a big bumping sound system, but it was still causing that little plastic dealer plate thing to rattle against my license
Oh,
plate. So it'd be like, I'm like, fuck that thing, it's coming off.
I'm like, what's that rattling noise?
Yeah, it's like I couldn't hear it like when I'm inside the car, but outside the car, I remember I got out of the car,
Real
started
annoying.
walking off. I heard like, I'm like, the fuck is that?
When you're blaring you music as you walked into the
It
corner
wasn't
store.
even blaring. Like I said, it's an 8-inch
Like a
sub. It's
punk.
not even a big sub. It just helps add some heavier bass. It's not meant to like bump the block, as you're going down the road,
He said it was all Christian.
But it was
tunes
still
and
enough to
Creed.
rattle that little plastic thing against the metal license plate.
I'm
so it
just-
just caused. It was
I'm
fucking
so
annoying.
petty with shit like that. Like literally, when I got home with the car, I took off the dealership plate frame and I got an X-Acto blade and took off the Siri XM sticker
Sticker.
on the
Yeah.
inside of the window. I'm like, I don't want that advertising shit on my vehicle.
My mom dated a guy when I was young that I remember he bought a new Toyota Tacoma, and that was part of something I guess he stipulated with the dealership. He was like, I want every logo stripped off this, and not even just their dealership stuff, like the little sticker and shit that they stick on it. He was
Yeah,
like, I want
yeah.
every logo off this car. And he was like, when I come pick it up, no logos. And sure enough, like they did it, which I
I mean, if
don't
it's gonna
see it
sell
very
them a
often,
car,
but
it
it looked real clean.
That makes me wonder if you could like negotiate the price down.
I
If you
doubt
if
it.
you could be like, listen,
'Cause
I'm
somebody has
driving
to sit
around
there
with your
and
logo on
heat
my
gun
vehicle.
those off.
They probably won't because they'll know that you'll just take them off anyway. So
That's true.
They're not gonna like reduce
Well,
the
but
price
like
for
if,
something
if
you can just
could
remove
make it
when you
part
get
of the
home.
contract,
So.
if you both agree to that contract, if that's
Well,
in there
are
as
you
a
going to sign a
stipulation.
contract when you buy a car?
Well, listen, like let's
wouldn't
let's say it
Well, I
gets
guess
you
it-
$500 off the
loan.
price. Let's say it gets you $1,000 off the price, but you have to agree to drive around with their logo on your car
I
for
wouldn't
like
do
two or 3 years.
Because
I always
they
thought
would
that
want more than
was
just
very
the
likely
dealer
a thing.
plates. Because most people just have those on anyway. They would want you to like put like the big side.
Yeah,
Like the fucking text message.
Would
they're
it, would it be worth it to save $1,000? I don't know.
Yeah, it's like the.
I
mean,
would say
there's
for
scam text,
for
but there's-
$100 off whatever your final price is, for them to have the sticker on there or whatever, because a lot
Yeah.
of people are gonna be lazy and
Yeah.
not remove.
Yeah, like
And at the worst case,
What's
like
up,
they,
SEMA?
whatever.
what's up, Steven? Yeah, like Unichronic is like if it's a full car wrap, I could see dealerships going like, yeah, you want to put on like a dealership wrap
Oh, that'd
on
be
your
sick.
car. They would probably maybe
probably-
negotiate something like
yeah.
that, but
Yeah.
I wouldn't
town
want to drive
turns
that.
into a billboard.
I wouldn't want to drive that as my personal car.
No,
so
no,
like I'd
yeah.
be like, you know what? I'll pay the extra $4,000 or
But there's a lot of
$5,000.
cheap
That's,
people
that's,
who
that's the
would.
first shit I take off. Like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna.
I don't-
I've
I don't
never
wanna
even
be a
heard of
free
doing that.
billboard.
I mean, if I was broke and I had to have a
have
car, then
never-
I
I'd be
drive
like,
a
you
car.
know,
I drive around a
whatever,
car with a
but-
big turd on it. Fucking if it's free, fuck it. I don't
Wait,
care.
you actually
I
put a
have
turd
never
on it?
Smear shit on your
realized
car?
how cute
I would
raccoons
for
are.
free. You put turds all over my car.
Oh, they're
I don't give a
adorable.
fuck.
Raccoons are
Look how
fucking
cute
adorable.
those raccoons are.
Wait, where's the
What'd you think
raccoons?
Oh,
They're
very
in the
cute.
guest show notes.
Oh my
Should, man,
gosh.
should.
Post them in the
Oh,
chat.
it's a little family of them.
Little
Doing
hats.
that's a family glamour shot.
Raccoons are assholes. I'm telling you right now.
Oh,
You're an asshole.
I mean,
You're
they
not an
certainly
asshole,
can.
I'm sorry.
I am. No, I am. I get
That's
it.
an
I hate
alliance-
raccoons.
especially
that's an
if you
alliance
come
I can get
to-
behind.
If you come to
Y'all should put that in a more
Dave
public
and
channel,
Buster's.
but yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
that other
yeah,
one
put-
that
put it in
Manic posted
the-
is pretty
put it-
good too. That's a
I have all the other channels muted.
That's a good
where,
picture.
Where did you post it?
Just
Photo
either Tito's
Just
or
on, like-
Jaeger photo
Oh,
bomb or something. Because
I
not everyone
threw
can see the
the
guest
latest
show
one in
notes.
Tito's.
Bro, there's a
Somewhere
mid-journey
for the
bot in
people.
the Open Comms Discord. The fuck?
Yeah, but you know
Yeah,
what?
but it's not free anymore. I should just- I
I
should just
don't use
remove
it. I went to use it the other time to like try and generate
What'd
something
you
for a D&D character, and it's like you have to subscribe. I'm like, I don't have to
Well,
use
I
this
pay
channel
for it,
anymore.
So whatever, I guess.
So if you make the what was it, the Raincoat Raccoon conspiracy? What was it called?
Raccoon trench coat.
Raccoon
You
conspiracy.
make that alliance.
It doesn't roll off the tongue
Wait,
very
what
well.
was
If
it?
you make
I have
that
to-
alliance,
doesn't-
I will bring my
What was it called?
Sauntering Raccoons Corporation into your.
Wait, what was it
alliance.
called? Raccoon conspiracy.
Raccoon trench coat conspiracy.
Trench coat conspiracy. Yeah.
It doesn't roll off the tongue.
That's okay.
Raccoon
Still
trench
cool
coat
though.
conspiracy.
It's still
It's not going to be your mom's punk band either.
If you need something that rolls
Right.
off the tongue, you'll just say RTC. But raccoon trench coat
Right,
conspiracy
RTC
sounds really
does
cool.
roll off the
It is
tongue.
probably fine, Joe.
RTC
'Cause
sounds
you know what?
nice. Yeah,
No,
like
The
that
kids
would,
are gonna
mess
call it
with the
RTC.
that would obviously be the
RTC.
ticker.
You
and if
down
the-
with RTC?
It's going to be huge.
Yeah, you know me.
There you go.
You know,
The Rain
me.
City Bitch Pigeons can join that alliance.
Rain City
Damn.
Bitch.
And the
Yeah,
kids are gonna
Rain
be
City
the kids are
Bitch-
gonna be shading out their eyes with some fucking eyeliner and some, it's gonna
Dude,
be
I
good.
thought you said
Dude, Rain City Bitch
shaving-
Pigeons would be another alliance in the
shaving
same
out
shade.
eyes,
It
like
could
They're gonna be making their
No,
eyes dark.
Rain City Bitch
Event
Pigeons is a
Horizon.
corporation in Eve because I started.
What would it could be a coalition of like some kind of like animal, like a zoo punk coalition or something like that.
So it's funny you say that. My corporation is called Plundering Penguins. One of the early corporations that we were real friendly with was called Otter Corp. We like met in LoSec and we hit it off and we did a bunch of like collaborative PvP, PvE, all sorts of stuff together. We hung out a lot. And I was like, let's make an animal themed alliance. And then it was like, well, are we going to pigeonhole ourselves to like only allowing groups that have like,
Pigeonhole,
animal
nice.
themed names?
Pigeonhole.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I see
right,
what you
exactly.
did there.
But we never enacted it, but it was always like a background dream of mine to make like an animal themed alliance with, because there's a lot of them in Eve just that have like animal themed names, but obviously
Yeah.
you wouldn't just open and invite everybody. It would just
I'm-
be a silly dumb theme to back yourself up into.
So I'm looking at now I'm looking at the Jaeger photobomb, and Skyhawk posted a picture. He's like, tonight's dessert. What is that? I know it's a lemon, but what is
It looks like an egg.
it? It's not an egg though. If you
Yeah, it
look
looked like a
closely.
lemon on an egg. I saw that too.
I don't think it's
I
an
don't
egg.
know
I
what
think
it
it's like
was,
some.
but it was disturbing.
I'm assuming it's like some frosting and cinnamon or something. Some like cream and cinnamon. I don't know, but
It looked like a lemon on an egg.
that's a dessert.
Apparently.
Oh, there are
said
sounds like
it
a
is
dessert.
like fish eggs or something.
Damn, is that Victorian assassin raccoon? Bro, that's profile picture worthy. Number 3, look at him.
What?
Look at the mid
Oh, yeah.
generated, dude.
Number 3. Oh, I like number 2 as well.
I like number 2. Number 2.
number
is
2
good.
is like some Dick Tracy raccoon.
There you go. I used the Chat GPT to generate a prompt for Mid
There we go.
Journey.
Are you tweeting
Yeah,
that right
number 2 is great. That old
should share 'em with
school
other
yellow
people, too.
trench coat.
now? Yeah. These are all pretty good though. So funny that we're looking at this now. We were talking about art a little bit earlier. My ex is an illustration major, whatever. That's what she did in school. And we're no longer together, but I did reach out to her at one point, and again, my corp Plundering Penguins. I was like, hey, is there any chance I could get a commission from you for, I want to do like a penguin, but like all 1700 style, like in a friggin' like military dress with some like medals all over him and shit, and just
Yeah.
like a mantelpiece. And so I was like, just let me know what it's gonna cost. Like, I don't care, but like, this will be a real badass. And like, we haven't knocked it out, but I want that, and I'm gonna pay for that and get it done at some
So
point.
real quick, like
Generalissimo penguin.
the first one that he did with 3 raccoons in a trench coat, it's like 3 individual raccoons all in their own little trench coats. That is so much cooler in my opinion. And you could call it like
It looks real.
you could call it the Rack Pack.
The
Like,
rack pack.
that would
I
be like
that.
really cool, like RACC pack, like that.
The
would
usual
be it.
suspects. I like that one too.
Like those are really. I like the first like number 1 on that one. That looks
Yeah.
really
It looks like literal raccoons wearing like they're all wrinkled and
I-
stuff,
good.
like
I
children's
changed my
trench
profile
coat.
picture in this server to the raccoon because
Did you now?
it's amazing. It's a great picture.
That is a
Personally,
great picture.
I love it. I love it. But the Mid Journey prompts are not working for me.
Yeah, it's like a
trying
Civil
again.
War raccoon.
Redline is pretty amazing at imagery.
Yeah, that one's cool
Imaginary.
too.
It gives
is
good
what he
hugs.
said.
That's like some like noir detective raccoon,
Hell yeah.
but with a
dude.
yellow
Ooh,
coat.
yes.
You call it
Yeah.
rack noir? Dude, rack
So-
instead of
Rack
black, like
noir.
rack noir.
So who's making the corp? Or
He's a
is
Seattle
that-
It's gotta be
detective.
an alliance. I got corporate.
Oh,
always
those are
rated.
cool. I like the
Oh, it's
animated
gotta be
ones
an
too.
alliance.
Yeah,
What the
I'll
hell is
bring
this?
the Rain City
Oh,
Bitch
it's still
Pigeons and the
generating.
Shanty Raccoons in.
If so, you need to put Rain City Bitch Pigeons in my animal line.
I just linked them. You sent me
Animal
the-
Oh, you
House.
actually made them?
I think
Nice.
that's what we call
Oh,
it.
And I got the Sauntering Raccoons, so I got 2 of them.
There you go. It's worth. I feel who's Laszlo and what MP4 do they keep linking us?
It's a
It's
good thing.
something. I think it has something to do with goons.
It's yeah.
Should I click it?
Goons?
I'm afraid.
No.
I wouldn't.
Yeah, it seems
I wouldn't.
sketch.
I wouldn't
back
click
away.
I
it.
mean,
I'm gonna-
it's,
I'm gonna back
it's
away.
fine. I don't
It's
get
not
the
gonna- it's
relevance
not-
of it.
it's not
but
malicious, it's just-
It's work safe. I don't
You
get the
clicked it?
relevance of it though.
It is.
Well, I am at work.
Yeah,
Oh, okay, it's just bees in a techno float.
meme. It's safe, guys. It's a meme. Look, gang. It's 2023. All right. You don't tell us. It's sketch. All right. The links, they're sketch. They're sketch. Okay, but they're sketch.
Oh, I messed with the cameras. Okay, hold on.
I'm sorry.
Oh, little Generalissimo raccoons. That's what I'm saying. I want that as a
Yeah,
penguin.
dude.
And I'm gonna have a bunch of medals that are unearned. You know what I'm talking about?
there
like
anything
like
like
North
I earned
Korean
them, but that's 'cause I
generals.
gave
they're-
them to
they're
Is
just
there
myself.
anything left
covered
on
in
the
medals.
FanFest thing? Are we done with that?
Wow, there's so much left for
I know.
fans.
I
Let's
think we
fucking
should
talk
circle back.
about it.
Because I don't. Have you guys even ever talked about what you think's gonna happen with those gates?
No.
Mm-hmm.
Gonna go
What
somewhere.
do you
I think we
Probably
did
go
talk
to
about it
another-
one week.
I'm not knowledgeable enough on the situation.
I just want them to
make any
finish
comment.
it,
Do you know
and
what
then
the
I'll
most
know. You know what I
disappointing
mean?
thing about Eve so far this year is? The most disappointing thing about Eve.
Oh,
Why
what is?
why are we talking about disappointment?
Manic Velocity no
I-
longer plays the game.
Oh, that is
come
pretty
on.
disappointing.
It's fine.
I don't get to see him log
Is
in.
it fine?
The game.
Is it
the
fine?
game-
not
Is it not
fine, it's not
disappointing?
fine.
The
It's
game
not
has
fine.
not changed one bit with my absence.
My
I
experience has.
guarantee.
Oh, that's
my
not true.
experience in the game has changed because you're not there.
Okay. Well,
It's absolutely not true.
Oh, we got the.
Look at the cyberpunk raccoon.
I don't even know that's cyberpunk.
Yeah,
that's
dude.
just like.
That's like That's cyberpunk soldier. That's what I asked for.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're
Good raccoons.
it reminds me of Rocket from Guardians of the
Sure,
of the
of course
Galaxy.
he's
talking
right.
about. Guardians of Eve.
Guardians of Eve.
It was a mashup crossover.
Yeah, crossover. That's what we should have a crossover. We should have
How
a.
do we make
Actually,
that
Eve should
work?
have a crossover with Barbie movie.
Here's the
right?
thing: I don't want to
I
hear
would
Chris Pratt
absolutely
in my space
drive
game.
fly the
Let's leave it
Oh
alone.
my god.
Barbie's
could
dream
you
ha- dream
imagine
kestrel?
his dumb
Yeah.
voice.
This fucking dumb voice up in my
His
space
dumb
game.
voice
Just leave it
instead
alone.
of aura for like a day. Ugh.
Who's dumb voice?
Chris Pratt.
Chris Pratt.
Oh, I
Wait.
like him.
Oh, I don't mind Chris Pratt.
That's fine.
I haven't looked at the Midjourney thing at all, so I'm still back on probably in last year.
That's
He's a
all right.
Kennedy now. He'll be fine.
Well, not that far back. Never mind.
Is he? Did he marry Kennedy?
He married a Schwarzenegger, which is by extension a Kennedy. Yes.
Oh, are they?
Yeah. Maria Shriver's daughter. Maria Shriver's a Kennedy.
Oh.
I'm in the past journey.
I don't know the celeb family
tree.
trees, I guess.
Sometimes I'm in the future journey, but I can't discuss that.
What are you talking
Drayden, I
about?
don't know
I
celeb
don't know.
family trees,
Nice.
but
What
the
do you know that
Kennedys are
we
some of the
don't, Dom?
closest we get to
I know a lot
American
of shit.
You know
royalty.
something?
Yeah.
You know something
So
that we don't?
I
Dude,
know
are
their
you kidding
names.
me?
You don't want to know.
Oh, what is that? That's just like an
I
evil
don't want to
eyes.
know. What's going to happen, Dom? You have to tell me now.
I'm not allowed to tell you.
Who's it gonna happen to?
Is it going to create
and
like
Manic.
a rupture
You
in the
and Manic?
space-time
There's
continuum?
hugging involved.
Okay, but so Manic, what do you know about the gates though? The Jove gates.
They're like cloaked, and you have to like scan them
wanna see
down. Don't they have like
It's not scanning. It's you have to
No,
like
they have
get
they have
drops
beacons
and get
now.
clues.
and yeah, there's like data fragments that you can
Yeah,
harvest
well,
from them or
I think
something.
people have found them all now because there was only 4, right?
Yeah, they're all found.
Yeah, so
now.
there's the 4, but
there's
yeah, you had to
beacons
like
in the
you had to
space.
get like certain drops, and then get certain data things from the beacons, and then you had to like decipher, and that would tell you like what system they were in, and then you had to go to the system, and then essentially solve like a puzzle in order, and then that would give you a location to work to with a gate, and then you could like decloak it and find it
How fast did they find all 4?
within
Within-
within like
within
3 or 4
48
days.
Okay, so
Oh,
it
2
wasn't
days?
within.
Okay.
It was
2
that
days. Okay, I thought it was like
quick.
within
It
5
was, yeah,
hours.
because everyone was
Yeah, it
after.
was super
Everyone was
fast.
doing it. So yeah, it was pretty quick. Like they
It
announced
does
it.
not surprise
and
me.
then,
That's
like,
an Eve thing to min max.
I think that's just a gamer thing. You
Yeah.
give
They're just
gamers a
gamer thing, okay.
puzzle and we'll
yeah,
solve
like
it
everyone just focused.
as
Yeah, and
fast
also
as
yeah,
possible.
and like unironically, it wasn't just
Yeah, they got 50
people didn't
cents for it,
just
yeah.
want to find them. It's like there was also anyone that found one of these gates got 50 billion ISK, as a reward.
50
Oh, so there was
billion.
ISK
Yeah,
incentive.
yeah,
That's-
yeah.
Well,
So
that's
it's
cool.
like they
It's almost like real money transfers. They took-
For like the entire first day, the cesspool was a buzz. The only thing that anybody talked about was the gates and like the clues and everything.
but it
but
petered out
then by
fast
the
because they found
second
them
day-
so fast. Yeah.
Well, by the second day, it was just like a handful of people still looking for them. They'd found
Yeah.
like everything, and everybody else was just waiting for them to post. It
Does
was
anybody here
wild.
know any of the 4 people that found them or 4 groups?
No.
No. Okay.
I have no clue.
No.
I think frat found 2, didn't they?
Frat found 2.
Yeah,
Okay.
Frat found a
Same
couple.
person or just frat?
I think a
Frat.
different person.
Frat is one person.
Yeah,
Oh,
and
that
they're
makes sense.
and they're
Well-
like 30,000
Wow.
volts.
Yeah.
It's all Luke or what's the AT guy? What was the AT captain?
John.
Rimmling.
Ford.
Waifu,
Kabuki
whatever
Waifu.
his name was.
Yeah, something waifu.
Kabuki.
Kabuki.
Yeah.
Kabuki waifu. Yeah.
Rimmling's the real one to watch, though.
So
Well,
okay.
do you want to see one of these gates, guys?
No,
Do
we
you guys
saw 'em.
want to see one?
Sure.
I saw a picture, but yeah, where's the gate?
I don't want to see one.
You guys want to see a dead body?
Does Stand
One
by
of my
Me?
roommates did that to me once.
It could be.
Stand
Well,
by, stand by Me, isn't it?
Yes.
I am en route, so pray I don't get smart bombed, and I'll show you one.
I'm open.
Steve was saying one was in Karma Fleet.
Yeah,
that found
Stand by
one.
Me. That's a
so
good
two frat and one Karma Fleet.
Yeah, but we don't give Karma Fleet credit for anything because they're goons. So we'll say
That's
someone
true.
else did it. just
Isn't
to not give
frat
goons
isn't
credit.
frat just like the other goons?
By the way,
Yeah,
is Seaman Karma
basically.
Fleet now? Yeah.
Yeah, Siemens in Karma Fleet.
I
I
like
need
Karma
to speak with him at the end or something.
I
I,
was-
have
I-
Yeah,
somebody's.
fuck us. No, you know
I have
what?
some
Karma
stuff from
Fleet's a lot of
Vegas
fun.
from one of the.
I'm in their sig. I
Good.
do stuff
I
with
was
Karma
in
Fleet.
Karma Fleet for how long was I in Karma Fleet for? Hold on.
2
Like
weeks.
6 hours.
Like 15 minutes.
I was in Karma Fleet for 227 days. 227 days
2
in Karma Fleet.
weeks.
2
Frat is
2
SMA.
weeks.
Man, that's a name I haven't heard.
weeks.
When did SMA disband? Wasn't that like 8 years ago, 6 years ago?
At the end of the first World War B.
No, they
Yeah.
didn't completely
Space Monkeys?
disband. They
Yeah,
kind of
Space
petered
Monkeys
out.
the one.
They tried to come
They tried to
back.
make a comeback.
Dude.
They tried to come back and they failed multiple
The
times.
brothers tried to make a
And real
comeback.
predatory.
Well, because everybody hates them. They were jerks.
I mean, even on the inside, like apparently they were shitbags. So like that's what.
Because the two brothers
got
treated
around.
everybody like shit. Yeah, they were assholes.
Yeah, well, it happened.
Stole from people in real life and in game.
Damn.
Well, that was what kicked off World War B, if people recall.
I thought World War B was kicked off because of the whole Viceroy
banker
attempt.
thing.
The Viceroy attempt.
No, that was just that helped foment
Help pay for the war. Yeah.
the whole thing with Lenny Kravitz like throwing money around. It was that one of the bankers had stolen, and it was one of the bankers was an SMA. He approached their whatever coalition about
Oh,
it with
with the
goons and
casino?
being like, "Hey, can you help us with this?" And they were like, "Nah, that's not our business. Like, fuck off." And he was like, "Okay." And then he started splashing money around, and then blood was in the water shortly
Well, but
thereafter.
SMA got kicked from the CFC or Imperium at the
After they got their shit pushed in by like
Yeah.
Tissue and Pureblind or whatever.
Yeah.
And that's when everybody was like, "Oh shit, goons aren't
Didn't they
showing
move
up.
to Fade at some point?
Everybody's getting conquered. Like, let's all."
I thought.
Dogpile.
I mean, they were in Pure Blind
It was
for a while, but
Fade,
didn't-
Pureblind, whatever.
Oh well, they were in Pure Blind, but I was like, didn't they get like kind of like didn't goons like just kind of because Fade was like the back ass end of like the whole CFC space, and so like they had Pure Blind,
They were on
and,
the
then, like,
front.
and then yeah, CFC was like, hey, you just go over to Fade, and we'll just pretend you weren't there for a while.
And then they did, and they let them get conquered, and then World War B fully
that
kicked
war.
off.
Yeah, it
Yeah, it was just funny because
escalated quickly.
they lost all their space in Fade, and like the rest of the CFC didn't really help them.
Yeah,
Well, they just kind of let them get shit rocked.
It turns
It
out
was
they
bad.
probably should have helped them because then they would.
Yeah,
they
it
lost
would've
all
slowed
their
things
space,
down.
too.
It might have
and then
changed
the
things, yeah.
the groups took Fade, and then they're like, well, why stop here? And they just kept
Right.
going. So
I'm glad I wasn't with Imperium then.
were you not?
Nope.
I think
Oh,
he was
what was
Black
it?
Legion at that
Black
point. I
Legion.
was
Black Legion.
in. I was either TNT or CO2 at that point. I can't remember, but I think I was CO2 when that happened.
Were you there when they turned on them, or had you got?
I
kicked before
was literally in the process of changing from CO2 over to Bastion into MPX, and my main had transferred over to MPX, and my alt was still in CO2 when they flipped MTECO.
Oh shit!
And it was funny because my alt, and everyone's like, "Oh, all their stuff's locked in MTECO," and my alt was like, "Well, my alt's my Jump Freighter pilot, and he's in CO2 still. Anyone needs shit like jumped out of there because I could get it out and Pukin was like, "No, that's fucked up. We aren't going to do that." I'm like, "Well, it's fucked up. They also just kind of flipped like that. So,
Well, but
like, do
fortunately,
you guys
Pukin
want
and
your
Lucian
shit
are pretty
out?"
good
And
friends,
then
yeah.
I think they worked stuff out with
Lucian James.
Lucian, yeah, and
Yeah, because
got it out
Pukin and
anyway,
Lucian
so-
are pretty good friends,
Yeah.
so he helped them out.
Yeah, so they were able to get their stuff out anyway, but yeah, I was like, I got a jump freighter in CO2 still, so I can get people's stuff moved if you want, but
Of
So
all the
conveniently
betrayals and
enough-
thefts, that CO2 thing was fucking crazy.
it was a little weird.
I mean, yes and no. I will admit I was on the other side of it when that was kicking off, but the narrative made sense to our side. Like the whole thing with SMA, like SMA were right on Goon's doorstep and they did fuck all to help them while they were being like basically conquered. And then the same thing was happening from CO2 direction. They were coming in from the drone region direction toward, closer to Declan, and CO2 was bearing the brunt of that, and Goons were
Yeah.
not doing much at all to help them.
Yeah.
And
It was
it
like-
turns out
It was like, you guys have been an historical coalition, and you're not gonna like
Yeah,
do
like
coalition
the
things.
Space Monkeys thing
And
was
so
over
CO2
there. Yeah.
did bear the brunt of it for a while, and then they flipped because they were like, "Look, if you guys aren't coming, like, why are we here?"
Yeah,
That's what it looked like
but
from the outside
The
looking
fact
in.
of the matter was, the Goons couldn't protect themselves. I mean, they got kicked out of.
It wasn't even in their space yet.
Yeah,
though.
but they-
it was
they-
on
Well,
the
I know, but
fringes, and
what
they
I'm
didn't
saying
defend their
If they
fringes.
couldn't help themselves, they're probably not going to help anybody else. Either.
Well, right,
I
but
mean,
they,
it
but they,
was,
obviously was
they
some
didn't need to help
stagnation
themselves
there,
at that point because they weren't getting attacked. So the thing was like,
Yeah,
I was
their
'cause
space
I
was
was
attacked.
I was in CO2 and like you'd go on the CTA fleets and it would be like you'd get a bunch of CO2 guys there and then the support from the rest of the coalition that are supposed to be your coalition helping you, and you'd have like a fleet of like 100 dudes from CO2, and you'd have like a combined from like Goons and Get Off My Lawn and all those other groups. You'd have like a combined like 20 guys show up. It's like, how is Goons only having 10 people show up to this fleet? Like
They made it out like CO2 did some big travesty, and it was like, you literally hung us out to dry,
They
and we
kinda
saved
did,
what we
yeah.
could. And that's like I said, I was on the other side, but that narrative sold well because that's what we saw.
Yeah.
Nobody was in Goon space yet. We were all chewing at the fringe because I was kicking off that war with those people. But
yeah, it was weird because like
they got
there
whatever.
were some fleets where there was like,
demonized afterward.
There was some fleets where there was significant support from the rest of the coalition, but there was a lot of fleets where there really wasn't, and it was kind of
Now-
weird that it's like, why aren't the rest of like the CFC showing up here?
Well, and here's fun food for thought too, since we're walking down memory lane. That was part of the impetus of the war, was that Goons at that time were a fairly like hollow shell. Like they'd just been sitting there being Big Dick and Declan for like 6-8 years at that point, and that was part of why they did get conquered, is because they had gotten like real slow and complacent, and weren't really showing up and doing a lot anymore. They weren't moving and shaking, and like kind of got blitzkrieged over that few months or whatever. Like it was a combination of a lot of different things, but like still every big war we've seen, if you're in a coalition, the people go and show up to each other's shit as best you can to like try to mitigate and
Yeah, it's one thing if you're on the
Stall
offensive,
this
but if
kind
you're
of
on the defensive, then the whole coalition should be helping.
You would think, right?
That was-
Unless it is like a two-front war where it's like, okay, we would help, but we're busy down here dealing with shit
but
too.
they
Like,
weren't,
But they weren't.
because they hung SMA out to dry, so they should have gone and helped see it too.
That was right after Fozisov came out, right? So Citadels had come out, Fozisov had come out.
No, Fozisov and Citadels were
Fozisov was-
quite a bit separate.
Yeah. It was
They were.
First.
Citadels came
But
out
those-
shortly after that war, though. They weren't out yet.
But those two were out, and the new system with ADMs and stuff made it so that if you were running a nullsec alliance, you had to have.
Couldn't
well, you didn't have to.
Toast other people's
It would
stuff yet.
it would behoove you to have industrialists in your alliance so that they could up the ADMs in your space, right? Because you could just rat it up, but it was easier if you ratted it up and you mined it up.
Sure. Okay, you're talking about just keeping your ADMs
Like
healthy.
previous to Fozisov, all the industrialists were rentals, right? They would
See,
just
but
rent
Fozisov
space.
was not new at that point. It was
well,
actually a
kinda
couple
was.
years into it.
It
was.
It'd been
It was
around
a
for
couple
while.
years
It'd
into
been
it.
around for a while. Yeah, he's right.
Yeah.
Fozisov
And
was
Citadels
like
came
2013.
shortly after that war. They
No,
weren't
it
out
could've
there
been-
yet
I
either.
started in 2013. It was
Right, but
Dominion
so-
Soft for a few
So
years. after I started,
Fozisov
but-
came
2015,
out, and then you
2016.
had bigger groups taking their rental groups and turning them into full-fledged members of their alliances so that they could rat up their thing, and that's what created the hollow
So-
shell. Was when you looked at the numbers for goons and bigger groups like that, you were like, oh my god, there's thousands of pilots in these groups. And then when you called for a CTA, 10 guys would show up, and the other dudes would put their Rorquals and shit away and fucking sit there and wait for the bad guys to go away. But this time
You
they
are
didn't
correct,
go away.
yeah.
They just rolled over everything.
Yep.
and you didn't have the numbers to.
Well, and also unironic, he
But
was
they
talking
built
about
that system. For several years
unironic is
before
in
that.
chat. He was in AMOC and he's like, he's not lying. We ratted and mined up until the system next door fell. So
Well, it's a real important, not just that, but if you recall, that was where we first started seeing the whole Entosis situation where you having a bunch of different fractured alliance or rental alliances and things like that was a big detractor from your security because you couldn't wand each other's space. If people came in Tosis,
Yeah.
you couldn't you could defend, you could try to shoot
Yeah.
the Entosisers, but you couldn't counter Entosis. So that's when we
Well, that's
started
why
seeing
now-
people hover into these, like, it started to get
Well-
more and more homogenous and hovering into the main groups.
man, did you
If you
look
look
up?
at
And we started
Imperium's-
seeing a lot of Y-dotting, if you recall. That's where that
Did you look
started
up
to kick off.
Fozzy stuff? Was it 2013?
I think it was 2013.
Wow.
That's why now if you look
I didn't
at
know it was that early.
a large
World War B1
coalition,
was 2015, 2016, I think.
yeah.
Wow.
16.
If you look at Imperium space now, you'll see that all the iHubs are owned by Imperium or Goons, right?
Yep.
So that way Goons can guarantee
Maximum
that they can
Entosis
they
security.
can wand it in defense, right?
Yes, yeah,
Uh,
yeah. And they get
the only thing that
yeah.
the only thing that you'll own if you're an alliance that's in Imperium is the TCU, 'cause the
Which is
TCU
kinda
doesn't
funny.
mean fucking anything.
Well,
It's
it
kinda
does
funny,
have
too,
your-
because
You can
less-
have your map or your flag in the sand and be like, we own space, but
and
the
less
iHubs
fuel
belong
for your
to-
post towers.
Yeah.
Part of
Still-
this
it
was
still
also
does
the
provide that.
downfall.
I know they don't use them, but
The downfall and the consolidation of renter culture too from that block, because it made
Yeah.
more sense defensively because they had just been like gobsmacked in that first war. Everybody hoovered up into it as tight of groups as they could because you had way more defense options if everything was under main alliance, like not, or whatever, like not a bunch of fractured sob space.
Yeah.
Because you could only ever run interference fleets. You couldn't actually counter Entosis and like proper defend those space. And so White-Dotting got real ramped up after World War B1. And we basically saw TNT and Bastion and all those little fringe groups that lived off of, Goons proper. They all shrunk up way hard after World War B1 because
you had like
it didn't make sense anymore. You
TNT
couldn't run your own space.
before World War B1. TNT owned like a whole region,
Yeah.
region, and now they
TNT,
own
Where?
FCON,
four systems,
Bastion had a bunch.
like a constellation.
All of the different fringe groups had a bunch
Bastion
themselves.
never had SOV without it being provided by the Imperium. Bastion was
That's not what I'm suggesting. It
was
was always going to be
LI3
provided
and-
by them.
well, but they were LI3 and Gentleman's Agreement got put together, so they're not like TNT or Lawn, right? They hadn't been around. Bastion wasn't around that long.
No,
But
that's
Lawn
fine.
and TNT, right? They were their
Yeah.
own alliance for a long time.
In that, and
Strong
in game
alliance, yeah.
mechanically, that wasn't absurd at the time because before
Correct.
those soft changes, everybody, there wasn't an emphasis on whose name was on the flag, right? But afterwards, so the reason I'm bringing that up is because now, all these years later, it's fun to see the the renter landlord narrative. What kicked that off wasn't anything benevolent. It was the defense of space. It wasn't like, and Goons, and as plenty of people know, Goons made that up in all the various taxation that they do on a fuckload of stuff, where it's like, we don't rent anymore. We just, we tax on every little thing under the sun to make up those same fees, but everybody's in the same alliance. We're all the same, through and through.
I'm different.
I know that about you.
Not in a good way.
Dom,
Not in a good way, but
You
I'm different.
sure as hell are,
just
Dom.
flat statement. I'm
You
different.
are different.
I think goons are the worst.
Are they?
Are they though?
Yeah.
I
I've been in a lot
They,
of groups, and I'm telling
they
you, they're not the worst.
blacklisted me just for leaving.
I have heard they did that.
It's 'cause
Corona
you piss people
resub.
off.
Don't they
Malcolm, what's
know
up, man?
who you are?
You're so mean, and you do weird things.
You know what? I don't think goons are the worst. There are some people that in goons that are.
Well,
I've been in a lot of groups, and
Distasteful.
they're
Yeah,
not
Yeah,
the
but they
worst.
blacklisted
if there's
Redline.
anybody else who thinks that goons are the worst, tomorrow
I don't think anybody
at
does.
0100 Eve, we're gonna do a roam to goon space. Come with me, we can kill them all.
Tomorrow, what time?
There you go.
At 0100.
Okay, I might be able to do that. I was like, I
Yeah.
have my
Come along for the
old
ride.
roommate. His dad's having a returement party at his house tomorrow. I'm
You
gonna
say
go to that.
0100 Eve time?
Malcolm,
did.
thanks
It's
for the
apparently a big-
Eve
resub.
time?
Yeah,
And what's up, Johnny
Eve time,
Pugh?
yes.
Hey,
Johnny Pugh.
That'd be like 8:30, 9:30 or
What's up,
something
man?
for you and
It's
Dom, I think.
the Johnny
9 o'clock.
Pugh.
Johnny Pugh.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
8 for me.
For a second, I was thinking Johnny Trouser Snake, but that's like those are two different people.
I love Johnny Trouser
It's,
Snake.
it was always fun.
Johnny Trouser Snake is cool too. I like Johnny Trouser Snake a lot.
He was on Trash Out Tuesday this week.
Was he?
I think I saw
Johnny
that.
Trouser Snake?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We talked about the Big Dread Bomb. It was
Yeah.
good.
Oh,
I've
yeah,
been
yeah,
working on
yeah.
editing that episode.
Is
of
that the
That was
biggest-
a great episode.
It's
I
not
learned
That
a
was
lot from
good.
that.
It's
Yeah,
not
it
the
was good.
biggest
I learned a lot
loss
from
of it. Is that the biggest dread
Biggest
fight in
dread
the
fight.
game?
Yeah.
I think it
Okay.
is.
Only
I was-
Dread, yeah, was Dread's the big one.
Yeah,
There's
because
been
there was
more
no
Dreads lost
there was no
in two, but
Titans,
it
there was no
wasn't- it was a Titan
supers.
fight.
I don't even think there was
There's
very many facts in
Reds.
there. There was like some carriers, but it
There
was
some
mostly just
carriers.
it was just a bunch of dreads and like some carriers.
Was there more dreads in M2 lost?
That's what somebody was telling me. But there wasn't a Dread fight. That's a Titan fight.
tons.
Sure,
This is
but
the
I mean,
biggest
there
dread
was
fight.
more
Yeah.
dreads in that battle lost.
That's what somebody said.
I thought this
Was
was
there?
the biggest
So,
dread slaughter
there
fest that we
were-
had seen so far. I
There
thought.
was
There was a
There
lot
was
of
like an
battleship style in this too,
entire-
though.
there was like an entire Dread fleet that warped into Lances in M2. So
Oh,
that was
sure,
a
but-
big portion of losses. Like everybody was throwing dreads into the wood chipper just to make it.
Wait, so
a
was
Trying
there
to get-
land?
trying to get the
Was there
Titan
land
out.
dreads in him
Yeah.
in the big?
Well, no,
No.
no, it was Titan lances.
No, there weren't
Oh,
any.
oh, oh, oh,
Lances.
you're talking
There
about-
was
Land,
okay,
like
one-
proper lances.
What was the system of this recent dread fight? It was like A
Fortec.
something.
Fortec.
Fortec.
A-
Oh, okay, Fortec. It's Ace. It was like A
B
something.
or some shit.
Start with an A.
A4
Fortec.
tech.
Here,
Fortec,
I
eh?
It's
actually
like
have a
2 or 3
video.
jumps out of or X47, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's real close.
It's like 2 jumps out, I think. It was like A24Q or something.
Fortec A.
Fortec
It
A. Oh, okay,
is-
Fortec A.
Fortec ABS8.
I mean, it was
Can
a
anybody
shit- it
find
was a
out if
shit
there was more
stopper.
dreads lost to them too? Because I'm curious.
I
don't
don't
think
know
there
about
was.
numbers.
I'm sure somebody could, but I don't know
know
about
how.
you. But I was suffering through M2.
Okay, yeah, no
eating
Tech 2 dreads.
crow
I was like, I don't
and
think there was a
having
need for the
Grath
Tech 2
Telkin
dreads.
call me stupid live on stream for 1,000
Is
people
that what
to
happened?
watch.
Grath calls everybody stupid.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
kind of like
but
just a
not
rite
in
of
front of
passage.
1,000 people.
Yes, he does.
That's
he
a, yeah,
does.
no, that's a
Sometime.
rite of passage. Grath will
God
will
bless.
speak his
Yeah,
mind.
dude, you should be
And then-
honored.
And then Mind One turned it into a fucking remix.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah,
And
this
now
is
you're
an
immortalized.
honor.
What are you
Grath-
complaining for?
Grath just
not
Grath is a
good. Yeah.
salty motherfucker,
I
but he's
guess.
also like a very like chill.
I would
he's
love.
he's like a dude that has a lot of bark, but he's actually just a good dude.
Grath is
Grath?
Grath
Yeah, he's
is a
actually
good
real
dude.
fun to
Yeah.
drink with at IRL.
Yeah,
Oh, good.
Oh, what's up, Mac? Yeah.
It's
So
not
Hey,
bad.
welcome to
Hello.
I would
Welcome
love to
back,
get
dude.
roasted by Grath and have Mind
Yeah.
One turn it into a remix. I
Yeah,
would
that's
be
actually-
honored.
I
I
would like that.
recently found the clip. It's really old, but I turned it into a short on YouTube
I was hoping he was going to say I
Thank you,
kept
bro.
snapped it.
of him talking like that. Got it right here.
Did you guys
We're gonna
know
play
you
it on
can
the
get
stream.
Grath Telkin's voice as your personal assistant?
Oh,
Oh,
that
that-
was my favorite commercial of that
Oh,
whole.
I
Oh
love
yeah, I
it was,
remember that.
Those
That was
were
really
great,
fun.
man.
It's like, hey, Grant, like, who was the one that was doing the
He
talking?
was playing the Alexa thing or whatever.
Oh,
yeah.
it was you, man.
It was
You're like,
Grath.
Hey,
yeah.
Grath, should I do
I
this?
have
It's like,
some ifs?
why the fuck would you do that? You're such a
Hold on.
fucking idiot. Like,
Hold
it was so good. It was.
Please play it on the stream.
Yeah, I'll play it.
While you're pulling that up, so I got information here.
Pop a
Oh,
link into
the
Discord
Battle
or
of
something.
BTEC
There's
are-
4 of them, but
The Battle of
Uh,
BTEC
Oh
are
yeah, give me all.
involved.
Oh, wait, I remember
Are you
2.
gonna
Was
listen
there
to the-
4?
Are you gonna listen?
I
Yeah.
don't think he is.
BTEC are 1,172 dreadnoughts were involved in that fight.
No, I'm saying
Wow.
lost.
I know I don't know. I can't find that part. I'm just telling you how it evolved. So.
Because BTEC are, let's be
And then
important to
dreadnoughts,
like
MTEC 2 had 445 dreadnoughts, so that wouldn't be bigger.
right. And real important, BTEC R was like 24-hour battle.
Well, I know, but I'm
essentially.
just saying
it was
the
like
numbers of
and,
Titans.
like Fortec A was like
these
Oh,
4-6
yeah.
hours.
Well, M2 was 12,000 crackheads.
M2
so,
was
I
a
mean,
long ass time too, but it was less dreads as
But
we
it was
just heard.
445 dreads involved.
Thrown right out the window.
And that comes from the New Eden Post, so you know it's right.
Those are the real
Ooh.
facts. Those
thank
guys pay their
you.
journalists.
Shout it out. Wait, you went to the website to get it?
Damn right I did.
That's dope. I was gonna do that too, but I got distracted with the short.
That's normal.
So the battle report for MTEC 2,
What are you
dreadnoughts
thinking, man?
lost 232 on one side and 90 on the other. So what
The
was
slaughter.
what was Fortec
but
at?
now that we've seen more, it's wild.
What were the
Fortec A
numbers
was
of Fortec A? I can't remember.
700 on the one side, 500 on the other side. Roughly, it was like 695 and like
using Grath.
498 or something like that. It was like real close to 700, 500.
Do you have that
like,
the
big
BR?
number. I'll find it.
Redline's got it. I know he does.
What BR, buddy?
For Fortec A.
Yeah, I do actually because I've
link that?
I've had to pull it up like 75 times.
Adrian
It's
fucked up the camera.
there, boom.
What are you linking?
I was
Manic?
just copying all the links.
Why
He's-
the camera's
he-
gone?
He's gonna
Because
play
I
these
was-
videos.
I didn't want
hopefully.
to have to like shift the thing back and forth. I was just like, you know what? I'm just gonna copy them all, post them all, and then now I'm ready.
So we're not
the
gonna watch
game
them
is
together?
gone.
No, I am gonna watch it.
But-
I was getting them prepped.
the gate's
So-
gone. Where is it?
Dreads lost in 4-Tech A, 425 on one side, 224 on the other.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it was well, and
650 roughly. Is that about what that comes out to? Dreads, you said 400 and something.
well, there
and
was
200 and something.
There was a lot.
Four.
there was like a trillion worth of battleships died, or close to. Or,
Yeah,
I'm not even talking about the value. I'm
425
just saying the
425,
count of dreads that died
425,
was wild.
and 224. But
Yeah.
technically, that fight didn't have
650.
the total.
650,
More were
yeah.
destroyed there, but
More were
BTEC-R
deployed.
had
and-
more in the fight. Yep.
Yeah, well,
Gotcha.
well, the things
Like I said, VTEC-R had a full 24
No,
hours. You
I'm-
saw
It was
how
more
many
than
times
24
don't
hours.
get
But it
involved.
was a long fight. Yeah.
Well, it can't
mean,
be
it
more than
couldn't have been
24
more
because
than
of
24.
downtime. But the thing with so total ISK lost, BTEC-R was still higher.
That's fine.
BTEC-R was like 11 trillion.
But it wasn't. That wasn't
where
a dread
this was
fight.
like
That
about
was a Titan fight.
Exactly.
Right,
That was a
and-
set piece battle.
Right. This one was, well, I think it was like 6 to
It's an
6.5
IHUB
trillion.
timer.
It was like 6 or 6.5 trillion total butcher's bill. There was a lot. There was almost a trillion worth of battleships destroyed as well. There was a lot of battleships died there, and then also just tons of other support shit and everything like that. But I'm just saying,
Sure.
it
And a
is
fuckload of
impressive with that being the cost with like no Titans or Supers in there. That's all
Right.
just and. Now there's two things that kind of play into that. One
Navy
is
dreads
there was a
and
lot
Dreads.
of a lot of faction dreads, which are more expensive, but
But
also
only
just
on
the
one
general
side.
cost of dreads is a lot higher now.
There was a bunch on both sides.
Because if you look
No, there
at
wasn't.
the cost of dreads in BTEC-R
There literally
times,
was.
those dreads were like 2 billion,
The
and now
Zernitras
a
there
dread's like
was, but-
4 or 5. Yeah, Zernitras. Yeah, it was,
On the Imperium side, the majority of the rest of the dreads were Tech 1.
Yeah,
I'm not
so-
saying the majority. I'm saying there was
I'm-
quite a few.
yeah, I'm just
Well,
saying that the majority
like
were
the Navy-
faction. I'm
the
saying
Navy-
there were a lot of faction dreads that died, and yes, Zernitras, which were like
Not
what,
faction, but
6 or
Navy
7.
dreads, Navy Revelations on the Imperium side, there was 31 of them. On the
Yeah,
other
there was
side,
quite
was
a few.
140 of them.
But I mean, if you look at the cost, that's
well,
like
they're definitely
That the
have
total
way more.
fielded or the total
31
died?
That's
31.
total field.
Fielded.
Okay.
So
We lost 26 of
comparatively-
our 31. They lost 4 of their 140.
Okay, so like 30, so
Came out
30
way
Navy
better.
dreads died. That's about 40 to 45 normal dreads cost. So like
Yeah.
that adds
So
a number.
six fleet Naglfars died. 26 Navy Revs died. 9 Navy Moroses died, and 7 Navy Phoenixes.
Yeah,
died.
I think the
On
extra
the-
cost
on
is
the
probably just from
Imperium
all the
side.
Zernitras because there were
That's
a
just the
lot
dread
of
side.
Zernitras died, and those are like what 7 or 8 billion fully fit, something like that.
74 Zernitras, I believe, were murdered.
Which is
Yeah,
wild.
that's a
Says
lot.
here. Yeah.
There
That's
were
a lot.
over 100 in the battle.
But I'm just saying, like dreads now, the cost of, I mean, a regular Tech 1 dread fully fit is like 4 or 5 billion now, whereas back in BTEC-R that would have been like 2 to 2.5 billion, 3, actually probably maybe about 3.
I don't think that low.
I think it's about 3.
Not in
Why are we
BTEC-R.
talking about BTEC-R?
We're making
I'm-
that's what the
comparisons
data
from
was on
big
the-
ass
on-
dread
because
fight.
BTEC-R is the highest.
Why to BTEC-R? BTEC-R wasn't
Because
even
these
that
guys
good.
chose.
I'm,
These guys
I'm
brought
talking
that up.
about total loss of ISK. BTEC-R still holds the record. That's what I'm talking
What,
about.
what,
No,
how
it
much
doesn't.
lost there?
I don't think
BTEC-R
BTEC-R
doesn't
does.
hold shit.
I don't think it does
What do you
compared to
mean?
M2 anymore.
M2
M2, I think-
destroyed that record.
yeah,
Wait, what
M2
was M2?
What was M2?
No, I'm saying what was the
War
loss?
B2.
The loss ISK of
Some
M2?
fuckload more Titans and dreads.
Trillions.
M2 is
Hold on.
20
Now, granted,
trillion.
BTEC-R was
here's the
11
thing.
trillion.
trillion.
Here's the thing with this 20-year-old game that you have to do: you put a fucking asterisk behind everything.
Well, right, because
Because
there's
BTEC-R
inflation.
was quite a few years earlier,
That's
and
what
it
I'm
was
saying.
much harder to build dread. Not dreads, Titan.
Well, that's
Like the amount of Titans that died in that era was obviously much more influential and different than M2 because M2 was during the,
well, it's not
the
just
milk
the
and honey
influence.
era of
That's-
the
it's,
Rourke War.
it's just the influence. I'm saying like there's inflation cost too, because the cost of a Titan during BTEC-R was a lot cheaper than MTAC 2.
But this article has adjusted for cost.
But what is the M? Well, because
M2 is 23.6 trillion.
okay, and
BTEC-R is 11 trillion.
11 trillion. And
75
that is
M2
Titans,
was-
adjusted.
75 Titans were lost in
And you said
BTEC-R.
11 trillion. That is adjusted.
251 Titans were lost in MTEC 2.
Here's a
That
graphic.
we
It's
know
saying,
of.
it's saying
Yeah,
11
show
trillion
notes.
is adjusted for inflation.
It
though?
is, yeah.
Oh, okay. I
Yeah,
thought the-
M2
I-
M2 definitely
I thought 11 trillion was like just the
But-
flat amount, which I was
but
like,
here's
adjusting
the
for inflation,
thing.
it's probably close.
Here's
then,
the thing: is that M2 was the biggest battle that
Let's
has
stream
ever
vodka,
happened in the game.
Yeah,
And
5,600 people.
This dread fight that happened a couple weeks ago was about a fifth of M2 in just a fraction of the time. If
Sure.
that fight would have continued at that pace,
Right.
whew,
And like continued to escalate, which people were thinking it would, and that's why I think people were feeding
Nah.
more and more dread. You don't think
nah,
so?
it wouldn't. Nah, it was
I
never
think
gonna
in the early
escalate.
stages people were, and that's why it
No
escalated
one's
in the way it
got
did.
ships in position.
Well,
So
it's-
it
That's not
was-
true.
yeah.
it's
That's
weird
not
'cause,
true.
like,
One side definitely has plenty of ships in
Fortac A
position.
has got
Who's-
was 8
who's
hours
got
long,
super
and the
tight-
other one was
it's
long.
weird because like MTech 2, like I wasn't
in
there.
Ranger Pure Line Frat.
I
Yeah.
wasn't there for that. When that fight was going on, I was at work, and it's like, so I actually was not in
Wait,
MTech 2.
You talking about M2?
Yeah.
M2,
We
you were at
streamed it
work.
for 14
That was on
hours,
December
dude.
31st and January 1st. Was M2.
Yeah, he had to work that
Yeah.
night.
Well,
New Year's-
31st I worked.
Yeah.
December 31st and January 1st, you were working?
January 1st I don't.
You work on December 31st?
So
You should
MTAC 2
It's-
lasted,
Fire yourself.
was 16
It's,
hours
it's
long.
not a holiday for the
Fortac A was only
31st.
8.
New Year's Day is a holiday, not the 31st.
14.
This is the vice president of a major company, I'll have you know.
Like we get January 1st off. We don't get December 31st off.
But the crazy thing,
New Year's
so
Eve is
you
not
can-
a holiday. New Year's
You
Day
should
is a
argue
holiday.
with your brother about that.
if you look at that thing that I posted in the show notes, Drayden, for the for BTAC R compared to M2, look at the difference in Titans there. That is a testament of super capital
Yeah,
proliferation.
I'm
God
fine with that many
bless.
Titans dying.
And the
Like,
value
we're
for
busy.
Fortac A makes a big difference
But
because
look at
of
the
new ships
carriers
and
lost.
and the Navy ones.
In the other
Sure.
one.
Also, here's
Yeah.
the fun thing again. It was like a 4 to maybe 5 hour battle. Like it wasn't a crazy long all day battle, and there was so much destruction and so many people getting in on it. Like that was really cool. The servers held up really well. Now, granted, there was tie-dye for sure. Like I was there was tie-dye. We still had a bunch of fun and killed a bunch of shit. Like it was pretty well juggled. Didn't need to be an all-day battle despite all the shit that was hammering because both sides were counter escalating. That's how it developed to this. Like people were like, there was like 3 or 4 different escalations on dread counts.
Oh, you mean in Fortec?
Yeah, Fortec, sorry.
It was the thing is that so Horde and those guys were reshipping constantly. They SRP'd like 80% of all of their losses within 24 hours, and a lot of them were happening during the fight, to where people would just get handed a fully fit ship
Right.
to jump right back into the fight.
Sure.
And like the B3 Imperium side just wasn't doing that. They weren't pulling that same vibe, and they just weren't giving it everything they had.
I
Which
got
is
the
really
Graf
weird.
Talcon commercials ready to go. I want to play these.
Yeah.
Well, you can finish your thing though real quick. Though.
I would just say that's really weird because, obviously, the landlord side, RMTs most of their money. How could they have, these kind of resources, just around to support their members? But
Yeah.
it's weird.
And how could they have members to PvP if they're all botting?
Exactly. They were all botting.
I don't get it.
They're all crabs, all renters, of course.
You talking about frat?
No, just the
and
entirety-
Because
The
pandemic
entirety of
was the
anyone
lion's
that's not
share of those people,
Imperium.
right? Yeah.
anybody who's not Imperium at this point.
Yeah.
I'm going to bed.
Bye,
Why?
Elby.
Why?
No, buddy.
Bye,
Good
Elby.
night,
Elby.
Morse.
I'll see you
Good
soon,
night.
sir.
Yeah, dude, we're gonna
We'll
see
see you
each other
soon, yes.
I'll see you fucking soon.
Yep.
Sweet dreams.
We're gonna go get some
Peace.
Irish coffee
Why are you gonna
at like
watch
So
it?
7
geez, man,
a.m.
I want to go back to
Nice.
FanFest for just
Is
one
Darwin
second.
still here? Can we
Yeah.
find
No,
Irish
he had to
coffee
go.
at like
He
7
had to
a.m.
go.
in Iceland?
He left.
Okay.
I
we'll
don't
figure it
think
out.
7 a.m.
If you guys don't go to the Eve Forever evolving technology that powers Eve Online and give us the lowdown, I'll be pissed. They are going to talk about
Yeah.
the challenges of keeping the servers going based
Okay.
on the 2 recent examples. So I actually would like to. Hopefully they'll stream
Sure.
that one. And then I got a question for you.
Okay.
Do you like to be told what to do?
Depends on the topic.
That's true.
If it's eating lunch, I don't like to choose what I'm gonna do for lunch at work. I work in an office now, and so I eat
what
lunch
about
every day. I didn't
mandatory?
used to
What
do
about
this.
mandatory fun?
So when people are like, "What are
Bam.
we doing for lunch?" I'm like, "I don't care." Like, just
What about
let's go
mandatory fun? You have to have fun. It's
Mom.
mandatory. That's a
Depends.
crazy way of describing this.
I don't want you telling me to have
Don't
fun.
you can't tell me
Mandatory
what to
fun.
Talk
do.
about fan fest.
Mandatory
down
fun
there.
sounds
It is.
unfun.
It's
Well, then talk about FanFest,
It
you
is
goon.
If you
goon.
have
I am.
to do it,
Thursday,
then it stops
December
being
21st.
fun.
Community
Yeah.
fun powered by Worldline. I don't know what that is. And the description is mandatory fun with the Eve community team.
Mandatory
hell?
fun.
I like the
What could
phrasing.
that be?
I
And
know,
I
it's like
assume
worrying
I'll
me.
You
enjoy
will
it.
enjoy yourself. You will
I assume
like
I'll
this.
Have
Um,
fun.
But you gotta hang
or
out with
else.
with
Or
Swift
else.
too,
State-
probably.
The state has
Earlier-
you know that you will have a good time.
You will have
What's the-
fun.
what-
You
Period.
will.
What's
Earlier,
that?
Whether
that-
you
know-
want it or not, you
that-
will
that
have
That
fun.
KMFDM,
That's scary, right?
that KMFDM song where it's like the beatings will continue until morale improves.
Yeah.
You know, to be
Um,
completely fair, you've got B, you've got Convict, you've got Swift, you've got Zealous. That's at least that's 4 known.
I'm not
people
saying
that we
it
know are
won't be fun. I'm
Yeah.
not saying it won't
Yeah,
be
that's
fun.
that sounds like a lot of fun.
You can't. Don't tell me what to do. Maybe I want to be miserable.
Remove assets. They
That's
kind
fair.
of did.
I don't
but very
wanna have fun.
situationally.
I don't want to have fun. Don't tell me what to
It's
do.
a
You can't make
situational.
me have fun.
The thing
But you're
that was,
correct. That's a fun
It'd
group.
be
not my
hard to
real
remove
dad.
It'd be hard to fully remove asset safety completely because there's a lot
way.
of like I don't see them being able to do
The
that
climate.
without causing a bunch of people to say fuck this game. You know,
Since
so
it's
You
been-
can't turn
since
this
it's been
already small
implemented-
game into Iron
if
Man.
you
This
make
is
it to
like-
where people could potentially lose all their shit while they're not home,
Yeah.
they're
'Cause it's
People
not-
who,
it's
Well, I
not
mean,
like
that's-
they
who
went
that's
from-
followed
way
the
it used to
American way
be.
and built up vast
That
fortunes
was
to become
part of
moguls.
almost
You
part of
can't
the
put their shit at
appeal
risk.
for some people, right?
It was
It's
some
like,
of the appeal, but at the same time, it's like, but if you're gonna live in the things like if you're gonna live in nullsec, there's a lot of people like, but if I'm at work or I'm sleeping and
get it.
I get attacked during off time hours, so people are just gonna not move their shit out to nullsec that's valuable and important to them, which means that they can't operate efficiently in the space that they
what
live in.
what I'm saying is
so
Would be a big check
CCP
on Nullsec Empires,
can't
though.
they've opened.
You can't put Pandora back in the box. I don't like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
But they didn't
yeah.
go from a
Like,
system where you
Asset
lost your
safety
shit
is one of those
to a
things
safety
that
system.
since
Yeah, I mean,
it's been
they-
introduced, you can't turn it off now.
yeah, well, I mean, they
Yeah.
have removed asset safety
This
with
is-
the abandoned structure thing, which I do like because it's
This
like
is
you know
the
what.
most
If
abandoned.
you go
and risky
AFK
it
for a
ever has
month, if
been.
you go AFK
Yeah,
for like
it's
a
not like they
month or
took it
more
away
on
from us,
end, and your shit just isn't powered anymore, and you just give it up and haven't played in a long time, and then someone's like, "Hey,
Or like
I'm
hell.
fine with that."
You
being
used to
looted.
not lose your shit in such a way. Like there was
But
fire
right,
sales
like-
in World War B
But I
one.
mean, like if you
Real
haven't
life
played
shit
in
was
the
trapped,
station.
but it was never lost.
if you leave
Even
your
if you
stuff
flip the
in a
station, you
Citadel and
get
you
it.
haven't played in months, then yeah, maybe you can lose it. But if you are like, hey, I'm gone for the weekend, and you come back, it's like, oh, all your shit's gone. It's like
or
fuck
if you
this
get
game,
like
you know.
But it's
deployed
not
or
necessarily
something,
gone
if you're in
most
the
of the time.
military and you
It
get
can
deployed,
be
like
if they get rid of asset safety, you could.
It can be. Yeah.
Of course,
No,
yeah,
no,
that's
no.
why
I
you
agree.
can't
I'm
like-
saying it can't be
I
now.
don't
Yeah.
like
Yeah, yeah,
asset
that's what I'm saying.
safety, but I absolutely understand why it exists.
I understand why it exists.
So did you
because-
hate it? Did you hate the fact that when you flipped the station that those people didn't lose all their stuff in that? Because it's not like it went
Oh, you
from a
mean back in
situation where you
Dominion
lost it
stuff?
all.
Yeah, back in
to-
the day,
to
it
a
was just
system where
it
you
was
don't lose it
trapped.
all,
It was
right?
trapped.
Not
but it was
necessarily.
gone.
You could
I
still.
mean, that's the thing is you
You-
could fire
you had a
sales,
jump
you
zone
could
there,
put
it
it,
wasn't-
you
back.
could put spies, you could
That's
put
the
alts.
thing. Even if it flipped like that, there was still an opportunity to get it back.
Correct.
Exactly.
That's what I'm saying. They
It was a
didn't go from a
much
system
safer
with
era for your
none to-
assets.
yeah.
Yeah, like it would still be in the station. You may not be able to dock there anymore, but you could still like remote sell it, remote contract it, fire sale
Yeah.
it, or
It wasn't
someone
just
that-
gone.
There was a lot
Yeah.
of like play around that. When we won World War B1, I spent the next year buying fire sales off goons. Because
Yeah.
they would
Oh,
just
yeah.
log in alts that you hadn't seen in forever and just linger in a system for a few days, and you'd be like, "Hey man, what's up? Like, what
And I
are you
think a
up to?"
lot
And
of
they were like,
all those people
"I have all this
assume-
shit around here. I'm trying to figure out what to do." And it
I
was
mean,
like,
that's
what do you want for it?"
when I was looking at my shit. I kind of just like totally went off the whole because I mean everyone's looking for a good fire sale, right? Because it's someone's just like, I'm just looking to get something out of this stuff I can't
A lot of people were.
access. And you're like,
And that was a
I'm
whole
looking to get a bunch of
gameplay
shit
mech.
for like dirt cheap prices. And so, you're always willing to find someone at fire sale. When I was liquidating all my stuff, I was like, hey, I have like 4.5 billion worth of shit here. I'll sell it to you for like 2.8 billion. And they're like, done, bam.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah,
Everybody's happy.
I didn't get as much out of it as I could have, but you know what? I'm getting IS quick, and I'm just
I
getting
got a
rid
clean
of shit.
slate,
Yeah,
and I'm
it's
going
like
to line
not-
staging, and people are going
Yeah.
to help me get back on my feet. We're going to have a good time.
Yeah, it's kind of just more of like I don't want to go through the super long, shitty process of trying to milk as much money as I can out of it. I'm just looking like, you know what? I can't get this. I want to get rid of it.
I don't know how long till goons get their victory tour and come back and conquer Declan, so I'm just gonna sell this shit.
I don't think
Well,
they're
that's,
going
that's
to
exactly what I'm trying to say. A lot of people just thought that we're done. We're pushed into
If they were
Losec.
trying to conquer
Well, there's no way
Declan-
we get that shit back. Let's just go sell
If they were
it.
trying to
Right?
conquer Declan, they wouldn't be helping Volta save it.
No, well, all these years later, that's the funny thing is like,
Oh.
no, they mostly just it took about a year because I saw it a lot where people were like, nah, we'll be fine. Like, we'll be right back. And it was like, no, you guys got handily, like, you're going to have to rebuild for a little while. And they did. And they did a great job at it. But it was, they didn't come back and conquer their former space or anything. Like, over the next year, people were like, okay, what do you give me for it? You know, like I'll sell this various shit that's just trapped away in these outposts because back then there was no asset safety, but the assets were never lost. If you believed and you just wanted to hold on to it, you could wait until goons had access to that area again. Of course, until the game mechanics changes and Fortizars, you know, or outposts turn into Fortizars, and Fortizars could be either blown up or abandoned or et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
Like that was such a huge change, and honestly, I kind of wish they wouldn't have. I think like the changeover of a bunch of people who had like T2 BPOs and stuff that maybe again like had been deployed, had stepped away, had health issues, you know, whatever. Like the fact that they changed the game in such a huge way,
totally
I'm still
okay with them getting finding like I don't know how you do it, but finding a way to just get rid of all the T2 BPOs. I don't. I mean, at this point, it's like, but you could reimburse the people that have the. I don't even care if you just fucking pull ISK out of like ether and just reimburse them for what they're probably worth.
Here's a flat rate of what a high-end BPO is.
It's like, okay, you've got a cursed BPO. Here's like 600 billion. I don't care if you give that person that much ISK.
I mean, I do. Don't give the.
I don't like. I would rather them just have a bunch of ISK, but get rid of the T2 BPOs because they have such a corner on the fucking BPO on the production market where it's like other people that have to do invention and they're not getting the perfect, you know, unlimited runs of what these other BPOs have. It's like they're always at a disadvantage from the people that have those. And so those people that have those BPOs have a corner on that market that no one else can touch.
Pulling the ladder up kind of behind you.
The only thing that prevents them from like owning the whole market is just the lack of ability to like, you know, completely make so many. But I mean, they can still make a bunch. At this point in the game, it's probably as fair as it's ever been. Produce them, and so it's like get rid of the T2 BPOs. You should have to have invention, which gives you limited runs and not as good of material and time bonuses, and like you also have the failure rate, and you have to have the cost of the decryptors and all this stuff. Like that should be a fucking thing that comes into production. And I don't think the T2 BPOs exist or should exist, and I know that they do, and it's like, well, what do we do now? It's like fucking take them away from the people and give them a shitload of ISK in compensation. I don't care.
At this point in the game, they're
I don't
not
even care if you give someone like half a trillion
ISK
or a trillion ISK to like reimburse them. That one person's rich as fuck.
Oh, I do.
I don't care. At least they don't have that which fucks up the market on that ship anymore.
You think somebody with overnight 20 trillion ISK isn't just gonna fuck with the market?
Well, and the thing is, like, they probably have like shitloads of fucking copies of the things made.
That's what you're supposed to do. You don't put it in build because
I know you don't put the actual BPO in build, but I'm saying like
keep it in constant copy.
But the thing is, like, yeah, it's like, but get rid of all the copies then. I don't care. Like, I don't know.
At this point, I agree. They're very antiquated, but also they're like the least influential that they've ever been in our gameplay lifetimes. Because a lot of those have just gone inactive. A lot of those have been destroyed, et cetera, et cetera.
Some
like at this point,
but they still exist. You can still find them.
And I'm not saying they don't have any effect, but they have the least effect they've had in our gameplay lifetime.
I mean, I've seen some of them on contract for sale, like T2 BPOs, and it's like they're on contract for like 400 or 500 billion, but they're worth a lot, and so people don't necessarily buy them up.
They're not worth that.
They're probably not worth that. I mean, the amount of production you'd have to do to get that ISK back in profits is just probably not worth buying them anymore. But
the only way T2 BPOs work on the valuation that they are is being the bag holder, right? It only works if eventually you can turn around and sell it too. You have to do a bunch of years of copying and essentially many years of production to make money out of it. You know, you don't have to, but like you can make money out of it. The real money is when you turn around and get rid of it.
Which is weird because when you
You
look
want to
at
make money the whole time you have it, and then also turn around and sell it for more.
when you
than
look at the
bought
market
it
of
for.
BPCs, you would think that that would be like honestly, if I had to be a Tech 2 BPO, that's where I'd be trying to make money, not necessarily like producing the objects. I'd be making money just copying and selling the BPCs to people that
I
actually
don't
want
think
to build,
there's enough
build
value
this shit.
there.
You don't think so?
I don't think so. I think you have more value by being the guy.
I mean, you spend a few thousand making a BPC and sell it for like, because I mean, some of them. I mean,
so
I found like
if you built and
industrial
sold
character-
those ships, you'd make more.
Well, I'm saying like I found my industrial character that's been he had a bunch of Tech 2 BPCs that he had invented on that I'm just like I'm never gonna build these, so I'm just gonna sell them. And I was underselling them because I was like finding contracts, see what other people are selling that thing for, and I'm like I'm gonna sell it for 2/3 of what this guy's selling it for because it'll just move it faster. I'm looking to get rid of them. And it's like some of the things like where like Ishtars and Curses and Hawks and BPCs like that, like you could sell them for several millions, and that's like, you know, where it's like 4 runs, 3% material efficiency, 2% time efficiency. If you had a, you know, X number of runs, 10% material efficiency, 20% time efficiency, or whatever it is, like you could sell that shit for so much more.
I don't think that there's that much market for that because of how easy and approachable invention is.
Well, the thing's like, but when I put those BPCs on contract, they sell within like a day or two.
How
So,
long ago was that though, Drayton?
This last week or two.
Really?
Yeah, I've been selling
like even low level like assault frigate level BPCs were selling pretty well.
Yeah, I sold Hawks. I sold
That's interesting.
Harpies, Sabers,
I built
Cerberus,
most of that shit.
Cerberus,
Like, I invented them,
Vulture, Ishtar.
All right, I gotta bounce, guys.
See,
Yeah,
man,
Do you
have
have to,
fun
or are
next
you
week.
choosing
Be
to?
Have a
safe.
good time.
man.
I'll try to get hold of you before you go.
Yeah. So
Bye,
like
buddy.
when it comes to modules, probably not. You're probably not going to sell much of those. But when it comes to ships, they were actually selling well. Like I said, Hawk, Harpy, Cerberus, Ishtar, Curse.
But again, you're talking BPCs, right? BPCs. for the
BPCs,
ships, yeah.
Vulture. What else did I sell? It was selling a few of them. The Ishtar one sold a lot.
Were you actually running the numbers to make sure you were like doing okay, like making money on all of it?
No, no.
You know, after your fees and stuff.
These were just well, the fee, the are you talking about the contract fees?
No, like fees as in like you spend money to like invent things. And
Oh
make
no,
copies,
so
et
I
cetera,
was
et
not
cetera.
inventing and selling them to make profit. These were old invention BPCs I
Just
had
stuff you had
a
and it
massive
sold, you're saying.
stockpile of that I'm just like
Okay.
I'm not building these, I'm just getting rid of. So I'm sure
Okay.
I quote unquote lost money on these. But I'm just saying like
Okay, so that's an important distinction.
well, right, it is an important distinction because people have to price these things accordingly. So other people that are selling BPCs were like, I have to make money off of the decryptors, and you have to take into account the percentage chances of failing, and you just lose that decryptor cost completely. Whereas the BPO, the T2 BPOs, you just make a copy,
Yeah, it's all money.
guaranteed max values every single time, and for low, and the copying price is really low. So
Yeah.
you can sell, like if the people that have these Tech 2 BPOs could sell copies and just corner the market on the copies, and like they would just make a bunch of money for free.
I don't think
and-
they would make more money than like production though and
That's-
selling
I mean,
because
probably
their
not.
margin,
I'm just
their
saying, like,
cost basis would always be so much
But
lower,
you could.
and you get a little bit more margin at every like step of the game. You know what I mean? Between like invention and then production, and then put it on the market. Whatever. There's a little bit of margin at each little level that you interact with, which obviously for them they'd have maximum margin because they don't have to interact with any middlemen and like necessarily along the process.
Yeah. No, Rain did not turn up. Tamber, Manic left, but yeah, Rain didn't show up. She might. She was. I think she mentioned she might show up, but she didn't. So
Also, we should probably watch those commercials. Just saying. 'Cause I
yeah,
know you get 'em
commercials. These are these are so good. I love these things. So this is why is it like that? Collaboration that Manic and recruiting or anything. It was just a for fun
just for fun
thing. That,
meme.
great. So here we go.
Drayden, after we watch the
Introducing
commercials,
Graph
I have a
Telco.
science question.
Oh, hold on. Wait, what? Well, there has. Wait. Well, we'll get to that in a second. No one's
I
redeemed.
said
one.
after we watch the commercials, I have a science question.
Oh, okay, okay.
Introducing Grath Telkin, your personal assistant from Pandemic Legion.
Hey Grath, I'm 15 jumps out. Can I still get in on the fleet?
How the f are you 15 jumps away? Why would you be 15 jumps away from where the f we are?
There's one.
Introducing Grath Telkin, your personal assistant from Pandemic Legion.
Hey Grath, can I have some ISK?
Yeah, if you take your broke ass outside and earn it, go f yourself.
Introducing Grath Telkin, your personal assistant from Pandemic Legion.
Hey Grath, is CCP ever gonna...
Never. It's never coming. Why are you so f stupid?
All right, one more.
Introducing Grath Telkin, your personal assistant from Pandemic Legion.
Hey Grath, what are the chances of 10% tie-dye in this fight today?
Have you never played this f***ing game before? There's always 10% time dilation for every f***ing thing.
They're short but sweet, right? Because you had a 15-second limit on your commercials.
The timing
for
of them
18.
is very good.
Man, that was like back in the heyday of Alliance tournaments when you had like the Camel Empire, where it's like it just had the.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Rain. Okay, Rain just got here. Rain, are you gonna hop on comms?
She's got here. That's funny.
She
People were
did
just
show-
asking about you.
Yeah, Tampa was just asking, like, did Rain show up? It's like, no, not yet. But
It's because she hates us.
I have to open them all. I don't remember all the fucking links.
Hello?
Hello, what's up?
Now he'll replay them. That's all you had to do.
Yo.
Oh. Are you guys doing the stream tonight?
No.
No,
Why not?
we took the night off. We're not doing open cons.
For
We were
is it
gaming
because of
together a little bit.
FanFest?
Yeah.
Yeah. We're all
Oh,
depressed
okay.
we can't go.
My Final
Oh,
Fantasy
look at
friends
you
say
with your
hi,
new
by the way.
bangs.
I know,
Hello,
all the
Final
bangs,
Fantasy
dude.
friends.
Are those new bangs or are those just like the bangs that like continue? You know, whatever. Okay, never mind.
I mean, I trimmed them, if that's what you're
You didn't.
asking.
You didn't
Oh, there
plant
we
new
go.
ones though,
They're
right?
fresh
Right. I don't think
They're
they're
not
new
hair
bangs,
plugs.
right?
I don't think they're hair plugs.
Okay.
No, they're not hair plugs.
She
I don't
said,
got,
this
like,
is
the
real
Taylor
as
Swift.
shit, bro.
I was like, those are the bangs she
These aren't
got.
fake, they're
It
not
was
new
like
at
it was
all.
like a was it a year
Dude,
ago?
do you like my shirt? It says, let's whine about it.
I'm
Wait,
here
it's
for it.
backwards. Fuck.
No,
No.
Oh, it's forward for you
No,
guys.
no,
It-
it's
Okay.
not.
yeah, it's only backwards. It's weird on Discord when you set it to mirror. You don't get the mirror yourself, but everyone else does.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Hold on. You're not Manic
It was good.
Velocity. You have to change
I
the
can
name
read.
real quick.
Yeah,
I'm the
Discord mirrors
female version of
your
Manic
camera
Velocity.
for you for some
That seems
reason.
mostly true.
Dude, how are you guys doing? Is everyone here going to FanFest except Drayden?
Yeah,
Me
I'm
and
not
Dom
either.
are not.
Okay.
I am
Dom-
also not
Ooh.
going.
I'm a terrible person.
And
Dom, Dom,
Milan's
two
not.
things. Are you doing the
I
bike
think
ride and are you doing
none
the
of us
wine
are good.
walk?
I didn't know about the wine walk. When's that?
October 6th,
Probably. Is that
Okay.
Saturday?
Friday.
Then I probably can. Yeah. I can't. Saturday I got season tickets for the Cyclone, so I don't know if it's a game or not. But the bike rides are Thursday. Yes. I don't know.
Introduce
Okay. Sorry, talking real life.
Did you
Wait,
see,
have you? What?
Oh, so, were you joking about the Grath Telkin commercials?
I had like tuned in, but there were ads, and I hate Twitch.
You could link
ads.
them so you can watch them
Oh,
yourself.
rip.
Aw.
Does this channel do ads?
Yeah,
No,
It's-
it's literally
it's
just Twitch.
It's
If
just
you don't do
Twitch.
it,
Oh.
Twitch will do it.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
I set it to no ads, but
gonna say, this never happened to me on this
Twitch
channel.
will.
I
Well, that's
put
because you're
pre-rolls
subscribed,
up.
probably.
Oh, that's a good. Point.
If you're subbed, you get no ads on channels you're subbed to. But if you're not subbed, when you start a channel, it will show ads. Even if the channel sets it to no ads, it will show pre-roll ads, and then it won't be any ads after that. But you can't get away from that. So,
Yeah.
which is funny because I'd be like, that's fucked up, but at least they do give us some ad revenue for that. It's about $5 a month that we.
If
get
you
for that.
run your own ads, then you get like $50 a month.
Yeah, it's more, but I don't like running.
It's
It'd be one
literally
thing.
free money.
It'd be one thing if it's like, okay, we're gonna take a break real quick and do something, and it'd be like, okay, we'll just play some ads, but like, I
You
don't
guys
want
need to have a scheduled stretch break to focus on your health and wellness.
like
You're all getting old, and like you sit in the chair like
I'm never
gremlins and
old.
hurt your
This
back.
sounds
Mentally.
sounds
Act
real
rough?
preachy and great advice.
The older
and
I get
won't-
physically,
I
the
won't have
younger I
any
get
of it.
mentally. I'm gonna be a fucking
I am
toddler in 10
physically
years.
attacked here, Rain, and I do not appreciate this kind of
Everyone's
verbal
like, why am
violence.
I
I
feel
old,
every
dude?
ache that you're alluding
I
to,
hurt so bad.
Yeah.
and I don't appreciate it.
I don't hurt it all. I used to
It
get
was
really high.
I didn't even get to the LIGO tour. Oh, I went to
That-
LIGO.
Oh yeah,
Yet.
the Ligo.
Yet.
LIGO. It's LIGO.
Yeah.
The lig your nuts, dude.
The Lig My Nuts tour.
Wow.
Why would you do that?
Dude,
Because
so like
I
I saw
can.
that and like I was like, should I know what this is? And I googled it, and it actually looked pretty neat.
Yeah, no, it's
Yeah.
really cool. So it's the I can go to a brief rundown. Do I have to get the science code for this? Redline said he had a science question for me.
Yeah, but we were in the middle of saying something. You
I
didn't.
do
finish
have
it.
a science question.
What's the science question?
Is it real?
Is it in the
So-
UAPs?
Don't fuck around.
Did
but
you
is it real?
So
push the button?
if
I don't think
something
you
in
paid for it.
space is super heavy, right? If a super heavy thing is in
Massive.
space, can a super light thing pull it? Like
You
can
mean like gravity wise?
Yes.
can a super
Talking about
light
mass-wise,
thing
yeah.
I'll get
move
the
super heavy thing without any effort at all?
well. Okay.
not
let
without
me
any
let me
effort.
get the code. You know what? I even downloaded the sound. Hold on. I can play this sound. The sound.
I was gonna
file.
say, do we need to try to like ad lib this?
I have the sound file, but
I'll sing along.
I didn't get
I've
it set
provided
up.
Stick it in the
a
soundboard.
file.
Well, I know. I
Dude.
downloaded. I just didn't get it set up on the OBS.
One of
to
my
play.
Final Fantasy friends said J Space. Do you think he actually plays?
That
No.
sounds like Eve player because no one else would call it J Space.
Do you guys have? Oh, you don't have the logos anymore. Oh, never mind. I was gonna say if
Oh,
he had
wow.
like a PL logo or like an Init logo, he might recognize it.
Oh, not on the name tags anymore. Yeah.
Yeah.
I really liked Manic's solo cup, and that makes me sad every time I don't see it.
He was flying solo.
Flying
Ha, ha.
solo, flying solo, solo.
Great and the science man.
Just say go fuck yourself.
Great and the science man.
Are you doing Great and the Science
Great,
Man?
great.
We're building up.
Science rules.
He's not as fast as Manic is. He can't do it.
He's playing it.
Oh wow, that soundbite struggle. No, it stopped.
It started and then it stopped.
I didn't hear it at all.
It went for a very brief period.
I'm not
But look at
listening
him,
to the
but doing his
stream, so-
buttons like thinking he's got time for the song.
We have to act like
He's
we're
hustling.
jamming, dude.
I'm doing nothing of the sort.
Oh,
I'm just gonna
shit!
sit Here.
Traden, that was
Alright.
perfect timing, dude. You
Was
came
it?
in
Oh my
right at
God.
the end.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, I'm all set. So you were talking about can a smaller object pull a larger one in
Yes.
space?
So like
And you're not talking about
for
size, you're talking about
instance-
mass and weight, right? Because
yes.
well, weight is relative to other objects, but mass is like how much stuff you
But
have there, how much
I don't
gravitational
mean
pull
like
it has.
gravity. I don't mean like gravity. I mean
What's wrong with
like
Griff?
I mean like a tugboat.
Well, that's
Oh.
You mean
Very
like
small tugboat.
physically pull or like gravity pull?
If
tugboat's
a
mostly
super
push,
small
despite what you
thing
think.
pushed or pulled a super big thing, would it move?
You're talking like if
Yes.
a
Okay, so
chihuahua
that's
ran
actually
into
easy
an
one.
elephant.
Yeah. Well, I mean, both would have been easy, but yes, you can. The thing is if you're pushing or pulling, you have to be exerting a force against it, either pushing into it or pulling against it, which means like rockets on the back or something that you're pushing off of. And any amount of force that you exert
Helps or
will
affects.
push or pull something. But the thing is, like, it depends on how much force you're exerting, because and at that point, it doesn't really matter how much small of an object you have, because the force being that you're exerting is what's actually being pulling on the object or pushing on the object. But the thing is, like, if you have this, let's say, like something the size of the Earth, and you have like a fucking rocket pushing against it, you're not pushing you might have like some, you know,
The Saturn
thousands
V's not gonna
thousands
push
of
the Earth.
newtons of force, which is like a
It
lot
will.
compared to me, but not very much compared to the Earth. That's like peanuts. That's like throwing a piece of sand at a, you know, a boulder. Like technically that does exert a force on it, but it's almost nothing. But in space, now a boulder on the planet, a piece of sand's not going to move it because it's anchored to the Earth with gravity, and like you're not gonna, like, the sand is not going to dislodge it from its friction and gravity of the Earth. But in space, where there is no friction necessarily, you throw a piece of sand at something, it will move it, but the amount of force that sand is hitting the object is probably not going to move very much unless that other object is another piece of sand. So
Yeah, so like I don't mean like molecularly move it, as though like, oh, technically the
you
deepest
mean
of
like
deeps.
move it in
I
a
mean, like,
noticeable
can it
amount?
move it?
Like
Could it pull it?
you
I like
want
to
to move it,
Like
you
a
know.
tractor beam kind of thing.
If you have
Okay,
enough force, yes.
Yeah, so it requires a certain amount of force. So something the size of the Earth would require a massive amount of force to move it. But if you had that much force and energy to move it, you could. But good luck finding that much, because the
eventually
Earth is
the
fucking
billionaires-
huge and really massive. So
Eventually, the billionaires are going to become trillionaires, and eventually they're just going to build things that just like
if they
modify
throw
orbits.
enough money
And it's
You
real
wanna know
physically
where
at the
that
planet, they'll
question
move
came
it.
from?
Like,
real fuck.
they just have to throw all their
Maybe-
money at it.
Maybe if I explain where the question came from. So I saw a post that was asking about drones in EVE Online that could bring wrecks to ships.
Oh, you mean
Oh, I
like
saw that
tractor
earlier,
drones?
too. Yeah.
So
Tractor drones.
I
So
mean,
I
like
was
that,
thinking,
it's the same
like,
thing
I
as
was
like
thinking, would that physically be possible?
it could if the tractors had enough energy, like had
But see, wouldn't the tractor just pull the small thing towards the big thing at that
well,
point?
it depends.
Why are you asking
yeah,
that,
how do you
Redline,
anch-
when like
You'd almost have to have
Titans-
counter thrusters or something, right? To like
here's the thing.
stabilize yourself.
Correct,
like,
yes.
when you think of tractor beams in sci-fi, it's very easy to think of them as like, oh, you shine this beam and it pulls things. But when you think about it in an actual physics standpoint, it pulling something needs to have some kind of like attractive energy of some kind. Now, gravity is like one of the
Yeah, it's
easiest
called the
ones to
tractor
do.
beam. That's what he's saying.
But
I got a lot of attractive energy, honestly.
That's right.
Yeah, no lie, no lie.
You guys
Yeah.
set yourselves up for
you,
that.
yeah, so it's like you either gotta have a lot of energy or just be smoking hot, like that. Like that's, or you know, I'm just saying, like, so
Just call a spade a spade.
what I would now, I don't know if this is true, but like, one way I would think of a tractor beam working is it creates a center of gravity, essentially, that pulls something towards it. Now, if you are already at that spot, you're not really getting pulled anywhere because you're already against it. But that thing that's farther out there is now getting pulled to you. So it's not you yourself pulling something. It is this gravitational center that you've created right on top of yourself, but the downside with that, if you go with that level of thinking, well, you would have to make a sizable enough massive amount of gravity to pull that object, which could
So-
essentially be too massive to be safe for you to be around. And
listen,
also,
Jaden.
they might just
I
not
gotta-
necessarily pull something directly at you. It might cause it to like orbit and slowly orbit in, which so
Then
I
turn
gotta
into a missile.
apologize. I gotta apologize because up until about 55 seconds ago, I forgot that tractor beams weren't real.
yeah, they don't exist.
Wow.
He's
Which is
like,
fair,
he's like,
which is
he's
fair.
like, would it technically be possible while like Titans are affecting gravity on fucking planets that
I
they
just
like
Yeah.
Dino to? Like, bro,
Yeah.
I
what?
have been watching nothing but space shows for like the past 6 months, so I think it's real
What's
now.
what's your
and that's
favorite?
Bad.
What's your favorite space show?
So far, Star Trek: Strange New Worlds,
Ooh,
I'm not
I haven't
familiar
seen
with
that. I haven't seen that
but I
one.
also really liked the 100.
I'm on season 3 of that. How far did you get?
I have watched it all like 3 times
Okay,
in
I
the
got-
last year.
I got kind of mad somewhere in there, so I stopped
Wow.
watching. But I should
Big
read
mad?
it.
It's
That's
like
fair.
it's
I
a
was like,
great
what?
show.
I was like, why are they doing this thing? And I don't know.
It gets worse.
I haven't
okay.
seen
Wow.
Altered Carbon, but I'm intrigued by the idea
Altered.
because it's very similar to like Eve clones.
I heard
Altered
good things.
Carbon
Yeah, there was-
season
yeah,
1
it was
was
pretty good.
fantastic. Season 2 could have been
I still liked it. but it wasn't as good,
unreleased.
yeah.
I also still haven't finished that last season that The Expanse did.
The
I
Expanse is
started.
fantastic
That's
as well.
fun.
I
That's
love The
really good.
Expanse, and I watched all up until the last season. I think I watched like the first 1 or 2 episodes of the last season. I didn't watch the rest of it, but I really need to because it's good.
I was listening to those books. I was not prepared.
Yeah,
No,
I
nothing
really
to
liked The
prepare you.
Expanse. I also really liked the effort The Expanse put into, because I mean, like when it comes to sci-fi, you can't go on actual real physics. You have to allow some sci-fi leeway, but
Embellish a little.
yeah, you have to just, because you don't want to get bogged down in realities, because then it makes it
Fucking
really
space time. Who wants to
uninteresting.
get stuck in space time?
Well, it makes it really
The
uninteresting
Expanse
because the
impressed me with
physics,
that, though.
the real life physics
Good.
makes certain things just not really possible, and you want to have some things just be really cool, and you can't have that if you apply real physics. But
That's fair.
as far as sci-fi goes, The Expanse did a really, really good job. It's probably one of the most accurate shows I've seen sci-fi wise.
They even
that goes
accounted
on
for
real
the
physics.
delay in comms transmissions. between
Comms
Earth and Mars.
transmissions, also just
They
like
said it'll take 35
it's
minutes.
not like
for the
most
message
space
to get
shows. It's like,
through.
oh, you accelerate, and then when you stop accelerate, you come to a stop. It's like you don't come to a stop in space. Something has to stop you. Whereas in The Expanse, like, oh, like they accelerate, and then once they get halfway there, they turn around and start decelerating and
That's
burning the opposite
Eve.
direction, and that is what you have to do.
Yeah.
Like if you want to slow
Counter
down, you
thrusting.
have to like start burning the opposite direction that you were going to like slow yourself down.
That's
for a long
also
time.
true, by the way, if your capital bumps. Just so you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not controlled
That's
space.
where we
you
know
double
this
click
from.
the opposite way. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, you burn. Yeah,
It's
'cause
way
then you're,
better.
Then you're applying your
Way better.
ship's thrust to counteract your motion. Yeah.
Good looking out, Rain.
Yeah.
That was a deep
However,
cut.
you only need that constant acceleration if you wish to maintain gravity.
You're making fun of me. Fuck you.
No,
No. That was legit.
that was actually like that's a decent tip that a lot of people don't realize. I
Oh
still
yeah, that's true.
here
Yeah, a
real
lot of people
quick.
just like,
I
oh,
still
I gotta
to this
stop
day.
control space. It's like, no, you will stop faster if you burn the opposite direction. Yeah, that's absolutely true.
I still to this day come across people who talk about aligning, and they mean pointing your ship towards something and stopping.
That's not aligning.
Ooh, no, that's
We know this. We know this, but not everybody knows this. And back in like the early mid 2000s or something, whatever. Like this has been a discussion for fucking 20 years.
Yeah.
But that's the thing is like most people just perpetuate this idea, and I know because when I first started the game, that was an idea that it was like, oh yeah, you hear somebody say something, align to something, you point your ship at it, and you stop.
yeah.
But it's like, no, that's not at all how this works.
Zygopophocele in chat saying, should a frigate be able to move a Titan, or should it be treated like a missile and just pop? A Titan or a frigate would actually technically move a Titan, but like again, it's essentially a
Stop
relation.
bump.
It's a relation
Keep it
of.
range.
It's a
Hold up. Counterpoint. If you
Oh.
ram 200 frigates into a Titan, should the Titan technically die? Like as though the frigates were missiles, like kamikaze
Death by a
missiles?
thousand cuts.
Not if
Yeah.
the shields are up. Not if the shields are
So
up.
I got an answer for
'Cause
both.
you wouldn't be hitting the ship itself.
So should it move a Titan? Yes, it would technically. But it comes down to
Like a negligible amount.
masses, and it comes down to force, which is like velocity and mass. So like you could have a smaller object hitting something and it applies a certain amount of
drones
force,
move
or if
the
you have
wreck?
if smaller object, the faster you're moving and the more massive.
Could the drones move the wreck?
I have to talk with my hands, but I'm just saying.
He's a weatherman.
I know I have to move with
You
my.
got the low pressures
It
moving
helps
in.
me. It helps me illustrate my thoughts.
I
right?
love it, Drake. Don't you stop.
But I'm just saying,
could the
like,
drones
so
move
the
the wreck?
mass of your object, along with how the force, the velocity, so how fast you're going, those combined determine how much total energy, kinetic energy, you're putting on an object. And so, yes, even a frigate going somewhat fast will move a Titan. It's just the Titan is massive and huge, and the frigate is very small in weight. And even if it's not going very fast, it will move the Titan, but it could move it only like feet,
Right.
Whereas another capital running into it could move it kilometers, because
What an ass.
maybe the capital is going
Keep it
slower,
range.
but it's way more massive, so there's still more energy there. So
Battleships too. Keep it range. Don't fuck around.
yeah.
Oh, I guess it's literally just bumping.
Yeah, and then what was the thing you were saying, right?
Because like if you bump a Titan with a small frigate, it'll go.
You were talking about a bunch of frigates should kill a Titan. It depends on it depends on defenses. Like, do the ships blow up on its shields, or since they're not weapons, they get through and hit straight on the hull? And then also it depends on like how fast are they going, because again, the faster, even if you have a small object, if it's going very fast, it can apply a lot of force. So like something the size of a truck going 100 miles an hour is going to apply a lot of force. But if you have like a ball bearing going like a quarter the speed of light, that's going to cause like exponentially way more damage. I mean, I think I was watching a Scott Manley thing.
You have a microscopic hole in it.
I was watching a Scott Manley thing. Like, I think he took a thing where like it was like the size of a ball bearing, and he launched it like half the speed of light, and that would actually cause like
devastating thing.
Not like world-ending extinction level events, but like that could cause like a massive explosion, like nuclear, like think of like a thermonuclear.
Universe Sandbox right here, Drayden.
Yeah, that's he was using that, but he was actually using something else because Universe Sandbox does some style of calculation. He was using a thing that uses a bunch of like individual spheres on like super microscopic levels that makes it a little bit more easier to determine what happens to massive objects as far as forces. But it's like if you take something like the size of a 1 inch or a half-inch ball bearing and launch it at half the speed of light at the Earth, it could cause like the energy release of like a thermonuclear explosion. Because it's not a very massive object, but it's going so fast that the amount of energy that's released when it hits is ridiculous. So,
I mean, let's be honest.
I haven't got to the LIGO stuff yet, but
I would love to think it could drive a hole through the Earth, but I don't know that it could.
No.
What about a bowling ball?
That was the video I was watching. So Scott Manley was actually looking at like what would it take to punch a hole through the Earth.
Is it wild?
So the thing is like you can't do it with like a single spherical object necessarily without destroying the Earth completely.
How fast is the speed of light, Drayden?
These things,
it's
what's
just
done is done.
Shy of like 300 kilometers per second. It's like 299,000 like 980 something kilometers per second.
Okay, so 200 and
So
150,000 kilometers would be enough.
300,000 kilometers per second is what you should.
So definitely more than what you would fire out of a slingshot.
So I'm gonna fire a bowling ball at Earth at half the speed of light.
Okay, so 150,000 kilometers per second.
Yeah.
Okay, see what happens.
Are we gonna show the stream?
He's not showing on the stream.
Okay, hold on.
Do you want me to show the stream before before I
Wait,
press pause?
Wait, can we do? That's not a bowling ball. That's huge.
Oh shit! Where did it go? I lost it. Oh, there it is.
Can we do a shot to the bowling ball?
I think we should.
Yeah, the bowling ball's gonna get obliterated.
Let me go get my
There we
shot.
go. I got him.
Well, let me go get my shot. Fuck.
There he is.
Did we all see like Mystery Men with like Janine
one else has seen
Garofalo
it.
throwing
Wait,
the
what's
bowling
the
ball
name
with
of the
their
bowling
dead
ball?
skull in it?
Bowling ball.
Bowling.
It looks like the moon.
That's what you named your lucky bowling ball?
Did you turn
You
the
should call
moon?
it Luna.
Did you turn the moon into a bowling ball?
You should call it
No.
Luna for being like.
Yeah, it should be Luna.
You want me to call it Luna? Okay,
Yeah.
I'll call it Luna.
Wait.
Lucky Luna,
I
it's
don't
your
know
lucky
if I can
bowling
name
ball.
it actually.
Why
No,
can't
I
you
think
name it?
And it's
Because
What a
it's
shitty
not
Oh
an
my
product.
god,
just a
I have
bowling
pickle
ball.
juice. Oh my god.
All over your
Wow.
shirt?
All right,
I
are you
have
ready?
pickle ball. No, I'm drained. Or
You're
red
not
line.
ready?
No, hold on, pickles.
It's gonna go real fast.
Mm-mm.
Well, slow it down.
You have to wait.
That's all it did.
It probably has.
He did it without me,
You have to
didn't he?
allow
At this
time to
point.
go
I'm
because
so
it's.
So it was a sinkhole in the Caribbean? Like
How
that's all we got?
because here's the-
Okay.
Yeah.
Red line.
Is that
do
the
another
big blue
one.
hole? Or
Okay.
whatever?
Do another bowling
look,
ball.
no,
I'll
look,
do
there's
another
an
one
effect. No,
without
there's
another
an effect.
bowling ball.
No, wait, there's an effect happening because you put it too close
What's
to the
the
Earth, so you haven't allowed enough time to go by. Look at the red. There's
All
red
that shit that's in
burst.
space,
explosions
like on the
happening off
atmosphere.
of the surface. Look at that. Like you have to
Oh,
let time
snap.
progress because it hit the Earth in like a small fraction
What's
of.
all that? What's all that stuff?
Yeah, it's like it's
Oh.
God, now the
it's
Bahamas
Oh my
got-
god,
oh,
Red
wow.
line, you killed the Earth, dude.
Yeah,
All
no,
the volcanoes
see,
are going on.
this isn't
Luna
what-
killed the Earth.
This isn't what would happen because like there's nothing
Volcanoes
happening
are
at the
going on.
impact point. It's all stuff on the edge. So
Yeah, it caused a
Well,
bunch
it
of
all
leaks.
erupted.
So
It
wait,
all
why is
erupted.
there
It's
fire
7-10
on the
split, that's
Earth?
It's because it's,
exploded.
it's,
Because
it's,
the
The
energy
things are burning.
transfer
ignited.
Universe Sandbox doesn't do as well for like single like
So I guess since we should make
collision
a
on. It doesn't do well when you are talking about specific parts of a collision. It's kind of just more of like a, oh, this force hit here and therefore it causes this energy and it spreads that energy out and then cause.
So this is showing the energy.
Trainer, are you
so it may
telling me
not be
this tool is
fire.
This is
bullshit?
not necessarily accurate
That's what
because
he's
honestly, where that bowling ball hit the
No,
Earth
of
would
course
be a
it's not
massive
necessarily
crater.
So wait,
accurate.
would it cause a tidal wave, or would it just
Yes.
You would hope.
It would cause a massive tidal wave. So, like, where that bowling ball hit, it would
Overall,
have been a
everyone's
massive
fine.
crater, and yeah, like,
I don't know. The Bahamas looked pretty fucked there for a minute.
yeah? I
There's
mean, it
volcanoes
looks all
going off.
fine.
Good.
How many cities were flooded?
At least 3.
Yeah, there was a ton of volcanoes or something going off
Yeah,
there for a
it-
minute.
Is that
What
a?
about a cue ball at the speed of light?
I mean,
Probably
I would hope it pierced, but I don't think
similar.
it'll go all the way through. I really don't.
Can we do
It
a
won't.
shot for the bowling ball and?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do it.
hold on, where's my shot glass? Wait, one second. What do I do
I'm
with
only
it?
doing
Oh,
half
it's
a shot because I haven't done shots.
They're
in
not
like
even
3 years.
landing.
I'm just drinking a drink.
Years.
Alright, well,
I
I
think
guess
you did
it's-
shots
Did
in
we,
NOLA.
did we do shots in NOLA?
Yeah, you did.
Trina, I got blackout drunk off of
I
one
know
drink
you did
in
shots
NOLA.
Yeah,
that
you were
night
doing
when,
shot.
when you bribed that.
Oh, yeah, we did
security-
picklebacks. Yes, I
Yeah.
bribed that security
You
guard.
bribed the
guys missed
security
that.
guard to get us into that club, and then immediately got us kicked
Got
out.
kicked out. That was such a good story, though.
I
That
had
was
to
so
be
funny.
both
That
my
was
greatest-
so.
Look
You
at
guys
me
are
now.
like, you guys are like, Rain is the greatest person ever, and then you're like, now we're getting kicked out.
No, that was one of the single funniest things that happened that entire trip was the fact that,
That was
you
a
got
really
it.
good
best,
story.
the best was when Drayden was telling me, he's like, then you got us kicked out, and I'm like, oh no, dude, I tried to fight someone, whatever, and he's like, no, you went and bragged to the security guard.
The guard that wouldn't
The
let
guy
you
who
in with
denied
the
our
drink, and
entry,
then you're like, guess
once
what
we
I
got
got in
entry, you
with?
went
He's like,
and
guess where
bragged
you're
to
going
him.
out the fucking door.
I do not remember this.
And like,
Was
I was at the
there,
bar
or was I
buying a
really
drink,
I
so
thought
I'm like,
you were there, Malkev. I'm pretty sure you were.
no, he was at
I don't.
he was at the what was that last stop we made? It was like a Portugal.
Don't ask me, dude. I was blackout
No,
drunk.
no, it's Checkpoint Charlie. Checkpoint Charlie. Apparently, like
yes, with the monsoons, right?
Yeah, no,
Yes,
Portugal had the monsoons, but we had the monsoons that we brought to Portugal or Checkpoint Charlie. Checkpoint Charlie was the bar we were at, and apparently November says Checkpoint Charlie. Excuse me, Checkpoint Charlie is always like the last visit of the trip, and it's always where the most crazy shit happens because everyone
Yeah,
gets
he
shit
told-
faced.
He told us some terrible stories. I do not know how anyone survived that night, honestly.
Yeah, I
Okay,
thought it was
sorry.
funny that like
Remember.
it was like half a dozen of us were all like freaking out because your blood pressure thing was going off, and we're like, oh my god, we gotta save Rain, she's gonna fucking die. We're all
And none of you
panicking.
could read it, and then I look at
and,
it,
like, you
and
couldn't
it was
read it
fine.
either because it wasn't connecting to your phone right, and so
It's not supposed to be connected to my foot. It's supposed to be connected to this, and it
But
was
you-
fine.
yeah,
It was fine. I looked back on the
But
history.
we don't
it
know
was
how to
fine.
Nobody
read
else
it.
knew that.
But here's the who was the other guy that was diabetic as well that was there? I
I
don't
don't
think
know, I
he's, I
didn't
think
know
he's
there was
type 2
another
diabetic, but there was someone else that was there that was.
Was it
Half the
Daylox?
goons?
Yes, Daylox. Daylox was like, he was like, yeah, this is bad, and he was like, and it's like, okay, this other diabetic guy said this is bad, and so like we got it, and then we're like, holy shit, we got to get her back to the hotel, and then we're like, Delana, help us, and we got Delana to come, and like,
I just remember waking up in the hotel and Delana was there, and I was like, "Oh, thank God, I'm safe." Like, that's all
yeah, it was funny because like we were just like on this whole like it went from like we're partying at the bar to like mission save Rain and make sure she don't die tonight type of
I
thing.
wasn't even dying.
I know, but we were like, none of us knew any of your
Yeah,
stuff.
exactly. Nobody else.
And I
knew
was
that.
like, I have her mom's number, but I was like, I remember on the cruise, like talking with your dad, and like your dad was like, us and her mom don't even really understand all that stuff. And
They
I'm like,
don't. I got in a huge
and so
argument
my-
with them once, and they did not understand.
yeah, so like
it.
my
Yeah.
thing was like, I can't even call her parents for help. They don't know anything. So like our only option is figure it out ourselves or call an ambulance. I don't want to do that unless she's like, if she starts seizuring, we're calling an ambulance. But until
Yes,
then, like until then, we're gonna like, and then we were like, it turned into this whole like mission for the night, which was funny as fuck. It was hilarious, but it was funny that there was so many of us like all just like. And you kept trying to like, oh, I gotta go to the bathroom and like
Yeah, you guys would not let me go to the bathroom. My biggest fear is like
Pro God wouldn't. We were trying to like
because
find
he's a
you
man,
bathroom.
dude. He does not understand like lady bladders, dude.
But it's not even just lady bladders. It's like, I mean, like, if a dude's gotta go, he's gotta fucking go too. But the thing is, like,
If
he
the
was
dudes
like,
can piss on the street, I cannot piss on the street.
yeah, I would have just pissed into a gate or something. I don't know, but
You can squat behind a building.
But no, like
With what toilet paper?
Use
You want me
your
to like
shirt.
dribble piss?
Yeah. Use your underwear. No big deal. Throw it away.
You just
Dab
gotta,
yourself.
You
You'd
just,
be
gotta, you
fine.
just gotta squat and wiggle. You know,
Do a little shake. Yeah.
just do a little shimmy shake.
You guys would die as women.
I would not die.
Yeah.
No,
I might have a wet crotch apparently, but like I would be fine. I would survive.
You're like, how do women do this? I just
I'm
smell
talking
like
about
piss all the
surviving.
time.
You get out in the wild, you got to do it.
There are ways. I
You don't
watched-
carry toilet paper with you? I always
What
have
was
toilet
that
paper.
one video of the motorcycle? The
My mom
motorcycle
keeps
thing? I
napkins in her
watched it.
purse at all times.
It's funny because like there is a method, and it's one of those things like I would hate to like try and claim like I could show you how to pee without pee standing up without having it, but it's like I don't want to be like I know how women could pee, but I saw a
And they
video.
use a
No, I saw a video like it was like a thing. This
camping.
It was kind of like
Is it the shiwi?
well, no,
That's
it's
what
not the
my
shiwi.
assumption.
That's like a cup thing. But no, it was like that motorcycle. It was like the underwear thing where you could like pull them open and then do on the road thing. But it was for science. I watched this thing. It's like I
Does she know a pissing fetish?
No, I don't.
Do you?
A little bit of
That's
golden showers is
weird.
fine,
I
Trey.
don't.
You're fine.
No, it was. I was like,
You don't
yeah,
have to justify
how
yourself
do
to
you?
us.
And then I saw that I was like, oh,
He
well,
does,
that makes
actually.
sense. But anyway, what I was getting at though was, but yeah, actually, I don't know what I was getting at. What the hell were we talking about before?
You were peeing for ladies.
Oh no. So
Shot.
you
You
were
showing Rain how to
And
pee
Rain's
outside.
drinking.
yeah, shot.
doesn't know how
I'll
to
do
do
a
it.
shot. You were trying to pee, and
Look at
we
this
were all.
tsunami rain.
Okay.
I was sitting there
That's a
trying.
big tsunami.
It was like I was sitting there going, I was like, hey.
I crashed Pluto into Earth.
Dude, he blew
Oh
him
yeah,
half.
that would cause some
the planet's
damage.
melting right
It
now.
is getting wet now.
A little bit
But
bigger
you
than
know
a
what?
Rain
bowling
didn't
This
want,
ball.
isn't a
Rain didn't want to go to
bowling
the
ball,
bathroom
so I don't
outside
care
because
about
she
it.
didn't want to rain all over the parade.
Yeah. Dude, speaking of parade, we were doing that
Yeah,
Big
you
Titty
rained
Goth
all over
GF
it. Why'd you
tour.
do that?
And the guy's like, by the way, there's a parade coming, and there's just some people walking, and we just like were waving and shit. It was so much fun.
Hell yeah.
I remember that. That was
Well,
a good night.
But my thing
I
is
wish I
like,
would've
so
been there.
Proga was like, oh, she can make it. And I was like, well, she's really gotta pee. Like literally every single door we come up to, she's trying to go inside. Everything's closed on this street, and she's trying to go into locked doors to try and find a bathroom. She's gotta pee, dude. Like we gotta like find a bathroom. He's like, she'll make it. I'm like, how far are we from the hotel? He's like, 10, 15 minutes. I'm like, no, unacceptable. So I was like, there's gotta be bathrooms. It's fucking New Orleans. There's places open this late. It's not even
Yeah,
like
dude, they do it
it's-
in the alleys
It's
all
like
the time. I've been
midnight.
there.
It was like
Oh,
midnight.
that's why it
they
smells
do.
like piss.
There's a
yeah.
lot in the alleys.
Well,
Hey,
I know,
Jaden,
but I was like,
What's his app? What do we watch in the app? What's it called? Tamara wants to know.
this is Universe Sandbox. It's a program on Twitch or Steam. I'm sorry, Steam has it. But so I was like, well, but there's gotta be better. He's like, everything's closed on the street. I'm like, isn't Bourbon like 2 blocks that way? He's like, yeah. I'm like, why don't we go 2 blocks that way and find a place with a bathroom? And
Bourbon's really bad though.
but it's if you
It was late that night, wasn't it? Like
It's
it
a
was like
bitchy
bad.
bathroom.
it was
bad
like
time of
midnight
That's
to
where we
1.
found out about the
or,
alley.
like, it
Oh,
was-
okay, it's
But I
not
mean,
bad.
places were open. I was like, but we're just looking for a bathroom. A bar has a bathroom. And
Do they though?
no, they do. And we eventually went over there, and I was,
Yeah, no, they do. They're the
and I
long
was like,
lines,
I
is what
will
I'm
like,
suggesting.
because he's like, yeah, but they don't just let you have to like. I mean, you can use the bathroom, but we went to this one place, and you were gonna use the bathroom, and they're like, that's for customers only. I'm like,
I'll buy a drink and drink it, but I'm gonna have to piss quicker. So how are we
that's
gonna
what
work
I was
this
like.
out?
I'll buy a drink. Let her use the bathroom. He's like, okay. I'm like, fucking.
They always do that, dude.
I know it's like you'd think that
Where'd
bars
you get them
wouldn't
shoes?
even pay attention, but that bar
Where'd you
apparently
get
paid
them
attention.
shoes? On my feet.
But
Did you guys hear the Manic Velocity, like Chad's story? He was like, I remember it was after the cruise, and he was just walking along, like sunglasses on, not giving a fuck in the world. And some dude's just like, hey man, where'd you get them shoes? He's like, on my feet. And then
Oh.
he keeps walking.
yeah.
Like totally just
Oh,
shut
yeah.
the dude down and was like, fuck you, I got mine, let me go. Like, yeah.
I don't understand that. On
It's
your
a
feet?
real
No,
childlike.
no. So it's, hey bro, I bet
commentary.
you $20 I can tell you where you got your shoes. and you're like, oh yeah, man, he's never gonna know I got him from Target in fucking Minneapolis. So you bet him, and he goes, you got him on your feet, and then you owe him $20. And
Why
so
do
the
I owe him $20?
Because you
because
bet
he
him.
You might
gambles
get
that
jumped while
that
you're
you can't
drunk
tell
in a
him.
foreign city.
Yeah, but he
They're gonna jump
gambles.
me for $20?
You
No, he
might get. That's the
gambles.
fun with the
That's
implication.
that's a really low amount of money
It's
to
the
die for.
I don't know what I'd call it. It's the fun of it, though.
I mean,
it's a
good luck.
it's a bet. You make a friendly bet with somebody you just met, and then you get proven wrong.
Who makes
Yeah.
friendly bets?
So what you're
It's
saying
all
is you
super
I do.
friendly, and
friendly
that's why
bets.
the tourists hate it because it's real nice and friendly.
Anyways, Drayden, I'm gonna shut off this thing so your Discord window
After you
will be fine.
massacred half the planet with Pluto, you fucking
Make us all
monster.
watch it.
Yeah, you said a bowling ball or whatever it was. That was
Yeah, like what the hell? You
massacred
amped it up
the
real quick,
entire
dude.
planet.
I know it's not a
Well,
planet anymore, but like, there's a big
I
difference
sh-
between a bowling ball and Pluto.
That's
I
a good
know.
point. Yeah.
And
I
you just
know.
subjected the planet to Pluto, and that was really considerate, if I'm being
I
honest.
know.
Okay.
I'm sorry
Well,
about
as long
it,
as you know what
okay?
you did, I guess we're
It's not my
I guess
fault.
we're good again.
Well,
But
it is.
Dom,
I
Dom,
mean,
what
it
are you
is,
doing
but-
tomorrow?
Tomorrow?
I'm
I have
I'm
no idea
starting
what's up.
chess in the park.
You're what?
I don't know. What's up?
I'm gonna go to Des Moines for the zoo.
What time?
10 to 4, whenever it's open. I'm
Oh,
going with my
10
nieces.
too early.
Are you serious?
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna.
Dude, I gotta be up at 8. I gotta shower.
Drayden the Science Man.
You should.
Well, yeah.
Everyone leaving?
My nieces are gonna make fun of me.
Trey Jam, the Science Man.
I am fucking awesome to hang out. That affected the zoo.
Great.
It was cool.
I'll be there with
Science
Calzone.
rules.
BSF's Calzone.
Got my cup.
And my nieces.
Oh.
You got a cup, dude?
I got a cup there. Well, it's like a when you go to
Magic
museums,
cup.
they,
Oh, yeah,
they
tell us
it's
about
like
Lego.
most of the museums are like free, but they kind of like hope that you donate. I forgot to bring cash for that, so I was like, I'll buy a cup and a keychain. They pay some money. So the Lego
I'm
thing.
gonna dip. Was good seeing you.
Yep, see,
All
right?
right, yeah.
Have fun in
Yep,
the
see
old
ya.
Iceland.
Hey,
I
Rain.
will not be there.
Oh,
You're
that's
gonna-
right.
I got a
oh.
shitty boss, dude.
Then come up here Friday night.
You want to come on
Enjoy
next
it.
week?
Are you
Yeah,
coming
I'll
to Trash
do
Talk
that.
Tuesday?
Okay, yeah, because like it's just
maybe.
like me and Dom and Red Light next week. I think.
I got
so.
my Final Fantasy shit going on, but I can try.
On
Okay.
It'll
Friday?
be
All right, bye, Rain.
Bye.
Bye. Yeah, I gotta pee. I'll be right back, guys.
Yeah, the I got pictures too that I posted. I had a lot of fun at the Lego thing. I'm going to talk about it for a little bit, not too long. I'm not going to bore people.
Lightning.
Lego.
Yeah. Lightning.
What does it stand for? It's like laser interferometer gravitational wave observatory or something like that.
That's a mouthful.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go pee. I'll be back.
Okay. Oh, okay. Here's the pictures. Wait, where's the? Hold on. I have to find it.
Oh shit.
I have the pictures. Where's my Discord? Apparently I don't have a Discord thing on this one.
Would you like to play again?
No.
Aw.
I mean, I don't even know how I lost. It's been
What do you mean?
years since I played this game.
I got you with the checkmate, bro.
I see that now.
Got you with that wayward queen.
That's the thing is I have no strategy or anything. It's been years
Me
since I
neither.
played this game. Like it was middle school. I'll play you some poker.
Ooh. 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 Ooh.
Ooh yeah.
All right, there.
Ooh.
Not like not a liger. Yeah, those are
What
big.
checkers?
It's a lion and tiger.
Yeah,
It's an
lion and tiger.
abomination.
No, LIGO is so yeah. So LIGO is a observatory, but it doesn't use visible anything. It's not like your normal radio telescopes or visible telescopes or X-ray or anything like that. It doesn't use electromagnetic spectrum to see stuff. It detects gravitational waves. So essentially what you have is two long arms off in the desert at right angles. And there's apparently 3 of these. That's the one thing I didn't know. I knew about the one up here, and then there's one down in near New Orleans or Baton Rouge or something. It's in Louisiana, and there's apparently a third one in Pisa, Italy. Is the third one, and that's how they can detect specific spots of where their detections come from, because it's kind of like the same method as like GPS uses, triangulation, right? So you have one thing. If you have one site, all you can do just detect is like, we got gravitational waves. If you have a second site, it's like, we got gravitational waves, and you can use, like a parallax thing, like it came from this direction 2-dimensionally, but you don't get a third dimension. When you have the third site, which is in Italy, now I have 3 points, and I detected it at these specific points in all 3 of these, and you can triangulate to be like, it came from there. That specific direction, and when you triangulate all 3 in a cone to that spot, you get an exact distance, same way that GPS works with on your phone. Like when you use GPS, like there's GPS satellites, and you're always in range of at least 3 of them, and your phone detects the time signal from each satellite and runs essentially a calculation of like, this is where I am based on where those satellites are. So LIGO does that with gravitational waves. But so how LIGO works though is like, so you have these 2 long arms that are about 2.5 miles, about 4 kilometers length in each. And when a gravitational wave comes through, it essentially is like it's shrinking and stretching space-time. And so you will have the arms of these detectors shrink and stretch, so they shine a laser, it splits into 2 lasers down each arm, hits a mirror and comes back. And if they match up perfectly, that means that, there's no distortions, and therefore they cancel each other out. But if they come back and they're at different times, different wavelengths, they will now go through and get directed to a detector, an interferometer, they call it, I guess. And so that lets them know that there was shifts in one arm or the other. And that's the thing. So like, if one arm contracts and the other expands or whatever because of gravitational waves going through, it will cause differences in timings of these lasers coming back, and they can tell that a gravitational wave has gone through, because you'll never feel it yourself, because it's weird with space-time where like you could have space-time stretch you technically and you would never know it, because the space that you're in, it feels the same to you, but in relation to outside of the space you're in, it has stretched or contracted, and so you can't tell. But when you have things that go across these waves where the contractions and stretching of space-time is confined within those specific arms but not the entire length of it, you can now have differentiations in laser lights coming through. And so that's how they detect gravitational waves. Now, the thing that blew me away is how sensitive these detectors have to be. Because I always thought, like, okay, we have these big gravitational waves come through. Because so when you've been hearing in the news, of black hole collisions or neutron star collisions, these are the sites that are detecting those and detecting like the size of the collisions and what they're doing. Yeah, I will get there, Seema. Yes, it can detect vibrations very, very accurately. So these are the ones detecting that. But I was thinking, like, okay, so you have these gravitational waves coming through. What does it shift things like by like a millimeter or something like that? Oh no, way smaller than I thought. They across like 4 kilometers of space, these will usually cause big collisions of like giant black hole, like 30 stellar masses black holes and stuff like that, will cause space-time distortions of about 100,000th the size of a proton in an atom, which is like, take a millimeter, divide it by a billion, take that number, divide it by a trillion. That's the space that we're talking about in separation. So how the fuck these detectors are that accurate, I don't like. It blows my mind, the engineering that goes into this stuff. But and then the thing is, like, so also something I didn't realize with gravitational waves, I thought it was just like something that was made with these big objects. No, anything with mass in motion is creating gravitational waves. Me moving my arm like this is making gravitational waves right now. They're so small, you would basically never be able to detect those ever. But
without some LIGO equipment.
But even the LIGO is only able to detect like 30 stellar mass black hole collisions like billions of light years away. But like technically, this is making gravitational waves. But the thing is, like, so they had to make these detectors, and they once they made the detectors, they have to factor out one, the Earth is making Earth is a massive object, a very massive object in motion around the sun, so it's making gravitational waves. The sun is moving, so it's making gravitational waves. Other planets are moving, they're making gravitational waves. The moon. They have to account for all these factors and find out their essential signature and use programs to cancel out those readings as non-factors, which is how they do that. I don't know. Engineers, they do crazy shit. But also the building of this facility was insane because those 4-kilometer arms each, so they had to make they're about 1 meter in diameter, these tubes. They have to keep them in a perfect vacuum, right? Because light travels through a vacuum at the speed of light, but through various different mediums, whether it be atmosphere or water, it travels, or like prisms. That's why prisms can split light up. Travels at different, it's called a phase velocity. So they have different speeds of light through different stuff. So you have to have a perfect vacuum. It's like down to like a trillionth the Earth's atmosphere. So basically a perfect vacuum. And that's what they have to shine these lasers through. So the 1 meter tubes that go for 4 kilometers of steel, they had to make a perfect vacuum, which means that they had to have these tubes be a perfect seal, but also not be too expensive because they couldn't get a big budget for this program initially. So they had to find cheap ways of doing it. So they, they're like, how do you get a good vacuum for cheap? You don't go to big vacuum companies, companies that do like vacuum sealing on, industrial things. You go to steel contractors and just general places that know how to do really good welding and steel production. So they went to these cheap companies and they're like, they told them what they needed, and they were able to, so they went with this thin steel, and I guess it's like super low hydrogen steel. It was like very low hydrogen concentration, because if you don't have, normal steel has off gassing, I guess technically, so you could cause a perfect vacuum in your system, but then over time you'd have hydrogen off gassing coming off of the steel itself, and therefore now you don't have this perfect vacuum you need anymore because you have hydrogen gas in your system. So they had to go like super low hydrogen steel and then build this whole tube, which they had to have as a single piece, but it was like they basically did like a spiral about a yard thick of steel that they spiraled around to make a 4-kilometer tube, and they did that twice. But then they had to weld the whole thing all along the whole spiral, and to make sure the weld was perfect, because then you could have degradations in welds eventually through vacuums and various other stuff. And so what they had to do is they had to inspect every single millimeter of weld, but they couldn't do it with instruments. So what they did is they found these 2 Boilermaker guys in Chicago, because Boilermakers, like, you have to have really good welds in a boiler or else it's going to fucking explode. So Boilermakers are really good at inspecting solid welds. So they had these 2 Boilermaker guys they hired to come out, and they couldn't use instruments. They literally gave them a jeweler's loop, like the fucking little eyeglass thing that jewelers use to inspect jewelry. And they, by hand, and the thing's like, it's a 4-kilometer piece of steel, but when you do the spiral thing of the thing, it's 30 kilometers of welding they had to inspect millimeter by millimeter with a little eye tool. to make sure that the whole thing was precise. And anytime they found an imperfection, they would take that section and rebuild it and then bring it back. So it's just like that's the thing is like, you know, have the science is astronomical, but the actual just general real life engineering of these facilities is mind blowing. And the fact that it's like when those guys finished that thing, they then had to do it again because they sent them down to the New Orleans site to do it again on that one down there. So it's like they had to inspect 60 kilometers of welding with a little eye tool. Fucking.
Well, that's pretty impressive, yeah.
Yeah, so and it's like, and I'll put a picture up now. So we're doing the tour. This is like the control room of the main site, which is really cool because it's a bunch of graph porn. There's a whole bunch of it on there that like there's the right wall, there's the left wall. So these are the things that they're essentially are having fun or not having fun. They're using these to measure stuff. So obviously the one in the middle, top middle there, that's the main vibrations, and they give various spikes where they expect certain spikes based on you know, I guess various things in the earth. But there's a bunch of stuff here of screens that are measuring things that you wouldn't even think would matter, but they actually matter. So on the very bottom right there, well, not the very bottom, but the bottom right of the front screens, that graph with all the blue, you know, constant like zigzags, there is a highway 240 or whatever it is, about 15 miles away, and all those vibrations are the semi trucks going along the highway. And they have to account for the vibrations of the semi-truck loads going down that highway. So those are tracking that. And they have to account for that in their measurements. And honestly, he was saying, like, you have the heavy interferometer guys that can read that shit. They can actually look at that graph and tell you the weight of the load and the axle spacing on every single truck that goes down that thing because of those measurements. So they have to be that precise. And then you also have, let's go to the right one. This is another cool one. So kind of like middle, top row, second from the right, you have that like kind of weird line graph with various colors. That is, every one of those different colors is a different building on the facility. And that is the wind impact on every single building, because the wind hitting those buildings causes vibrations that then tremor down into the ground and can affect the sensors in the site. And anytime the wind gets above 25 miles per hour, they can no longer do accurate measurements because the wind interference is too heavy for the instruments to account for. And so like like that's intense, that like just wind can fuck the site up. And then I don't know if there's anything on this side. I don't know what any of those were. They were also talking about, they were noticing discrepancies on one time, because they're constantly finding things they aren't accounting for. And there was a time, like, it was like now the guy that was doing the tour, so he's the guy in the center there in the blue shirt. He used to be the associate or the assistant director of operations of the whole site. And he's like a big old physicist, had a bunch of degrees in Caltech and all that stuff. But he's retired now, but he does these tours as like a volunteer thing, which is really cool. So he was talking about, like, back in his day, you know, because now they have a lot more, like they have, you know, programs that can like account for all this shit that take into account. Whereas back in his day, they had to, like, you know, physically like take this stuff into account and like do the math and like figure it out themselves. But he was saying that they were noticing these discrepancies, and they started to come up with a bunch of theories of like these weird vibrations that would happen once in a while. And then someone had the idea to go check one of the dams that was about 40 miles away. And it turned out that a bunch of the discrepancies were when they were opening the water flow of the dam. And so the water pouring down into the lower river from the dam was causing the vibrations in these sensors 40 miles away. So then they had to come for that, but they're like, but that's not all of it, that's some of it. And then they had to go in, there was another dam 70 miles away that was dumping water that was also affecting the thing. And then they found out that those two dams on the river were causing, and then they were able to account for that and get it back on track, stuff like that. Any kind of like earthquakes they have to take into account. Anything a 7.0 or higher anywhere in the world is going to affect this site. But even things like 4 or 5 on the Richter scale that are like thousands of miles away, they still have to know. So they are tied in with automatic alerts from any kind of geological survey sites of any kind of tremors that come through, so they can then prepare, not only account for the stuff in their measurements, but they also sometimes have to prepare their instruments, because they have 370 plus servos, very, very precise, accurate servos on their site with all the mirrors and all their instruments, that if the tremors go through, it throws those servers out of whack, and then it takes hours for them to recalibrate. And so what they do is when they know a earthquake or a small tremor is coming through, they will get an alert on the time that it should be coming through, and they put these systems onto a much more rigid system, which, you know, lasts about 5 to 10 minutes. It makes them basically unable to do any kind of accurate science, but it allows them to, you know, endure the tremors, and then once the tremors go through, they can put them off of it. So it allows them to get back to taking accurate science after like 10 minutes instead of waiting for, you know, anywhere from like a few to like even a dozen hours to recalibrate. So that's like, this is all the kind of shit that is just like, holy fuck, the amount of crap that's going on. And also they have to take into account the tidal forces, like the moon going around the earth causes the earth to technically squish and stretch top and bottom. They have to account for that, even though the squish of the entire planet is like on the measure of like several inches. That matters on these mirrors. They have to account for that. And then also there are certain places in the oceans based on the tides, which not rogue waves, but essentially there's certain areas that constantly have wave collaborations, like off of Oregon. There's another one over by Europe and somewhere else in the world that you constantly have these, like, it's not as much like a bunch of waves. It's more like you have this massive rise in the general ocean and then the fall, and then it kind of picks up and goes down every so often. And that amount of massive water, when it rises up, there's that much more massive water pushing down on the ocean floor. And then when it drops, there's less on the ocean floor. So that causes the ocean floor to actually go up and down. And that causes vibrations through the continental shelf, which carry through to these sensors, and they actually have to account for that too. It's just like the amount of stuff that they have to deal with on this facility is just mind blowing. That I had a blast going on this whole tour. It was so fucking fun.
It sounded pretty cool.
Yeah. Oh, and then this is like so it's hard to see on the pictures here. So you see the big box right there, but if you actually zoom in even further, you see that tiny little tube going off in the distance. And then there's like a tiny, like way in the distance, I don't know if you can see, there's a little like grayish box. There's a building out there. That's the halfway point of these tubes that they have to measure with. And there's the other one. It just goes off for like, oh, hold on. So yeah, it's just the kind of measurements they do at this place like blew my mind. And I was like, because this is like 2.5 hours from where I live. It's like, well, close to 3. This is down in like Richland, Washington, Tri-Cities. It is like, it's pretty cool. I've been wanting to go visit this place for a long time. I actually wanted to do it a couple years ago, but they were shut down for all the COVID closures, and then they eventually opened up, and I was able to get down there because they only do a public tour on the second Saturday of each month. That's it. And the last few months I've been busy on that specific Saturday, so I couldn't do it. But last week I was like, I'm going, and I went down there, and I also loved it. The tour guide was not some like just trained tour guide that was just spouting stuff from a script. Like this guy worked at the facility. He was like one of the founders, and he knows the physics and the science. He's not like a guy where it's like, oh, you ask a question, they give you like just some like kind of boilerplate answer. He started going into all this like kind of physics discussion where I'm like, this shit's over my head. I don't understand it. Like, I feel like, okay, I didn't go to like physics 300 level courses, so whoosh. But you know what? It sounds really cool, dude. Thanks for the answer. But yeah, it was really fun. So yeah, I loved it. That was a very cool tour. So that was a long science hour, I guess, but that was actually probably close to a science hour. But I wouldn't say I'm smarter. Like that's the thing. Like, I mean, I know a lot of stuff, but it's not that I have the like, I'm not going and figuring this stuff out. I'm just kind of going and learning it from various sources online and from, you know, I watch lectures on places. But I mean, like, it's like, so I'm just like, I'm not sitting there going like, these are my discoveries. I'm just like regurgitating information that I've learned elsewhere. So
Passed them along science journals.
yeah, it's more of like I'm not the scientist. I'm just the guy that is into science and is like just reverting information that other people have figured out and just
Said I'm just the guy who bought a lab coat and glasses.
yeah, it's like I'm just retelling it. So, but I love it. I do find I'm not saying that I don't. I mean, yes, I've gone and learned this stuff. So like I do. My thing is like I don't know all the math, and that's the thing is like I get the gist and the summaries of things, which is really fun. But when it comes to like, you know, the people that are actually like crunching the data, coming up with the methods that they have to use and the formulas and the math, like the math, that's the thing. A lot of science and astrophysics and the chemistry and all the various different sciences, biology, and all that, it all comes down to math. Like they have to figure out like how to record the data and measure it, and then what to do with that data. That's where the intelligence goes in. But I do like getting the results of those and getting a summary of it, and that's kind of what I go with. So, but yeah, I don't know. That was fun. Worth the 5-hour drive. Well, 2.5 hours there is 2.5 hours back. Well, actually, it was quite close to 3. It's about 6 hours on the road, but and it's funny because I thought of this because Rain was talking about we're all getting old. I will say this was like a walking tour, which I'm totally fine walking, but there's a lot of standing, and walking for a couple because this is the tour is about. They said it's about an hour. They actually took about 2 hours, and then I stuck around for like an hour after. Because the guy that was doing the tour was just kind of hanging out answering questions, and I was just like listening to his answers to other people's questions and then asking my questions like that. So, but it was about 3 hours of walking and standing around, and like, man, my lower back fucking hurt. I think I have bad posture. So standing around with bad posture for 3 hours, I was like, man, I sat back down in my car to drive home. Like, ouch, my back fucking hurts today. I'm getting old. But yeah, it was fun. I loved it. It was good. Good time. I now want to go to like other observatories. I don't think there's any observatories in the area, but I want to do more science tours.
My college had an observatory, which is pretty cool.
Which college did you go to?
I enjoyed that. It was a state school in Texas. Sam Houston State.
Okay. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, Texas has a lot of open areas with probably low light.
Wide open space. That's right.
Yeah, wide open space with low light pollution. That's perfect for observatories. Arizona has some good. Obviously, Hawaii has the Keck Observatory, which would be really fucking cool to go visit. But
sounds cool as hell.
You got to get to Hawaii. That's expensive.
Sure.
Arizona would be much more accessible, but
absolutely.
There's also just areas you don't have to go to the observatory. There's areas out in the Arizona desert that are just like you see the pictures from those where like it's not like, oh, you see some stars. You actually like see the whole Milky Way band and like just everything. And it's like you could probably see 3 times the stars that you could anywhere else, even in low light areas. So yeah. It's 10. Do we want to just
should probably be calling it, yeah.
We can call it? Yeah. All right. Yeah, let's call it for the night. Thanks for hanging out. We will catch you all next week. Akaroth will be gone. Actually, most people will be gone. It's gonna be like me, Dom, Me and Dom.
There'll be a few of us. Don't fool yourself. There'll be plenty of people here for support.
Yeah. It'll be me and Dom and possibly Rain, and then we can see what else we can get on. I might reach out and see if we can grab some other people from elsewhere. But anyway,
might get some exclusives.
Yeah, we can get Seema on here.
That's right.
But yeah, anyway, we will catch everyone later. Have a good night and see you next week.
Bye, guys.